bet on first ban Terrorblade, you would have bet the world, and now you'd have been a poor man.
No, I mean, again, that's the joy of the game, and yeah, Terrorblade, super high value, you need to ban it out. And I'm surprised at the moment that Philippines aren't respecting Skylark. Right? Anytime Skylark joins a team at any level, he's always going for like Beastmaster, tempo heroes. He takes over the game. He can play a good primal beast. Like when he played at another tournament, he stood in for the team. In the first day, no one cared about him. Didn't ban him, didn't respect him. He crushed. Day 2, they banned him. Day 3, they banned him. Day 4, the team was eliminated. That's how quickly teams identified that he was the key player.
Yeah.
And at the moment, Philippines, they're not doing these bans. So I'm intrigued to know if Greece will be able to utilize that in the opening picks.
I mean, you know, to your point, we've often seen Skylark just, when the opportunity is there, just snap up the Beastmaster if possible. I think right now Primal's not necessarily in the place where he can be picked up as easily in the first phase.
Like second phase, yeah. Like first phase picks at the moment feel like it's DK, Earth Spirit, Terrorblade,
Clark, Tusk, these kind of heroes, yeah. Man, what a hero. Those two heroes I think are in contention right now for best fives in the game. Clark and Tusk, they are... man, I get very scared when I see them, but a little bit of respect will come towards Skylark because Philippines will steal his Beastmaster away.
Yeah, okay, so I was asking the question, where's the respect going to come in? And there it is. It finally comes into play. But then we have the simple question to ask. When you play against a team that's a specialist, you take their specialty away, surely they have answers to deal with it, right? Like, and again, against Beastmaster, he's very good against single heroes, right? His ultimate is a debuff immune piercing roar, which allows him to lock onto a single hero in any state that they're in. And on top of that, he doesn't really like playing against multiple cores. Like, he wants to kill that one guy, right? That's his entire job. I lock you down, I kill you, or I enable others to kill you. So maybe Greece here, they can start adding some extra layers of scaling, right? Like Alchemist, a very strong first phase hero. It lanes really well against the Beastmaster, and you can then pick a couple of heroes down the line. They don't go for that yet, but I like the idea of having like an Alch plus another scaling core. Like, ideally Terrorblade, right? That'd be perfect. Like, Terrorblade plus Alch. How does Beastmaster deal with everything? But this is the idea that Greece can go down. For now, they go for the Tusk. Still, strong laner. You were saying it's one of the best supports in the game. It clearly is. They're getting first phase, but they're going for the kill the Beastmaster approach. Yeah. If Tusk is going to be played in that 5 position, I'm expecting that carry, potentially like a Luna as well.
SF, these kind of heroes.
Yeah, like you see Beastmaster, you kill him. Before he gets to level 3, level 4, has some points in the board, is able to kind of set himself up in the lane. Get him to 2 deaths, and really punish him. Don't get him to 2 kills. That's actually allowing him to win the game, right? But yeah, Greece, they want to get kills. They want to progress.
I mean, there's also a non-zero chance that Greece do end up putting the Tusk into the 4 position role. Yep. You can pair him up with like some Visage, maybe you get some summoners of your own in that regard, or just go for a kill lane. Like I saw Tusk Dawn the other day. It was very scary to witness, but they certainly have options on the side of Greece. As Philippines, make sure to remove the Medusa, one of these heroes that Beastmaster doesn't really enjoy playing into. Mystic Snake in lane, really annoying. Later on in the game, if she gets off the Stone Gaze before you get off the Roar, the entire spell is useless anyway. And just in general, you want big, bombastic damage up against a hero like that. So, good ban from them. So let's see here. Also take out the Snapfire. So are they going for Phoenix?
No, I think the Snapfire was like a layering ban towards the Tusk, right? It's the idea of if you have Tusk and Snapfire in the same lineup, they run around the map together, they get a lot of kills. The 2 supports will now bring life to the Greek lineup, because the cores can just stay in their lane. The supports will do everything for them. Say, hey, do you want to go to mid? We get kills. I go to off lane, I get kills. And honestly, it's a good recipe for Greece, right? Especially because they had a troublesome group stage. If your supports can set up your cores for success and then get to roam the map together, you get kills, you force TPs, you break down the map in a way that enables Greece to kind of just scale up to the point where they're not scared. Again, scaling is the key against Beastmaster. Don't try and, like, if you can kill him early, do it, but if you can't, don't try and take weak fights, because he'll destroy you and break your map, right?
So by that logic, we should be going for Hoodwink eventually for the side of Greece.
Potentially, yes. It's also a very good option, yeah.
Okay, what are they going to ban here? Let's see. So in tandem with the Beastmaster, we have seen other big cores be played with it. We've seen Beast Morph, we've seen Beast Drow.
One option that Greece has as well is like you said, push the Tusk to 4, but then you can get like a Lich in that 5 position.
Then you like Lich Alk, Lich SF?
Yeah, and then you have the Frost Shield to deal with whoever gets roared. You then put Frost Shield on that character, or that hero. Sorry, why is it character? That's the first time in my life I have called a hero a character. But anyway, now I turned into Mario, either way. So yeah, Lich, the Frost Shield, you put it onto the hero that Beastmaster roars, you get 60% reduction in physical damage. Beastmaster primarily does physical damage, excluding if he goes for Aghanims, but that alone buys enough time, and time is the key thing. Tusk as well, with Snowball, his second spell, he can then put people into immunity. That's also a big save, it buys time. So Lich Tusk, it kills on the map, it buys time, it punishes the Beastmaster, and then you've already mentioned a couple of good carries, it opens up your draft. So I'm actually now really excited that if they go for Lich, it could be a great option. But again, sometimes in drafts I get carried away by ideas, and then of course they got their own ideas, but if I was drafting right now for Greece, I think Lich would be a good option. Instead, they go for Crystal Maiden.
It's still ice?
It's still ice. It is true.
Yeah.
And it's a traditional Beastmaster counter, right? Your Frostbite, you put it onto the boar, pretty much instantly kills off the boar, puts it very low, if not. And then on top of that, you enable your carry to go, hey, that guy's out of position. Let's go get the kill. So, yeah, aggression seems to be the answer. And we've also been saying that nearly for 20 minutes now. Aggression, fight,
Just
Philippines.
be active
20
in people's
minutes.
faces.
Yeah, like both teams, they want to do it. They're picking the heroes to do it. Of course,
This will probably force the Beastmaster to play with axes in lane, right? Like, well, how afraid are you all of this Crystal Maiden with the Frostbite? Because the way I see it is that sometimes whenever there's like Ench, Crystal Maiden, these heroes that insta-destroy the boar, you just play around axes and try to... But you have to have the right lane partner in order for the lane aggression to actually be there with the axes.
If your carry isn't able to enable the Crystal Maiden, then the Beastmaster can just still go for boars, right? Because then you have your birds, right? The boar dies, but then your bird hits the root, it punishes the Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden stepping up to try and punish the Beastmaster. Imagine there's a hoodwink or something with the Beastmaster. You're then containing the Crystal Maiden and killing her off, right? So I think it's a very, it's a balancing act between it all. We'll see once they go, but I look to you, I look back, and already there's 4 heroes picked up. But to quickly run through the Philippines side, Naga Siren, we see it in the position 5 role now. Her ultimate is very good at both setting up engagements because you can song aggressively, putting everyone to sleep, quickly checking the high grounds, finding where people are, but also defensively. If you're losing the fight, just press that song.
Yep.
Guys, walk away, let's reset, run away from this area of the map. Once we're ready to fight again, we'll then smoke up and put ourselves in a better position.
It also really complicates life into the Enigma, right? Because now as Enigma, before BKB you can never use the Black Hole, and after BKB you still have to be careful. In case you use Black Hole, they song and then reset the fight around you anyway, and your Black Hole doesn't have any necessary follow-up. I mean, Naga's just too good right now, let's be honest. In the game, she should be massively changed.
Honestly, first phase banned.
Yeah,
we were talking about first phase heroes to get picked and banned. I kind of forgot like some of the big hitters, right? The Naga, the Alchemist, all these heroes.
Here they are.
Second phase, hello. Now they're here, or at least one of them is. And at least for Greaser, we haven't really mentioned the Bristleback too much. But Enigma, because of the way he plays, he breaks down early towers. Bristle can slot behind that and farm the ancient stacks and farm the jungle very effectively, because whilst he's farming, you're reacting to the Enigma.
Yeah.
So Enigma is enabling Bristle to farm. But Philippines now go for a sniper, which is a very scary pick. Because we said about the fight disengage of Naga Siren, the Beastmaster naturally wants to step into the middle of the fight. Well, how'd you get to the sniper?
Yeah.
What hero on Greece,
They have no reach.
other than Enigma with the blink on the black hole and a BKB, a lot of economy required, how do you stop this guy from just right-clicking? That final pick from Greece needs to deal with a sniper.
Needs to be Storm Spirit, I feel like. They've already banned the puck on the side of the Philippines. Storm is available, you already have Crystal Maiden in the game. So I feel like you're kind of locked into going that for an option, and the Philippines will know that. So that's probably their most likely ban to round things off here. I really am liking what Philippines is bringing to the table here. They've got some push, we have some disengage, we have some fight potential. The one thing I don't like though, is that they don't necessarily have the best burst damage in the world up against this Bristleback type of hero. So if BB can get to that point of being able to fully stand his ground in the middle of the fight, force the damage onto him, things could become interesting for the side of Greece. So I definitely would like to see a bit more punch on their last hero for Philippines as well.
Yeah, and to be fair, something that we haven't really mentioned with the Philippines lineup is the lack of damage, right? They don't really do damage with their heroes early on. Sniper is formidable and scary with 15,000 gold, right? Up 20 minutes of farm. At the moment, maybe 25, I was getting a bit generous there. But at the moment, like Enigma, Bristle, CM Tussler, if they actually ball up early enough, they can break this map before we see everything we're scared of with the Philippines lineup. And that's why the last pick that you mentioned, like the puck ban, a Storm, they are a little bit playmaker. They are very in your face, and that can really overwhelm Philippines and having to just react. And you don't want to react too much in Dota. Like, you want to be able to have that balance of you take the fights that you want to take, you defend a couple of objectives, but if you're only defending the entire time, you're probably losing out on effective farm or that extra kill or that objective that you want to go. So I think right now for Philippines, they need to be very careful. It's scary. Their lineup looks scary, but very punishable actually.
I mean, you made a point earlier about how they want to be playing in terms of reaching the sniper, right? Beastmaster can sit in the middle of the fight, dare the Greece lineup to play into him. But if they can get to like these bongo boots on the Enigma, get him like some pipe, some Crimson Guard, they actually will not be scared to just run straight at you, right? With all of these heroes. The Invoker...
Sniper in the safe mid as well. I was thinking Sniper mid, but they put Sniper safe mid to deal with the Enigma, right? Enigma, we want him to break the map, take the towers early on, buy drum, bongo boots. Drums of endurance, anyway, or boots of bearing, sorry, technically. But Sniper Shrapnel deletes the items, deletes the push. And Invoker as well, he goes for Tornado, EMP, anti-aggressive heroes. That also prevents aggression early on. So these two picks are very good, but they go for a Queen of Pain.
Okay.
It is a backline jumping hero. It is explosive. You like to buy Dagon, it's a lot of burst damage. It feels like time is what Greece really needs to utilize here. The Queen of Pain will be able to farm from mid. She will be able to get to her first item, but how effective will she be? Because if Greece aren't effective with their play on the map, the later this game goes, like half an hour, Philippines, like it should be, like the fight should play themselves. If they're losing a fight, Naga will fix it. If they're smoke ganking, Beastmaster and Sniper will get the kills, right? So I feel like Philippines, their draft scales beautifully, but if Greece are to win this, they are on a clock. It needs to be strong lanes, break them down, and be the aggressive team that we've seen them before. But so far, we've not really seen it. They haven't executed right now at WEC. So again, I like the lineup, but how they're playing doesn't reflect the lineup they've drafted themselves. But it's still true to themselves.
I will say when I look at these lineups, the one concern I have about the Greek lineup is when you're playing into this Invoker, you know, Bristleback. I play a lot of Bristleback, right? I hate EMPs. One of my least favorite spells to have to deal with. So a lot of itemization is going to be required from Greece. They need to play fast and win fast if they want to take this one, or else they'll be dealing with this alacrity, additional attack speed sniper as the game goes on. We're going to be finding out exactly how things shake out in our first game on the main stage here at WEC 2024. And to have this game between Greece and the Philippines, we have our incredible casters of Vlad and Black.
Thank you very much, Snare. Thank you very much, T-Gov. It is a pleasure to be here alongside you, Black, bringing the first playoffs match in to the viewers. For our screens, we have Greece, the third seed of Europe, versus the Philippines, the #1 seed from Southeast Asia, Black. The draft of game 1 is done, and I've got some strong opinions about you, about the draft, but I want to hear from you. What do you think of these 10 heroes?
I really like the Philippine draft, actually. Like, we spoke about it previously before, why their group stage was so successful. It was because of their drafts and the versatility in those drafts. And I think they actually have quite a bit of an outdraft here.
I have to agree with you 100%. I'm backing Greece in overall this series, but with a draft like this, I don't think they can contend with Philippines. I understand Skylark went, you know, no Beastmaster was banned early, had to go for a different comfort pick of the Enigma, but if you remember just a few months back when they played the qualifier, it was a very similar situation for him, being forced to play the Enigma and then getting instant countered. He picked the Enigma and then instant Naga Rubik, 2 classic counters to the black hole, and then even later on the shrapnel of the Sniper with the new facet like T-Gov was mentioning. Yeah, I think Philippines are definitely here to play and here to win the game #1.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough for Greece to win, but as the panel already said, if they win, it will be very early into the game. You know, their lineup can scale into the mid-late game, but they have to do so on the back of a huge advantage. If the game goes anywhere even at like minute 30 plus, there's actually almost no chance for them to do anything in the fight, because you have this Enigma who is supposed to be your I got you comeback factor in those team fights. You know, it's never going to happen against this lineup.
Never.
Like, never ever. You can't really go for the BKB Blink route, so he's probably going to go for a lot of early game auras. They're going to try to pressure the map a lot, maybe for an earlier Roshan, really get that Queen of Pain up there together with the Bristleback to kind of cut into the back lines, but it's going to be incredibly tough. going to be really, really tough.
I think it might just be impossible, especially as I'm looking at this new matchup between the Queen of Pain and Invoker mid. And, you know, you roll back the years and Queen of Pain would have trashed the Invoker, but these days, with these new Invoker builds that people are running around, yeah, Invoker might fall slightly behind, but I don't necessarily see the Queen of Pain dominating as, you know, the history of Dota would say. And I want to ask you, what do you think the Invoker build will be for this game? And maybe not so much spells-wise, but what items is he going to go for?
But we have seen a couple of different builds lately. Like we have seen more of a right-click build where you go into the Hurricane Pike, and then BKB you just really go into the fight, electrocute yourself, start right-clicking people. So that's been a very popular build lately, but of course we still have the old build of, as well with the Spirit Vessel, which can be very strong against a hero like Bristleback that always likes to build into the Bloodstone. So there are many options available, and you can really tap into what they need depending on how well the other lanes do it. For example, if Bristleback gets shut down completely, he's probably like, I don't really need to build that vessel. I can get away with the right-click build, which makes me scale a bit better into mid-late game. So not all the pressure's on the sniper to perform. And yeah, I mean, that's the real big boon they have with their draft. They can cover each other so nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think overlooking Naga Siren, allowing it to be picked in the second. Okay, you didn't ban it first phase, I understand, but allowing it to go through later on, knowingly you want to go for the Enigma is a huge mistake. But the Naga, it has the highest win rate in Pro Dota in the last couple of weeks. I think 86%. She's not played that much because she's always getting banned because the hero just wins. And I think using the Ensnare versus a Bristleback, the Bristleback just kind of wants to be able to position himself how he wants, but you pull him back towards you, you rotate your heroes around, and you attack him from the front. And the winning condition that I see Greece have right now, because the Enigma is completely shut down, will have to be this burst damage coming in from the Bristleback, which I'll be completely honest with you, I don't think will prevail.
Yeah, and Naga, as you said, I mean, we roll back the tape a little bit. Yeah. The changes since TI aren't really there. Yeah, you know, like the patches were there, but okay, like maybe -1 armor here, second more cooldown here, but ultimately Naga at TI was the most picked, most banned hero, like by far. Literally everybody ran it, and it's still very strong for the same reasons. Yeah. It synergizes so well with Sniper as well, and as you said, Bristleback, you net him, then you reel him in. He's like, oh well, I would like to turn around, but I really can't because I can't really do anything. And then the minus armor as well. Like you don't really build much armor as a Bristleback early on. You really want to try to get into the Bloodstone as soon as you can. And then you get this -8 armor from the Naga. Suddenly you're super squishy. It's going to be tough for him, but as we said, there is a world where they completely run over the enemy because they have the draft to do so. It's just, there's a lot of defensive capabilities from the Philippine side, and seeing how they performed in the group stage so far, yeah, heavy favorites.
Heavy favorites indeed, as game one between Greece and the Philippines of Elimination Javier for the World Esports Championships 2024 is underway. We have Greece on the Dire side and Philippines on the Radiant. We have Lewis on the Invoker, Tino on the Trustworthy, Beastmaster, CML, Sniper, Shanks with the Rubik, and I believe, last but not least, of course, we are looking at the Naga Siren, who's coming on screen right now, and that's Jotun.
Yep, they're actually doing a delayed smoke wraparound, which could catch the Bristleback off guard potentially, but you really have to be careful if you're Philippines. You have to make sure you kill the Bristleback first, because if those quill sprays start stacking up, that's really where you can rack up the damage. Looking at the map, they're gonna probably find the CM, which should be the easiest, freest kill possible.
Yep, Spartan shows up, Zyre is nearby, but Spartan will be the one to tank the gank. They actually want to fight here. No, Spartan gets taken out. Shanks getting the first black blood with the Fade Bolt. It could have been worse. You could have lost someone else. Maybe the Invoker could have gotten first blood. So Greece is not happy with that for sure, but at least they, you know, could have been worse.
Yeah, that's a good thing in Dota, you know. Or a bad thing, depending on who you are. It can always get worse or better. But yeah, giving up the first blood, it's not as huge of a deal as it used to be, especially if you still get the bounty rune trade.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're behind a little bit. There's still lots of lane left to be played. And we previously touched on this, but Invoker traditionally used to be quite good against Quap already, but nowadays Quaps don't even really skill the Shadow Strike anymore. They focus more into their own farm, which means you can't really ever bully out the Invoker from the laning stage anymore at all.
Yeah.
Which also means, though, you will get into your Dagon a little bit faster, and you will be able to, you know, rotate a little bit faster with a level 4 Screen of Pain much earlier.
What do you think of this matchup, Beast versus Bristle up top? Do you think the Beastmaster comes on top a bit later on when he starts stacking the Wild Axes, or do you think the Bristle should pretty much punish all the time?
It's a tough matchup for Beastmaster, but how Beastmaster plays right now is very different from how it played historically. Like, you really just want to farm up.
Yep.
You know, you can stack your Ancients to farm up. With those axes later on, you can try to just play the lane with the axes as well. Because, as the panel already said, you don't really want to skill the boars against the CM. You just freeze them, and it's basically wasted skill points at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, he should get his farm. Bristol will also get his farm, and then we'll see how the mid game develops.
I was hoping for us to not see as much Beastmaster, because in qualifiers, the Drums of Slum meta was what you know, allowed a lot of these teams to qualify to the World Esports Championships final. But no, we're back at it, taking away now Focus, pressured up top, nice blood grenade, but the Frostbite will slow Tino down. Focus very overzealous, but does have the full stick. We'll get back to half HP, and Shanks, one more Quill Spray will get the job done. Oh, nice last minute one pop from Shanks, and he should survive.
Yeah, but you can see the aggressive capabilities of the CM Bristleback lane. Like, you commit to the Bristleback, you don't kill him straight away. It's very easy for him to turn around. But of course, you know, you're always going to have a decent amount of stick charters to work with.
So far, so good. Lewis going for a couple of calls now, right clicks to Thug, trying to make him miss the range creep. Not going to be the case. Up top, action Shanks. One more right click from the CM. Nice fairy fire there last moment, but Focus really playing this very aggressively. All the way bottom, CML was taken out by the Enigma and the Tusk.
Yeah, so even though they had that early first blood, it's now going really well for the Greek side. You can see all of the cores at the top of the CS chart right now.
It's a very good, it's a very nice tactic here to use the tag team plus the Eidolon's right click. I believe that's what might have gotten the kill on the Sniper. In mid, Thug and Lewis are really playing at the very edge of their HP, but both of them should be safe for now. The Invoker doesn't have as much kill potential when he plays Quas Wex, especially early levels versus a Blink Queen of Pain.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a problem nowadays with Invoker. You don't really have the HP, you know, as we see that little skirmish focus. If I can't kill him,
he's still alive. Dino might be the one to fall here as well. Oh, he
he
has the
rockpicked it.
wand. Back to half HP.
Double
right
kill.
clicks, and Spartan will not be long for the world as
Throw
Dino throws the waxes and he slays both of them out of the map. The Beastmaster prevails.
Beastmaster prevails indeed, but Sniper died once more, actually. So the bot lane is really not going well for the Filipino side here. And we spoke about previously how he is really the big damage dealer, so Invoker might already be feeling like he will have to transition to this more of a right-click build.
Absolutely. But, you know, not to take any way out of Beastmaster's prowess, right? If he gets an early axe, he might be the one to carry the burden of dealing a lot of damage early on. Sniper actually has to walk all the way back to the tier 1 tower because his TP is pulled down now. Focus, speaking of carries falling, he's not looking too healthy up top, but it's actually Shanks dying. I believe he was rotating and he got caught.
Yeah, actually, he just got Quill Spray down to death.
Oh.
Yeah, they attacked him from behind, and I mean, that's the hero like Bristleback though. If your calculations are just like a little bit off, oh, this Quill Spray will deal 200 damage, but then suddenly it's 2 Quill Sprays, and like, oh, I took 400 damage instead, and you just get bursted down immediately. Yeah, Bristleback is a very, I don't like playing against him. I love playing him myself though, just because of that. Like, oh, they're committing on me, guys. Let's see who dies. Is it you or me? I don't know myself.
It's a gamble. EMP in mid will actually connect.
Oh, no mana.
No mana, but the right clicks of Lewis are not going to be sufficient, especially not on the low ground. And a Thug pops the bottle, charge.
It's a level 3 Scream. It's a lot of damage.
This is not a kill. This is not a kill, just yet at least. But I like the aggressive from both Lewis and Thug. They're trading a lot of utility early on. Courier does get picked off by Jotun. Another cold snap attempt in mid, Fairy Fire, and high ground misses. Thug will be safe.
I gotta admit though, I'm a little bit afraid for the Sniper because he went into that facet, of course, with the instant shrapnel.
Yes.
But that makes it a lot worse at clearing stacks and actually farming and pushing out waves. So technically, every time you play that, you want to dominate the lane. But in this game in particular, his laning phase is looking very rough.
Yeah, 17 last hits, the lowest of any of the cores on the map right now. He's not looking good at all, but Jotun's coming around with this Naga Siren. I think level 3 for Naga is quite a big power spike. If she could like reel in Skylark and then pop the shrapnels on top of him, there might be some damage. There's action up top right now. Tag team rotate from Desire. We do have the Snowball, and Evoker actually comes in to help his Beastmaster turn around with the Wild Axes. And they're trying to get something even. Jotun joins up. Focus and Desire are going very low in HP, and the task will most likely fall, but they're going for the reel-in onto the Bristleback. Another beautiful long-range Wild Axis, and that's gonna be 2 heroes fallen from the Greek squad.
Great rotations. And that's the synergy we spoke about from the Philippine squad already. Lewis, though, oh, he's dead.
Yeah. Ultimate being popped just to secure the kill onto Lewis, and it's at least something they got back for that. And I believe Lewis's TP will also be in cooldown when he respawns because of the TP to help up top. So the Queen of Pain will start taking a bit of the lead in the mid matchup.
It's a tough kill on Skylark. He has 1.2k health. Big stick as well.
Has a Fairy Fire, and he's just gonna TP out. Very aware from Skylark. He's not even panicking going back to Fountain, just the tier 1, and he will be back to lane in no time.
I really like the idea of Grease though. They really want to control the Beastmaster because they know he is the tempo setter for the team. So if he has a good game, it might get very tough for them. But they didn't even manage to get the kill. Nice response by the Philippines. They know what they have to play around that because right now the sniper, as we said, he's full catch-up mode. You know, he won't be able to fight anytime soon. His damage output won't be the greatest.
Oh, they're contesting the Wisdom Rune a bit too late. Jotun, the Wisdom Rune was taken, and so is your life. As Skylark level 6 already will start farming some of the Ancients. And the problem is, yes, the Beastmaster has gotten a few kills when they tried to focus him, but because of that, Shanks had to be by his side and didn't get that many stacks yet. In mid-rotation, Spartan coming from the high ground, nice Frostbite, and Lewis with the Ghost Walk will be turned exactly into that, a ghost.
It's getting real tough now because you can't leave the sniper alone anymore against Enigma because there's Black Hole available, which means you constantly need to watch him now. We already said he can go to jungle if he wants to, but it's going to be a lot slower with the facet he chose. If he gets Black Hole, it could be a solo kill for the Enigma. Just look at the CS, massively in favor of Greece as well.
Yeah, minute 8 is looking very, very good for them. The top 3 last hits for them, including 16 denies for Skylark. Very, very good early on from them. But this is what we wanted from Greece, right? We talked about the fact that their draft kind of falls off in the late to ultra late game. And they need, if they want to win, to do it pre-minute 30, right? So far, they're checking all the boxes that they need to.
Ooh. Nice little sidestep there.
And look at the build. He is going for the right-click one, Black. Meanwhile, Shanks will get spotted by Desire. Perfect. Eye shards locking the Rubik in. They spot the stack as well. Queen of Pain has an amplified damage rune, and Shanks will get denied by the neutral creeps. That might allow them to get Spartan on the kill back. Roar coming in. Spartan dives to the neutrals, but the task will get collected most likely. Scream of Pain. Queen is trying to really kill Lewis, and she will get so in the blink out to safety. But Wild Axes will be off cooldown in 3, 2, 1. They're gonna connect, but still Thug managed to heal up with the bottle of the blink in 2 seconds. Shrapnel getting him, and he's gonna fall, as that was a full 5-man rotations from Philippines to defend their triangle.
The funny thing is though, even though there was a pretty favorable engagement for them, they gave Skylark so much room and Enigma farmed so fast. He got the tower, his net worth was skyrocketing. They actually gained a net worth advantage despite losing 3 heroes.
And look at that. He's so close, about 1,000 gold lead from having the full Crimson Guard completed, and that's gonna slow down the right clicks from both the Invoker and the Sniper even further. So a good pace from his Enigma. Like we said, we know why he picked it. It is a comfort hero, and so far he's been putting in the work, but we have yet to see level 6 on either the Rubik or the Naga, or a Black Hole for that matter.
Yeah, it's very interesting the item builds he chose to go for. To Crimson Guard, I completely agree with, but then Blink into BKB. We said how hard it's going to be to get an actual Black Hole off, but obviously, no, he's trusting in his own ability to maybe gauge the situation, maybe catch the Rubik inside of it, wait out the Roar. There are ways to play around it, but it's just not going to be easy. Yeah.
Even the Sniper ultimate, right? Like Assassinate?
Can also cancel it, yeah. Or Naga Sleep.
It's very rough one, but oh my god, look at the wraparound behind the T2 CML. He's gonna get caught. The Queen of Pain is there. Even Skylar coming in with the assist there, and it's gonna be Thug getting the kill over there. This Queen of Pain has been doing Very good with the rotations. Level 9, minute 10. I think Thug is playing a very nice game. And now with the Enigma rotating mid, they might go for a tier 1 unless...
Wow, Spartan is so brave.
Okay, Spartan a bit too confident here. I think he's gonna get punished by Jotun and Lewis. It might survive a while longer. The Crimson Guard is not quite there yet. Tornado will secure the kill, and now Shanks spots Thug, but he will blink out. And, you know, Spartan doing Spartan things.
Yeah. I mean, that is historically what he's known for. Yeah. And more often than not, it kind of actually creates opportunities for his team. They're like, oh, it's just a CM. Let's try to stick around and kill him. And then suddenly, Grease reinforces him and actually gets a favorable trade because of it.
We have a little pause. Spartan's FPS dropped, so did his HP. And meanwhile, up top, as I predicted, this Bristleback is rushing the Aghanim Scepter Black. And he has, I think he just needs the Blade of Alacrity to have it fully completed. And then he could decide if he wants to continue farming or if he chooses to join up with a team fight. I think that could very well be a possibility, right? The Aghanims kind of enables you to get online sooner, but the Bloodstone is the one that makes you more sustainable.
Yeah, now usually the build-up is the Aghanim Scepter, which enables you to farm faster, enables you to fight earlier, and then you go into the Bloodstone from there. And once you have both these items completed, that's usually when you're hitting your peak for the early mid-game. And that is really going to be difficult to deal with because, as far as I could tell, they don't have anybody that's building a vessel right now.
No, not yet. No, definitely not with this Invoker build.
Yeah.
We might be seeing, just in a moment, if the Beastmaster might be changing up. I do want the Beastmaster to go for an Aghanim Scepter, but do you think is there any possibility we might be getting a Aura first from him? Or the Spirit Vessel even?
Could be. We've definitely seen a lot of Beastmasters going for a more Aura-heavy build, like Blink Dagger into early Auras.
He already hit level 10 as well on the Beastmaster. He went for the Amp stack. He went for the Amp stack for the Wild Axis. So one advantage that you could maybe try to explore with the Bristleback Aghanims is invade the opponent's triangle and steal the ancient stacks that Beastmaster is trying to farm for himself, right? But you know, otherwise you can do the same thing. Maybe go with a sneaky smoke, surrounded by your Naga and your Rubik with level 6. Try to farm. If they're trying to contest the stealing farm process, you pop the Song of Siren and TP out. There are many, many ways of countering control of the map from both of these teams right now. But so far, I really want to see more from the Invoker. Other than a couple early lane attempts with Tornado Cold Snap, I feel like he's been rather quiet. And it's not a Midas Invoker, right? It's not a Midas Invoker that, guys, I need my time. He is going for what is considered to be the early online presence build.
Yeah, I mean, it has historically always been the Invoker problem, at least the Quas Wex Invoker problem, where if your early game doesn't go perfectly, though truthfully his early game was quite good, you die a couple of times, now suddenly you're behind, you don't really have the best means of catching up, and especially with this right-click build, you're not going to be very tanky, you're not going to be very survivable. If the Quap and the Bristleback get up to a really good game, which seemingly right now they are getting to it, they'll get their BKBs, they'll just jump you, and there's nothing you can do to counter it.
Yeah, I think you kind of cornered yourself in the draft if we want to go that far to break it down slightly deeper. You had the Sniper, this long-range right-click core, and then you also went for the Invoker, which enabled the Queen of Pain to deal with both of you in similar fashions, right? So Queen of Pain can do that to Sniper. Well, he can definitely do it to the Invoker. He's been trying to get away with the Ghost Whack, but it's always been a dust of appearance, and he's always got caught, right? That's why I'm a bit concerned about how his mid-game might go, but there's still plenty of time to play for. I also want to ask you, what would you like to see from the Rubik, item-wise?
The Rubik, I mean, usually it's just the same every game. Like, it's either going to be Blink or Force Staff. I personally prefer the Force Staff just to be able to help your Sniper and Invoker a bit more, because you already know Enigma's not going for that fast Blink BKB, which means he's not really looking for a huge black hole.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm hoping it's going to be Force Staff. It's going to tank him up a little bit, and then also be able to help his teammates a little bit more. And then probably into the Blink Dagger from there.
Makes sense.
Just to be able to be that threat that the Enigma is really worried about.
So then who's going to be the vessel builder in the end?
They might not build a vessel at all.
Wow, I think that might be a mistake, especially with how high of a kill game this has been so far. If you end up going, because you know that we said you need a vessel to shut down the Bristleback past minute 25, 30, and if they're not going to have it, this Bristleback is going to have a good time, I think. But you know, there's a lot of ifs. What is certain is that Focus does have the Aghanim Scepter flying on the courier to him right now, and that Shanks, with the stolen Eidolons about 2 minutes ago, has been farming quite well. Actually, 3.5k net worth.
Yeah, it feels like that always when I see Rubik. It's like just transitions into this 4th core quite early and quite simply. Now Sniper looking, still farming up his Maelstrom. His net worth is looking pretty abysmal, unfortunately.
Is that Jotun invading the dire triangle? I believe he is. He's getting caught. We're not seeing the action on screen right now, but he is getting black-holed as Skylark shows us the depths of the universe, taking out the support. Jotun went really deep, trying to block some of the camps with sentries, and he would have loved to stay alive for about 40 seconds longer to steal that Wisdom Rune. That's not going to be the case this time around for him.
And another AoE spell stolen by Rubik, which means even easier to farm up all those creep waves. I mean, he has just been sitting up there for the longest time.
The Vissel as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good decision. I like it. The Vessel against the Bristleback especially, like, they're not going to have a Dispel for a while. Makes a lot of sense. We also saw Enigma though. Skylark is switching up his build. Not going to the Blink BKB anymore, but into the Pipe instead, and just really tanking, auring up like we thought they would.
I'm so impressed by this. Wisdom Runes will be split, by the way. I think Shanks and Focus are the ones to get them respectively for both teams. Look how great of a game Tino is having. He's 4 kills, 0 deaths, and 3 assists. Has the full Aghanim Scepter, and still he's only 30 net worth.
Yeah, the game has been pretty amazing for Skylark, as well as Focus. And it's only going to get faster here, because Focus now with the Aghanim Scepter, of course, is going to farm really, really quick. I'm also wondering when they're actually planning on taking Roshan, because with those Eidolons, it could be very fast. Shanks?
He's way faster than a Crystal Maiden, but a Queen of Pain with Blink and Haste will get on top of him. Desire there, another beautiful eye shot. Of course, not the hardest to hit in those tree lines. As long as you catch him within it, it's fine. Tino now, with the Drums of Slum, wants to get into some action. The Invoker is behind, and Jotun is actually ganking, smoked up from the dire jungle. Nice Tornado, gonna connect onto both the EMPs there, and that's what we want to see from Lewis. Spartan will sacrifice himself. Desire does not have the mana to TP out, pops the wand. Could try to do that now, but it's gonna be only a 1-for-1.
I heard a Naga song too.
Was it? No. Yes, you're right. Naga Song Siren in cooldown. That is one of the longest cooldowns in game, I want to say.
Yeah, it's I think 3 minutes at this point. Of course, went through many changes, but they were looking for the Queen of Pain, and level 1 song AoE is
Very
also
small.
really, really tiny. Yeah, not like it used to be, just full screen.
Well, Lewis is feeling more confident now, full Ghost Walk. He needs to get involved with more kills. That's where he can keep up in net worth. But all this time, Skylark is still uncontested, Black. I believe he's being pinged down bottom, but nobody's heading that way. He is about to reach, well, in just a few moments, 9,000 net worth pre-minute 17. But look at Desire as well. We've been highlighting the Rubik position for a farm. Tusk Blink Dagger so early, it's incredible. And that's going to be a lot of ways of maybe saving people from that roar.
Yeah, it's going to be incredibly valuable for sure. And we said that the early lead necessarily doesn't... Okay, you're dead. Yeah. We said that the early lead for Greece, it's what they need, but it's not necessarily what will end up winning the game for them. Because those team fights are still going to be hard. However, Sniper, as we already said, his items are basically non-existent. He has a Maelstrom right now, very easy picking still.
Look at the wraparound. They're about to find Tino.
He's strong though, he's very strong.
Yeah, he's strong enough. He's going to have to be forced to use the Roar to Crystal Maiden, but he is getting obliterated, punched in the sky. The Rubik is there, and Spartan will be the one casualty, second support to fall. But look at the damage, Scream of Pain, and the Sniper's out with the Dagon from Thug. Invoker's really trying to get work with the right clicks, and Shank with the stolen Crystal Maiden ultimate, but Skylark is here. The Black Hole's available, and the Invoker will be gone. Stolen, but can he escape?
Oh, he used it also.
Oh my goodness, Shanks, that is a rare mistake from this Rubik player. Jotun is the only one that can help him. 2 supports versus 3 cores. It doesn't seem too likely.
Oh, you can't kill this guy.
Spirit
No.
Vessel is there, but not gonna be enough as he turns around and Jotun just dies up high ground.
Yeah.
He did not use the black hole.
Oh, he did not? Oh, he just didn't have mana for it? Looked like he did. But yeah, that's gonna be what they need to make use of now. Like, they have this Rubik with the black hole. They need to kill a high-value core with it. And they're kind of playing into the hands of Greece. I really like how Greece is playing this. It was a very nice rotation. They're kind of baiting Philippines in one by one. And we already said, like, Sniper is not ready to fight right now.
Yeah, we saw him, he showed up.
He immediately died.
Yeah, one shrapnel, 2 right clicks, and disappeared from the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Focus is level 15.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, to say the least, to come back from this position now, because they're just gonna be invading you everywhere. Spartan.
He's gonna
We know he loves this.
Yeah, but it's great. He's tanking the gang for Thug, so Thug can just blink out with the Queen of Pain. That is a, you take that every day of the week, as the tier 1 mid, I believe, is getting pressured. We have some TPs there. Yeah, I don't know what the plan is there, but this Invoker has a Dragon Lance flying to him. And let's see if maybe next team fight, he can be the one to deal a bit more damage.
What Greece needs to do now, I think, is try to figure out how to get this next Roshan and then really take out all the outer towers, make sure that the enemy can't leave their base, because they're going to need a massive, massive gold lead in order to crack that high ground. So much high ground defense on the Radiant. Naga Illusions, Beastmaster X's, Rubik spams, Shrapnel with Sniper there.
Well, they're listening to you, Black. I don't think they can hear you, but they are definitely going in the Roche pit.
I mean, I did play with them in the past, so maybe I have like a mental connection as well, you know?
I understand. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, of course. But they're getting pinged out, and the Naga side is heading this way. And I believe a deep observer ward on the top lane is what spotted them. That's where they're going to leave it. And most likely, that means the Roshan will not fall until he goes down bottom for the Radiant side.
Yeah. We also got a Blink Dagger picked up on Beastmaster, so his positioning will be a lot better in team fights, and he can pick and choose who he wants to initiate on.
I think he needs to jump the Tusk. Otherwise, Desire is just going to help save everybody.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's not really going to show himself too easily, I'd imagine.
Oh, they're going for it.
They're going for Roche
30
themselves.
seconds. It's already down to half HP. Skylark does have the black hole in just a few seconds, but not quite
they know
yet.
about it. They know
he
about
doesn't
it.
have a blink. It might be too late. They need to go there. They're throwing the Eidolons in, but CML, Lewis, and Tino are unrelentless. Desire goes first, and the Aegis will get claimed by Radiant, and the Beastmaster Song of Siren comes in time. Focus will walk out. Tusk's trying to stay alive. Focus is not really decided. Walking back and forth, assassinate, and the Tusk will fall. Roar, instant buyback, and now they're
Tino's strong.
The Black Hole is online though, and the pipe is there. The Bristleback with the Bloodstone stays alive, and the Scream of Pain comes in. Invoker dies again. Desire is deep, is going for it, and the Rubik Black Hole is not going to be stolen. It's only the Scream of Pain. Double kill for Thug. Beastmaster is about to lose his second life. They're all falling on the Radiant side, and Jotun will be the next to go as Tino. That's a full team wipe, and Greece have done it.
Lost the Bristleback, but yeah, as you said, it's basically a 6-1 exchange. And the auras on Skylark are just a little bit too strong right now. They don't have much damage. We spoke about it before. Sniper is the only damage dealer. He is quite a bit underfarmed, and Skylark is quite a bit overfarmed. They just do not have the damage capabilities right now to go through all these barriers.
And I gotta be honest with you, Black, this Invoker is a non-factor so far. He's going for the right-click build. He's tickling the opponents at this point. If maybe he had the Exort, he might have gotten more.
Nice
dodge. Perfect snowball. Blink out. Stolen. Not stolen. Almost stolen the Wisdom Rune. At least Lewis will protect that for himself. But he's only level 13. And look at the net worth charts on the left side of our screen.
Well, good news for the Philippines is that Roshan is no longer a factor for quite a while now. They did manage to take that away, that objective. And pushing towers is still not going to be easy for Greece. So their lifeline has been extended by taking Roshan. I really like what they did.
Yep.
Yeah, they ended up losing the fight, but we already spoke about that they scaled quite a bit better into the mid-late game.
Yeah.
Now it's survival mode. Survival mode, try to get up. You just need more damage, honestly. You don't have the damage right now to kill. Yes, you did kill the Bristleback ultimately, but it took you 6 heroes to do so.
Everything, including a stolen Scream of Pain. Sonic Wave, sorry. Okay, they're smoked up. Spartan might just tank this one again for Thug. Thug has half a shield rune available. Jumping in, Roar right away. Spartan is there. Sunstrike coming in just for a bit of damage, and the telekinesis.
Oh, it's a massive
gonna be
kill.
a knife. Spartan just TPs out under a Glimmer Cape, and yeah. You're a Crystal Maiden, not a Tusk. You can't do for your Queen of Pain what your other support could.
Yeah, but there was a massive streak to give away. Well, your team basically, nobody was there to really back you up, so they have to be careful they don't get too comfortable. Like, yes, you have a lead right now, but that can, disappear in an instant. And as we already said, once you're ahead, you really have to make sure that the sniper doesn't get like 2 or 3 kills, because suddenly there's 2k net worth infusion. You have an additional damage item, you're going to get really strong. Like, he's probably going to go into Silver Edge at some point, a Hurricane Pike, and once he gets the survivability items, it's going to be incredibly tough to kill him.
What I do appreciate from Greece is that, despite the fact that I believe both us and the panel kind of, well, not questioned the draft, but preferred the Philippines draft, they had a game plan that they stick to it, and so far they've executed it beautifully. The only question is if they can keep going, keeping up the pace and applying the pressure. They have taken a tier 2 top, but we saw a bit of right with bottom that got instantly punished. Oh, Jotun dies yet again. He's playing this Naga Siren. He wants to invade the opponent's jungle, making them think he's an illusion, and it's just not working for him.
Yeah, but he's giving a lot of information at least for the team, and quite a lot of deep wards in as well. And as we said, if you want to play survival mode, that's probably the best you can ask for, because you really know the positioning of the Greece side. And very split right now. Lewis again.
Sentry comes in
walk
a bit
away.
late. He's way faster now, and now Tino comes
it's
around.
gonna be a tough one.
He finally roars the Tusk Black, and that's gonna be Desire out. But that's why I said you just need to roar the Tusk. If he's around, he's the first target that you kind of need to focus.
Yep. That brings Beastmaster very close to his BKB. Might have to give us the bot tower for it. Don't think they really want to defend it. But yeah, every minute that's ticking where you're making any sort of ground up or you're staying even is a win for the Philippines. So it's up to Greece to really step onto the gas pedal and try to make things happen. Because even Skylark, right? Look at his item build. It's purely mid-game focused.
Yep.
Double Aura, Lotus Orb. You want to protect your Bristleback at all costs. Which also means you will never be able to get a good Black Hole off, probably. Never say never. But
Tier 3 Fortify gets used by the Radiant side right now. They're also applying pressure in mid. It's going to be a pretty good trade for Greece, Tier 2 for Tier 1. You don't want to fight, as Desire had a dieback post that Roshan fight, so he has a very long respawn timer, but he will be back in 10 seconds. Sniper has the full Shadow Blade completed.
yeah, going straight into the Silver Edge, even not any crystal shenanigans or like cheap damage.
Not even a concussive
Straight
grenade.
Silver Edge. Yeah.
I thought he might go for the shard a bit
No,
early.
he's probably going to go shard first
Okay.
before finishing the Silver Edge.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's, I mean, Silver Edge is a good item. It's just, it's a little risky because you still don't really have any survivability. We'll see if he gets away with that because his teammates should be able to bail him out. Oh, this Rubik is so rich.
Roar coming in on top of Desire, and he's out again. But this time, they're trying to focus. You know, look at the drop, the damage is just getting destroyed, but the BKB is there from the Queen of Pain. Sonic Wave on top of him, Black Hole onto a single Naga Siren. Jotun still alive, stolen Black Hole, comes around, and that is Thug. 9-second BKB getting killed. Nothing more for Skylark to do here. They just need to fall back, focus. You're taking this fight by yourself, and you gotta find a Rubik kill, but can you get anything more? Spartan is too far to use the Frostbite, and that is, despite the 2-for-2 trade, I would consider that a massive victory for the Philippines.
Yeah, as we already said, they took a fight on the enemy territory, which means no objectives can be taken by Greece. The Bristleback is going to get delayed further by Lewis on the Invoker, and again, every minute you stall and Sniper does not die, or Invoker for that matter, massive victory. The damage will come eventually. Right now, Bristol and Skylark on the Enigma are pretty much unkillable, but you know, 10 minutes, 50 minutes into the future, they will feel like paperweight.
And we are talking about the importance of using your ultimates onto the save supports. We saw the Roar onto the Tusk, but first of all, the Roar has a well smaller cooldown than the Black Hole, and it has just it's a single target ability. If you use the Black Hole similarly to the Roar to kill the Naga Siren so she doesn't stop your ultimate, you don't really achieve that much, because yes, you kill the support, but you've got, again, the second longest cooldown in the game right now, and then you're pretty much a walking aura for the rest of the fight.
That is the problem though. Like, they picked Enigma early, maybe not anticipating that the Philippines would pick the heroes they did, but you cannot realistically get a good Black Hole off, like ever. It's just literally impossible. So he chose to just Black Hole the Naga Siren, so they take the reset button away at least. But as you said, you are a walking aura, and the stun. That's basically it. Like, he needs to make sure that his other cores don't die. In fact, I might even like advise to not use Black Hole at all, because the only reason Quap died through BKB is because Enigma's Black Hole was stolen.
Yeah.
You know, like at that point you might be better off just not using it.
Yeah, at that point you might be better just playing a different hero, but that's just my opinion. We're gonna see, because Skylark has had a good game, but obviously the shortcomings of the draft are starting to haunt the Greek side, as the first Tormentor for the Radiant will be getting played. Now, let's see, I think they would love to get Shanks the shard that teammates like Kinesis is key, especially when you're playing versus the Black Hole, and even against the Ice Shards of the Tusk. So that's going to be another great way of repositioning and helping your teammates. And I gotta give props to Shanks. His positioning in the first 27 minutes of this game has been impeccable.
Yeah, which is also reflected in his net worth. He's doing very well for himself and his team. Currently has the Wind Waker queued up, which of course is another safety fail mechanism for his teammates to be able to save him. Oh, Desire. Okay, I actually like that quite a bit, like the Tusk Kick.
Yeah.
Might be just another tool to be able to re-initiate onto the enemy.
Or to position someone into the Black Hole, right?
Yeah.
Blink, kick them into Black Hole, I guess. Put them closer together. I think what Greece is hoping here for is that there will be a moment when they, the whole Philippine squad will try to jump in on the Bristleback, that he'll survive long enough for a 4 or 5 player Black Hole, I guess. But, the Philippines have 5 very highly skilled and kind of experienced players. So I don't see them making these sort of mistakes as easily.
Yeah, the good news is that Bristleback, they have the tools to kill him now. However, if Desire's in position, they'll never be able to burst him down. And then, of course, Silver Edge is on cooldown. He has Bloodstone available. He should be able to get back up to full health, or close to at least. It's a pretty tense smoke right now. Like, this next team fight might be very game-defining. If the Philippines win it, there's going to be a Roshan as well.
Coming up in 35 seconds, jumping in, Roar, the Bristleback, he's going to get saved. The BKB is being wasted, and the Bristle is out of it, but Spirit Vessel still dealing well. Sonic Wave coming in the backline, trying to kill the Invoker, but Thug is 1v2ing, and he is losing this duel. The numbers game goes in favor of the Radiant. So far, the Bloodstone full focus is up, and they're gonna take out the Beastmaster. Player disadvantage, there is no buyback for Tino. And Philippines, they still have the Song of Siren, but Invoker is very low in HP. Queen of Pain, same on the Dire side. So they will both disengage for now. Are we gonna go in Roche Pit? 2 seconds until it's up.
Should be a pretty easy Roshan. They don't really have any tools to really combat it anymore. But it's funny that they actually went all into the Bristleback, because they just said there's no way they can do that. And then they did it, and that is the reason why they lost the fight. Snowball comes in, Silver Edge is off after the Snowball, of course, because it runs out, and then they have no tools to really deal with focus anymore.
I think what Thug did there on the Queen of Pain was very essential, because yes, he almost sacrificed himself to the Sniper and the Invoker, but it distracted the right-clickers from focusing the Bristle, because the burst kind of was there for a moment, right? But because the Sniper and Invoker just had to deal with Thug, they couldn't add the extra pressure and allow the Bristle to get the Bloodstone going and heal up.
Yeah, and that problem is going to become even bigger. Bye-bye, Roshan. Always follow a good friend.
Look at the Eidolons, my goodness. Just all getting kicked back. That's very entertaining looking. And half HP, there's no contest. There is a scan from the Dire, just double checking. They're not coming our way. Who should take this? I mean, the Bristleback is probably the best one you have here, right? Sunstrike coming in! Oh, that was so close. Speaking of something close, Spartan's close to losing his life. And he will.
Good old Vessel and Cold Snap combo. But yeah, he's going to be incredibly close to the Shiva's Guard on Thug. And once that's up, like, he can make those blink in place and actually survive. Yeah. It will be quite simple for him to survive. You bring it to the backline with BKB. They don't really have, I mean, they have a lot of physical damage, but of course, thanks to the Shiva's Guard giving you so much armor, should be no problem to survive for 5 seconds to blink out again.
Tino almost has his Shivas as well. And Skylark has a Blink Dagger, will be going for the Lincoln Sphere. I think another item that I would love to see for the Greek squad in the coming 5 or 10 minutes would be an Assault Cuirass Black.
Yeah, that would definitely make a lot of sense, but again, like, I'm so worried for Skylark. Like, his game is basically non-existent at this point, because he has been itemizing so much for his team. And he can't really make many things happen in the team fight. Like, he presses his auras, Malefice, and he already knows, like, I don't want to black hole anyone because Rubik is just waiting for it. And his black hole is way more potent than mine.
It's also this Jotun Naga Siren hasn't, other than a couple of reel-ins in the early game, hasn't done much, but this is when Naga becomes the beast, when she has the longer, you know, the wider Song of Siren, and I believe she probably has a shard by now. That's something that if you don't drop it from the first Tormentor, you buy yourself. Shivas flew into Tino. Outer towers looking very rough for Philippines compared to Greece, but Philippines only need one team fight, and then with all the right-click damage they have, they will be melting through those dire buildings.
Yeah, I would argue that Greece actually wanted to have more of the map than they do right now.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Like, 2k advantage at this point is, like, I would actually give a decent advantage to the Philippines. These team fights are only going to get harder. Like, if you're Greece at this point, you probably want to be up 10k or so and really start at least containing the enemy to the map, but they're not contained at all. They're actually stealing your Tormentor right now.
If I would have to go for a win probability, I would definitely give it to the Radiant squad, as there's a Tornado slowing down Skylark, stealing the Tormi. Okay. Oh, very close, Skylark. It would have been a risky play to just blindly use the black hole, but it would have paid off.
They'll probably get the Rubik though.
Yeah, Shanks, I mean, it's something, but I think the bigger takeaway from this one for me is the fact that the Naga did not have the shard, and she got it now from the stolen Tormentor.
Yeah, which is of course another reset button for the sniper. You heal him up to like roughly half health.
Yeah. I mean, there's 40 seconds no Rubik where you should be able to, well, not be able to, you should try to force a play, right?
It's very tough though. We spoke about the high ground defense. There's going to be axes, there's going to be sniper hitting you.
But you do have an Aegis.
You do have an Aegis.
And a banner, right? I think there should be a banner.
There should be a banner as well, yeah. But there's also one thing we didn't touch on yet much. This Invoker shard with the mini vacuum effect is incredibly annoying to deal with as well.
Amplified
don't
damage.
think he has it yet.
Amplified damage on Desire.
Yeah,
Focus,
oh,
no
that's
more
tower
mana.
gone.
10 seconds, fortified. This is used already. 2 minutes on the Aegis, Assassinate coming in, and Focus wants to die so he can full reset before the Rubik respawns. He will do so just now, has the BKB as well. Shiva's Guard jumping in, Wild Axes, Lotus up, Focus does not feel any of the pressure, but they will fall back, allowing the tier 3 to stand with just 60 HP.
Yeah, so optimally for Greece, this Aegis they actually wanted to use to get a couple of barracks, but Philippines managed to hold off that assault for now. The next teamfight is going to be very telling. Like, if Philippines wins that teamfight, they're going to be massively ahead. If Greece wins that teamfight, they're probably going to get at least 2 sides.
Depends on the buyback status, I suppose, as well, right?
Yeah. Once that Skadi is up on Sniper, Bristol is not going to have a lot of fun in this game anymore.
I believe that's why he's going for the Wind Waker on the Bristleback. And that would be a huge reset item for himself in the team fights. Also buying more time for the Quill Spray cooldown to run lower.
Hex stun actually on the Invoker.
Oh.
Very
Smoke up.
interesting item pickup.
Okay, Jotun is going to break the smoke most likely. He is playing under the Observer and the Watcher now with an illusion, but they are heading for the Tormentor high ground. Drums getting popped up, Blink forward, and this Beastmaster is alone, but the Bristleback has to use the BKB. They use the kick. The Beast is out of position, and Skylark is getting hexed. He's getting stunned, he's getting shrapnelled, and they're really trying to kill each other's offlaner. The Beast is the first to fall, and now they're gonna go for more. There is no buyback. They need to get on top of the Sniper, but no vision. He's in the Shadow Blade, safety to the high ground. The Rubik will get caught. No, another Blink to the low ground, and the Tusk gets the kill onto the Naga Siren. Black, where was the song?
Yeah, I think he actually expected to get bailed out there, but this was an incredible play by Greece. Like,
yes.
Skylark puts himself in a position where he's like, guys, I'm here, kill me, I'm Enigma, I'm super important, you know, but we all know, like, he's purely just a tanky blob right now. So, perfect case scenario by Greece.
His cannon fodder.
Yeah, exactly. Except he's not really fodder, he's more like a cannon wall at that point. But yeah, they jump past him. Tino is all by himself.
And the kick, the
no
Warriors kick from the Tusk was very, very crucial there from Desire. And now they're jumping in. Oh, instant stun, but Skylark with the perfect setup. It's going to be a black hole only onto the Invoker. Shanks, can you steal it in time? He's going to do so, but can you use it?
Whoa!
Sonic Wave coming in, and the first set of racks will most likely fall. They're even going for the Naga. Has to use the Mirror's Image, but the melee's down, and so is the range. CML trying to get to work. Thug, very low, will disjoint with the blink out.
Second side is also in trouble. They're using the glyph. Tino is back up in 3, and they need to respect the Beastmaster. I think that's probably all you can get right now. Get out, be happy with what you got. Well, maybe even get the tower as well.
There is no mid laner for 35. You might want to force a buyback.
Okay.
You've got the banner. The damage is there. The Lotus refracted onto the Naga Siren. She has to use Mirror's Image. The Roar is available. Focus, you do not have an Aegis. Okay, drum and get out of there.
Get out of here. A massive victory though. The net worth was like 1k advantage.
Yeah.
Now suddenly it's 11k. Or rather they gained 11k through that one fight alone. Now it's looking a little bit more rough for the Philippines. They still just don't have damage. Sniper is not there yet. And in fact, he's going for Skadi. Whereas Invoker is also, he also went for the utility route, so he's not adding any damage.
Yeah, I think my biggest question mark this game has been the Invoker. And, I mean, do you agree?
For sure, for sure. The problem is now with Sniper, he can't build any defensive items. He's a pure damage dealer. So he has to go into the Daedalus now to be able to even kill anybody, which means he's easy pickings.
Are they setting up top? This is very optimistic. The Bristle is TPing, but they're gonna go for the World Risk Kick, a Glimmer Cape.
Just to support?
They might just kill him. The BKB is there, TP out, the Black Hole will not be available, and you've used everything. The BKB runs out! Where did he TP? Tino! That's unbelievable. I think he might have wanted to go back to the tier 3.
I think he just TP'd a little bit too late with the BKB on, unfortunately. Small mistiming there. But he has a buyback at least, so...
But no BKB.
No BKB. Jotun, solo killed by Thug as well.
Oh,
he's pretty tanky, right? Tanky enough. Yep, he is. Oh, TP out, TP out, TP out.
Sniper has to go out. Yep. He'll be fine for now. And then this is the third amplified damage that Thug gets before they're trying to push a tower this game. And another aspect I wanted to mention, tier 4 items are just now available. And if Greece, that has the control, gets them before, they're going to have even more of an advantage. Okay, they're trying to tickle this Bristleback. They're getting down to below half HP, but look at mid lane. The Eidolons are cleaning up the range racks.
Yeah. Might want to finish that though, because of course the more Rex is down, the more time we're gonna have for a free Roshan.
They don't want to reset, I guess.
Get the melee, okay, alright. Just 2 sides down, just like that.
Okay.
Of course you don't want to buy back on Tino. Especially now, you're in this position, 20 seconds. You really don't want to buy back. Next Roshan up in 50 seconds. That's gonna be the third one.
I'm so happy I predicted Greece to win this one. Not this one map, but this series black, because this is a different beast compared to what we've seen from them in the group stage. They scraped by with some wins, but right now, this game has been some top-tier Dota.
Yeah, this draft is not easy to execute. At all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We often speak in IESF about the importance of running stuff that's easier to run, and Greece have definitely not chosen that path this time around. They've cornered themselves with a tactic that I assume they've practiced, and it's working out excellent.
Yeah, that task itemization in general is like, it is really beautiful. I love that axe pickup. And all the pieces are just coming together perfectly. 18k lead now, Skylark up front again.
Okay,
they just don't have the tools to kill him.
Good placements of the observers and the sentries.
Ooh, Spartan, man, he's always in their face, every time.
But he's buying time. Jotun's gonna get killed 1-for-1, and I think the Black Hole is being used right now
Tino
on top of Tino. There's nothing that can stop him. We killed the Naga, the Rubik isn't here, and you cannot core me because you're taken away.
He has a buyback though, and he's probably gonna need it. If you're Greece though, you really don't want to force anything right now. You know, Roshan, exactly. Yeah. Take the Roche, it's the third one, it's a massive one. But it's Greece, you never know with them. They love to just be in your face at all times.
The AC is long completed on this Bristleback. He wants to go for a Swift Blink, I believe.
Damage. Wexen, we need more damage.
We need any damage from the Radiant side. The tips coming into CML, who also hasn't really felt.
Well, they're actually going for the Rex. They want to force out the buyback, but if they lose this fight, this could turn the entire game around.
It's a big if. We have the Desire Kick jumping in, 4 steps back to the high ground. They have a buyback from Tino, Sonic Wave, and Lewis is alive. The Naga Song of the Siren finally comes out. Tino tries to find something. We're gonna get a net and a reel in coming in. Hex right there, but we have a Lotus on top of the Queen of Pain, and she will blink out to safety. You might have lost the hero, but you are still in cruise control, because if you catch Tino one more time, he's going to be out with no buyback.
Yep, it was very well done. Nice disengage towards the end. And now the advantage of having 2 sides up is really going to kick in. Like, these lanes will constantly pressure you. And I don't think if you're the Philippines, you can just go for Roshan right now. But you have to try something.
Well, they're smoked up. They don't have the Song of the Siren or the Roar, but they want to take advantage of their numbers. There is no Desire. He has been a crucial component of the Greek squad.
Are they just going for Roche? They're just going for Roche. But you cannot give this away if you're Greece. That might be the comeback sort of condition here for the Philippines. 10 seconds though. Yeah, they know for sure. They're not defending mid lane. It's so obvious what they're doing.
Well, they're desperately going for this Hail Mary play. There is no black hole at least to jump on top
Half
of them.
HP. It's dying fast.
Very fast, and they're gonna get it. Ray Aegis on CML, Jotun and no buyback out for 75. Sonic Wave coming in. You need to
They're all
keep
stuck
it
in the
back to
corner.
safety. BKB turning around. Sonic Wave stolen, but the snowball is there. The Soundstrike does not connect. CML is trying to kill someone, anyone, but the only one that will fall is you. And they are not managing to even get them below 3/4 of HP. They're dying one by one, and Philippines are gonna most likely lose game number 1 with only a couple buybacks left. They are heading for the throne.
Yeah, that's gonna feel pretty bad. You still have a buyback on Sniper, so he's probably gonna try to defend by himself, but you don't have Tino, who's basically your second biggest damage dealer, and your front line. This is gonna feel good if you're Greece. Like, you know this draft is not easy to execute, and you know you really outplayed the Philippines, who a lot of people thought were gonna be the favorites.
Well, buybacks are here.
Yeah, Invoker's back, Sniper's back. They probably just want to go for mega creeps. Play it safe, there's no reason to rush anything. Now you're at this point where we said you really want to be, you have the 30k net profit advantage, and at this point, you don't really care about your draft being much more difficult to play, you know? They're so tanky, they have double AC, if you look at this Enigma, 50 armor, it's just like a wall.
Prediction, or quickly, Black, tell me, do you think Focus is going to farm them in the fountain?
No.
I mean, he's going for it. Okay, first tier 4 falls. It's Spartan, the one going a bit too aggressive, and they're going for it.
Focus
He is in the fountain. That's what I call, ladies and gentlemen, BKB Bloodstone, and he's obliterating every single one of them, and he's out, and they're done. GG, Chris takes game 1.
Yeah, having a good time towards the end as well. Basically, picture perfect finish. Like, that Roshan fight was so good by them. Yeah, Philippines managed to snatch the Roshan, but they all don't have TPs. Literally 4 of the heroes were just like at the corner of the Roshan pit. And Sniper's like, guys, like, I don't want to be in melee. Can you guys be in front of me? No chance at that point. Super well played. I love the itemization, especially by Sky. Like, he recognized the fact that his game is basically non-existent. He puts all the stock into his teammates, and it paid off handsomely.
Yeah, we doubted them, and they've proven us wrong in this game number 1. If this is a draft that they can pull up such an amazing victory with, I'm scared for the rest of the tournament and the rest of their opponents. Of course, it's Greece, so consistency is something that they have always needed to work on, but if they can bring up the same fire that we know and love them for in game 2, Philippines might really be in trouble.
It's a tough road, though. I think drafts like these, yes, you can do it, but they're still high risk. So I hope, you know, in game 2 they're gonna be picking something that's a little bit easier to execute, perhaps. Because we've seen they can outplay even with a very difficult draft to play. But if the drafts are even and they're playing like this, we'll see. Philippines, you know, they're a very strong team themselves. They definitely know how to come back. So it's far from over.
What is a big takeaway that you had? Because I would normally ask you, who do you think shines the most for Greece? But you already kind of mentioned it. I think we covered the fact that Desire on the Tusk was incredible. But I gotta ask the analysts, rather, who do they think was the one that maybe needed to change a couple of things on the Philippines side going into game 2?
That is indeed the question, Vlad, because Greece managed to snatch away victory in this first game, playing a high-octane draft. It worked out for them in the end, but like you mentioned, some issues certainly emerging from the side of the Philippines. Of course, we're going to be breaking down everything that went down in this particular game with my panel. It's not just T-Gov. The best part about Dota, we've got the respawn. Aegis Nomad. What's happening, fam?
Hello. Yes, how's everybody doing? Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, where were you? What was happening? Why did you feed and die by yourself when you knew a team fight was going to happen?
You know what? I just really wanted to enjoy a nice, you know, you and T-Gov taking us through the pre-show, nice 45 minutes. Yeah, I was just outside the arena watching on my phone on the steps. And yeah, I didn't regret it. It was great. You guys killed it.
Hey, shout out to that. Now, of course, you have to be giving us your opinion because you got to watch this match. You arrived just as it was beginning, a fortuitous time to make it here. Honestly, looking at the draws, I really thought that Philippines, if they performed up to the standards that they did in the groups, they would have been able to win this game. From your perspective, what do you think was where did it all start to fall apart for them that led to this result?
I mean, it fell apart for them really early on, right? Like, their mid lane kind of started to not go great, and then Thug just took over on the Queen of Pain. I mean, my god, he was everywhere. And Queen of Pain's one of these heroes where I think we have a tendency to underrate it, because it comes into a game, and I think in about over 50% of games, Queen of Pains don't get the lane they want. And if you do go for the lane, then you go for this dagger build, and it's just not that strong to be map present with it. But Thug managed to find a few good rotations, you know, where, especially with Spartan as well, just kind of grouping up, finding the plays, and just really starting rolling. Actually, I was kind of impressed that Philippines were able to get back into it at all. I thought this was just done, but they did actually fight back.
Yep, they did fight back, but in the draft we were worried that Philippines, you know, sure they got some really strong meta heroes, but to get them online takes a bit of time. And their early game damage just wasn't really in play, and for Greece, they identified that, right? They brought the CM, the Tusk very early on to some early fights. Yes, Fug popped off on the Queen of Pain, but because of them breaking down the Beastmaster early on, ganking him several times, even if they traded a couple deaths their own way, giving Philippines a little bit of an edge, it didn't matter. They were forcing Beastmaster to react, not allowing him to farm up, and, you know, again, Fug, triple kill, contesting the Roshan, Bristleback, also uncontested, 15, 3, 14 at the end of the game, finishing with what, nearly like 34,000 hero damage. Sure, still not as much as Queen of Pain, but between the two of them, Philippines just couldn't handle the amount of damage that Greece was presenting.
Yep, I think part of the problem we're seeing through a lot of these replays that Philippines had this issue. Two big heroes have to take care of in a fight, right? If I'm Beastmaster, who do I roll? Do I roll this Queen of Pain who's going to blink around, killing my supports? Or do I roll the guy who's at the very front, who if I don't roll him, he's just going to run in, tank all the damage and kill us all anyway? And it's a weird situation, T, right? To be at the end of a game like this with Spartan Enigma, right? Spartan Enigma, and he's not your biggest problem.
Yeah, no, I think
yes.
there we go. I was waiting. I was like, okay, all right, it's all good, it's all good.
My bad.
No, but yeah, I think it's exactly the fact that you bring up Skylark Enigma as well. The way that he itemized, right? We identified the fact that because of Naga Siren and the Rubik, it might force the Enigma to have to think about how to utilize Black Hole, right? He can either lose the spell to Rubik, or it's kind of nullified because, you know, his team just run away or heal up through the Naga Song. He goes for Boots of Bearing, Crimson Guard, Pipe, Lotus. He buys all the auras. So now it's like, we already said that Philippines don't really have a lot of damage, and now your Enigma is bringing pretty much every aura into the game to really punish them.
Yeah, and I like that point as well. I was going to make the same one because you were talking earlier about the Beastmaster's choices. You know, it's like, do we do the Bristleback? Do we do the Queen of Pain? And what ended up happening in these late game fights is you got Skylark just walking into the front lines. He's got all these auras. He's got Black Hole. If you don't rule him, you're going to have issues. He's actually a really high value target to take down as well. And that is what we saw happening a lot. He got rawed a ton this game just because, you know, he was just kind of threatening on the front lines without that kind of hard initiation style of Enigma.
And Desire, we identified the fact that finding Sniper could be difficult. If this game was a lot closer for Philippines, they would have maybe struggled, you know, killing off Sniper. He went Blink, Aethelin, Aghanims. You find him, you just kick him back into the middle of your team. You just reposition him at pretty much an entire screen's distance, and he's never get to play Dota. Or how he was utilizing it in this game, because Sniper was not really doing anything, just kicking the Beastmaster further away. Beast blinks in, Tusk now counter blinks, you don't get to fight.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that Greece are playing like this compared to their group stage, it's like we said in the pre-show, you cannot count this team out. They like to play aggressive, they like to draft aggressive. It will fall flat eventually, but when it doesn't, it looks like this. It's incredible.
And also, like, with the Sniper, you know, you're kind of always playing a max range, right? Because there is this Tusk in play, you have to play a max range. You've got to be really far back. So when that Beastmaster gets kicked further back, what's he going to do? He can't do anything. Your damage isn't going to come in. The Beastmaster can't roar anybody because there won't be any follow-up. So it's just really awkward. And that was a really nice utilization of the Tusk, which I haven't really seen much of before. Almost every Tusk player we see is just going for that big target, trying to kick them into the team, trying to get them out of position. But yeah, just moving the team fight and isolating a maybe not like super damage-heavy core, which is pivotal to win the fight. But, you know, you just get the slightly higher value target, but it just works out better.
I think that also, another way to add on to that point, right, is the fact that because you have Naga on the one team, if you kick away one of the targets, she now has an impossible decision to make. Nobody else on my team has reach, right? No one's buying Blink Daggers. So especially if you kick away my Beastmaster, do I Song to try and save him? And there's no actual guarantee I save him. Do we maybe try and re-engage that fight? And I think it speaks to the fact that, of course, over this entire game, we saw one effective Song. One from the team that got the Naga Siren early in the second phase. But Greece, it felt like they had a plan to deal with it. Is this the long-term answer type of solution to Naga Siren, or is it just particular to this game that they were able to deal with it so well?
I think it was less the Naga Siren against Greece and more Philippines just really had heroes that didn't utilize Naga very well, right? Like Sniper was meant to be Enigma in lane, it didn't really do that. He itemized differently. Then you have a Rubik to support. Like there's no fight, there's no go. It's always farm, 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 and eventually then we'll see that come online. I think Naga excels when you have a lot of early fight, so then Naga pushes you forward and then has that insurance policy. There was no, you're not insuring anything because no one's going to fight, no one's going to kill anything, and they're just waiting. So it's kind of rare, right? Like all the other games we've seen from Philippines, there's like a Meepo or a Viper or some type of way to go, this is our time to play the game. This draft, it's just, wait, please, 35 minutes, 40 minutes, all right, now we'll crush you, right? So I think for Philippines going into game 2, they will change up the pace of the game as they cannot just play on the back foot. When you play on the back foot against an aggressive team, you lose your map, you lose Roshan, you lose towers, you lose everything. You lose your identity. And Greece, this is not the Philippines we saw in the group stage. They just went,
well, not it might be Nomad, right? He's saying that they were trying to angle for a later portion in the game. We have to remember what region they're from, boys. Southeast Asia, the late game region. Maybe because they were crushing so much in the group stages, they're like, oh, let's just play some comfort. How we would normally roll at home. Because sometimes it takes that adversity in the group to make you play more proactively once you get to the playoffs. Do you think maybe they should have suffered at least one loss to prepare them for this kind of fast-paced game?
they should have.
Yes, they should have lost.
They should have
I love that
crafted a
point.
loss. Yeah, there we go.
I mean, but potentially, like, potentially yes, because you don't want to have your first loss in this kind of situation where there's more pressure on everybody. You know, like there's no second chances. You know, if that's going to knock you off your game mentally, then it can be a tricky situation. And that's what I would say for a lot of the teams coming into it. I don't believe that applies to the Philippines, though, simply because 4 out of 5, you know, they are the execration.
Spartan, Warlock. Think about Warlock. I'll talk to you later, but Warlock.
What is this?
It's
That's
really
right
good.
here.
It's really good. That was some free coaching.
You know,
Yeah.
I
Thank
hope you're gonna
you.
send them the
Enjoy
invoice
game.
afterwards.
Yeah,
You
it's
gotta
fine,
send them
it's
the invoice and say, hey, man.
I feel bad now. I should say Warlock to Philippines as well.
yeah.
I want to shout, pick Warlock. There we go.
Everyone's
Both
got the
teams.
same
To be
advice.
fair, if he
Wait.
goes back to his team and says we should pick Warlock, then
Wait.
I think Greece have some issues.
Wait,
I don't-
Warlock. Wait, I'm gonna get the picture,
Okay,
and I'll
alright.
show the picture to the Philippines. So there you go. I've got a
Oh,
lot
they
of
can
Warlocks.
see it from afar.
So now
There we go.
Philippines, they got the Warlock picture,
They're locked
and
in, bro.
Greece got
They ain't
the
looking.
Warlock verbal.
Oh.
So now I
They
feel
are
meant
locked.
like, yeah, I feel like I've given both teams
Yeah,
Give it some
sure,
fair game.
equal
sure.
information.
If they
There
win
we go.
with your only issue here is if they win with Warlock.
If
Yeah,
they
then it's
pick
your fault.
Warlock off of a single statement without me giving
Yeah.
any reasoning, because again, the way that Greece play, that's what Warlock does right now. Fatal Bonds, Shadow Word, shove the wave, super aggressive, break the map, amp your team up. It breaks these static lineups. That, honestly, could have been a game for Warlock.
Okay.
I'm watching it, I was like, oh, they could play Warlock here. I was excited, I was all giddy. They obviously didn't, because, we're watching the game. But if he got all of that information from me just saying the word, he's the GOAT. He's
Then
the...
you-
boom.
Might have to call you T-Genius if that ends up happening.
If they pick Warlock, I'm also kind of scared, because then I have some influence over it. But, we'll see. We'll see,
I
we'll
was
see.
gonna say it's it's tricky for you, but to mention, to just circle back on the whole mentality thing. I don't think it's too big of an issue for Philippines, just because 4 out of their players are from Execration, right? So they should have that mental backing, that experience together to be able to bounce back and be fine. So I feel pretty good about them, at least from a mentality perspective in game 2. I think we'll be able to see them putting forward a very competitive second match.
I'm hoping to see, actually, one of my favorite games I saw from them in the group stages was when they went off lane with the Io Marcy. And the reason I loved it so much is because I saw my South African boys play that combo, get dumpstered. Then I saw them play it and it did amazing. And I'm like, see, boys, here's the template.
Io Marcy is the combo. If you're playing like ranked with a friend, you pick that combo, right? Like you break games.
And you don't have a soul.
yes. But competitively, it doesn't really seem to carry over that well, right? Because people kite it out nicely. It's so prevalent and so known in the pubs that people understand it in a this is at the top level sense, right? So I feel like I'm down for Philippines to go for these type of strategies, because at least from my understanding is it's just super quick. It's aggressive. And Greece just done that, and they dominated. And I feel like when you get to like national tournaments, being the aggressive team, dictate the tempo, you don't allow your opponent to kind of find their rhythm in the game. Compare that to other types of, Dota. There's often good plan Bs and Cs. But right now, with this type of Dota, like when you're bringing players to to play for their country, there's not always like the understanding of each player and how to perfectly synergize, right? It's like any national sport. So now when you bring them here, it's like that's why aggressive Dota is the best for this stage. And often why Spartan and the lads, no matter what tournament they're playing in, national. This is their strategy, right? So Philippines, they should have known this coming in. They should know everything about Greece. Like Spartan, he doesn't change. He's played Dota like this for years. When the meta dictates it, he's at the top of the game. When the meta is not aggressive, he's at the bottom of his game. Like he lives and dies by the fact that aggressive Dota is his thing.
I'm very surprised though, Nomad, because in the group stages, Philippines also were living and dying by this, right? They were playing the fastest games, having the highest tempo kind of drafts. What do you think happened in between yesterday and today that made them say, let's see if we can slow it down a bit? Is it experimentation, or did they just, I don't know, have different ideas about what it takes to win the tournament?
I think it's just showing a bit more respect towards Greece, maybe, than compared to their other opponents. You know, and I think they should. I think, you know, that this Greece team, as you mentioned in the pre-show, very strong 5 players. You know, they know each other very well as well. So what you're saying about maybe not understanding each other, I don't think that this applies very much to Greece, as they, whilst they don't play together regularly, they know each other very well. They all talk, you know, they're all friends and everything. So a bit of respect coming out from Philippines and just being like, okay, you know, we will employ some other strategies here. We will prepare for their aggression. Will their aggression be better than ours? I don't think that's really been what they've been talking about, but I think this was just their idea to countering the aggression and being like, right, we'll just, you know, we'll throw in the Beastmaster with the sniper, you know, kind of brick wall them a little bit. It's always really nice if you can pull that off. It feels like you put them into an unwinnable situation if you can just build that wall and have your sniper kind of just chill in the back lines, you know, and then there's so many things to chop and change in that strategy, which you can just do it again and again. And that would kind of break Greece. So it was kind of like a gamble, I would say, in that regard, where you know, you swap out the sniper for Drow or Terrorblade, any you know, even maybe Medusa, a little bit different. But there's a bunch of other things you can do to change the style, but the idea remains the same. Thankfully for Greece, the idea didn't work, so they will have to. So I'm maybe expecting aggression here from Philippines. What do you think?
Yeah, a little bit. I think the fact that they had Naga and Rubik, then they have like a sniper, like they have a lot of heroes who do the same thing compared to other games. Like I'm looking at their lineups. They had Visage, Leshrak, Marcy. Like that screams kill you. The next game they have Batrider, Earth Spirit, Terrorblade. Terrorblade nowadays very aggressive, right? Like every single one of their drafts up until Greece had like 2 or 3 components of let's go find a hero, let's go kill them, let's go make our statement in the game. That just wasn't here. And also, I'm looking over across the room, and I'm seeing that it seems to be the Philippines have quite a large support network, a lot of a big crew compared to like Greece. They got like 1 lad with them. Like they've got a big huddle. So surely someone in the huddle has come to a good conclusion on how to improve in game 2. Surely.
Surely, it has to be the case. Speaking of this entire place right now, if you do not know at home, we do have the other matches playing concurrently at the moment. Scores are somewhat to be expected, but one surprise though, Myanmar did manage to take their first game without too much surprise there. Obviously, we watched this particular game with Greece taking the W. Sweden, though, managed to get the upset and defeat Kazakhstan in game 1, and that of course means that Belarus also fell in their opening game here. The thing that is a bit of a problem to me, I'm not going to mention which team, but Nomad, some of these losses you could see on the faces of the players that they're not in a good mental headspace right now. They need some backup. So what do you do when you're in that position? You're not playing at home. You don't have your coaches around. You don't have your crew with you. You don't have the Filipino huddle backing you up. How do you reverse your mental fortunes in that situation?
I mean, it varies entirely from person to person, right? Like everybody's different.
How would you do it?
How would I do it?
How would you do it?
Ooh,
Come on.
you know, I'm quite an outdoorsy person. For me, you know, if I'm ever tilted
So
at a
he'd
game,
run away. He'd run away from
yeah, I'll be out there. I'll be baking in the in the Saudi sunlight, you know, like a palm tree, is what I'd be doing. But no, I think just having the kind of mental maturity to talk and be able to be like, you know, even if you do get heated in the game, right, that's fine, because ultimately everybody should understand that the reason you're getting upset or the reason that you're getting annoyed is because you're passionate. Is because you want to be here and you want to be doing well and you're not. And everybody should understand that, and everybody should be able to come together after the, you know, the kind of thing, just simmer down a little bit and say like, all right, let's go next. You know, let's look in for the next one. I'm not worried if I see people looking angry or upset or crying or shouting or storming out or throwing punches after a game. I don't care. Okay, as long as they come into the booth for the next game with smiles all around, then I'm happy.
But that's where it's like the fact that national tournaments, they bring like the players that aren't at the top of their game. Like for every country, there's probably 2 or 3 pro players, right? But then to fill out the national roster, you need a couple up-and-comers, right? So for some players like Turkey, excuse me, we've got like players who are playing at the top of the game. and then we have 2 or 3 kind of new, like, let's call them academy players playing with them. So the pressure, it might be dealt with a couple new guys or the top guys, but the entire team won't be able to handle it the same way because we are a national setting. We can't just blindly say that this is going to be, you know, the tippity top, right? It's national. It's like any tournament, right? You bring in together players from all different kind of leagues to compete under your country's banner, right? And again, Turkey, we saw it a little bit, with kind of struggling with that game, and I think this is where you learn the most, and it's why national tournaments are so important, because it helps the scene. Like, some scenes, they don't really have like local national tournaments, right? So this is where now, again, I don't really know the Turkish scene, for example, but coming here is probably the biggest prize pool event they're going to get to play in as a country. So it's going to mean so much more to them, because for some of these players, it is their everything at this stage of their career.
I mean, I can definitely tell you from experience in South Africa, coming here does represent like a zenith of your year, right? Even if you're winning a local LAN in South Africa, you could be the best in the country. You come 4th here and you'd still make more money here at the World Esports Championship. So definitely understand that, makes complete sense to me. Another thing that I find quite interesting about these situations, Nomad, when I watch national teams playing, right, it's exactly what Tio was mentioning. You get to see who the up-and-coming stars are, who's the next generation. The question is, if you're the one, let's say you're in the team, let's say you're Spartan, for example, right? 2 players leave the team. You have to fill out for the next year. How do you find these new players, right? Because where do you go? You might not even be playing in the same pubs anymore, right? What if you're 11K MMR, the next up-and-comer is 6-7? What's the mechanism to try and discover exactly what's happening there?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of comes down to, it's not actually about the scouts, because, you know, these guys don't have scouts, you know, like they're players. They might have a coach or something, but that actually comes down to the player themselves. And it's a good lesson for a lot of players out there who might be watching this going like, I'm better than these, I could play here. Well, if you think that, you know, you need to get your name out there.
The leaderboard is how you get scouted.
Leaderboard, exactly.
Get good, high rank, put your country flag next to your name, because you can do that.
Yep.
That's normally how you get scouted.
Yep.
So
And then just communication, you know, like
that's crazy.
chat. Yeah,
Whoa.
exactly.
Hello.
And there you go.
Done.
Done.
Okay.
Easy.
Seems nice and simple. Director of DOTA, Nomad, and the Chief Scout, Tigov, have told us exactly how to find the next up-and-comers. For now, though, as the up-and-comers and the current stars are preparing for their next matchup, we're going to be going to a short break. But when we return, Philippines versus Greek, Game 2 in the upper bracket here at the World Esports Championship.
Can't help but these, cause they know they can never touch these. You know I can't help but this, cause they know they can never touch this. So baby, let me talk my shit, or I might just throw another fit.
Welcome back, one and all. We are here for Game 2 between the Philippines and Greece. A match that's going to determine who progresses into the final day of the competition and who has their journey here at WEC and Here and Now. Before we get into the game, yet again, I'm Snare, joined on panel by T-Gov and Nomad. Nomad, you were late, so I didn't have time to grill you on this one. The team that you think is going to win, I asked you about it off camera. You said you thought Greece coming into things. Why? What is it about this team that gives you confidence that they can go all the way?
I mean, it is really close between Greece and Philippines, which is kind of unfortunate that this is the match we've got going on now, right? But I like both these teams. I like the aggression they play with, and I just think that the experience is going to come through for the Greeks. You know, like, they've been here before. They're saying their first rodeo. I'm just looking forward to it, and they're friends as well. So I feel like that gives them kind of the emotional tenacity, which other teams might lack, and which is important here because in this state of play with these players on the national tournament, you know, with all this going on right now, no one's going to be playing perfectly. You've got to be able to make mistakes and then learn from them and move on as quickly as possible. That's what I was saying before the break. So I think that Greece are going to be in the best position to be able to do that compared to any other team here.
Okay. Definitely makes sense to me. Of course, we're going to be seeing what they do in the second draft of the day because that is absolutely where they need to put everything on the table. Of course, we had a significant break, so maybe the Philippines have had some time to rejig their thoughts about how to approach this draft as we do now get into it. We have the Philippines who are chilling yet again on the Radiant side, and the second pick, though, will be Dyer for Greece. No real change-ups. The big change, though, T-Gov, you were mentioning, what do teams always do? You lose to a team that has Spartan on it. What do you start doing? Or Skylark, excuse me. You start banning Skylark heroes.
You just love Spartan so much.
Yeah, I
just
keep saying
living in
his
your
name,
head
yeah.
rent-free, but it's okay. But yes, you play against Skylark, you don't ban Skylark, you lose to Skylark. That's the kind of, obviously, the riff on the Alliance one, but yeah. You're banning out the Enigma this time around. No, I think, yeah, fundamentally, they tried going into the series with a respect Skylark with the Beastmaster pick, don't ban anything else, we'll see where it gets us. It didn't work out. In their prep, during the game, they've decided, you know what, ban out both of the heroes that beat them, the Enigma and the Bristleback, which is going to open up for some additional heroes to kind of get through that first phase. But the joy is, though, I think for Greece, we're talking about philosophy now. You know, philosophy of the draft and play less about heroes, because there are so many heroes in Dota that can emulate what an Enigma does, what a Bristleback does. Sure, Bristleback is probably one of the best at frontlining, running at you, and just being unkillable damage, but, you know, the thing stands, and Greece themselves actually banned the Beastmaster. Even though they beat it, they respect it. I think mainly because they've lost the ability for, you know, Bristle or the Enigma themselves. I think they like these heroes against it, but yeah, respect's going both ways.
You know, when you're saying they have a philosophy of Dota, for some reason I'm like, what would deontological Dota look like? What's pure Dota? You know,
We
somebody
get to
needs
solve
write
it.
about
This is our quest. This is our ever-evolving mission each year.
So we have no Tusk. Obviously, that hero is crazy. So now, without that being in the pool, the most obvious one is the Clockwork here. Or is there some other support that you think Nomad might deserve to be picked first overall for Philippines?
Yeah, unless they're cooking something up. I mean, they could go for the Ench as well, right? Like, not only does the Ench give you really strong laning presence, which they were sort of lacking previously, it also gives you that ability to kind of preemptively answer a few things which Greece might like to do. So I'm always online for an Ench, but Greece going for the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, Shadow Demon, very formidable hero. It has both offensive and defensive capabilities. In laning phase, because of your Disseminate, you are relatively... sorry. Because you're Shadow Poison, you're strong in lane, but the game, you're strong to Disseminate. You can buff up allies by 20% or reduce their enemy's HP by 20%, so just really annoying the entire time. On top of that, disruption, you know, banish a hero, ally, or enemy, so, you know, it plays itself out, very strong. No real complaints for Shadow Demon being a first pick overall.
I like this as well because it also denies I can't go for like some Primal Beast, you know, these sort of heroes that immediately get disrupted once I get into the middle of the fight. I might even not want to really be playing Alchemist in these kind of situations. Shadow Demon, one of these S tier heroes, I'm actually kind of shocked that it did get through here, but now you got to deal with it. You were mentioning the Enchantress on the other side, Nomad. Does it still feel... Wait, what hero was picked? I think we just have a
yeah,
broken
we
picture
don't
there.
know. I'm sure we'll get production to update us on what hero that is supposed
Oh, it's
to
the
be.
new hero that got released.
Kez?
No, it's
Is that
PNG.
you? Oh, I see. PNG
Strongest
master.
hero in the game.
Yeah, it's Pangolin.
It would be really funny if it was actually Pango.
If it's Pango, then with
Then you're actually a goat right now.
I'm gonna retire.
Hopefully the other heroes will be much more visible. So, Marcy. All right, so it's Marcy. They are going back for the high octane, high activity heroes that we were talking about a little bit earlier. We've seen them go completely undefeated with the Marcy in this tournament. What pairing do we want in this situation, though?
So Marcy doesn't really...
wonder.
I mean, obviously, you could meme the IO for sure, but I think Marcy, alone from combos, is very good against Shadow Demon, right? The idea of your 4 position, jumping mid-fight to go find the SD, like if SD steps up to disrupt an ally, you reveal yourself, you show your position, and Marcy, you know, with the rebound is perfect at repositioning to punish that Shadow Demon, prevent additional spell usage. So yeah, I think, you know, Marcy is just like a nice little nod to Shadow Demon. You know what? You've got this hero, I now counter it. Respect, like, you know, respect going both ways. Like I said earlier with the bans, like a lot of respect in this draft, it feels like.
Yeah, big Marcy fan as well. I doubted the hero for a long time, but eventually, just being able to jump in, AoE stun, dispose, what an ability as well. You know, even if you do end up being a
Like
wet
BKB,
flannel.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even if you do like feed and not end up being that right click, I still think the hero offers you value. But ultimately, you know, in the ideal Marcy game, you're also kind of transitioning into a core later on as well, which can be really strong. So yeah, I mean, I'm a Marcy believer after all. I hated the hero for a long time, but overall, I'm one. I think people got better at playing it as well, honestly.
Yeah,
it is extremely high skill to play. Like, I genuinely think Marcy can be one of the hardest, simply because you're throwing your body into a fight without any defensive capabilities, essentially. You're just there. So compare that to a Clockwork or a Tusk, you know? Tusk jumps in, he's got a snowball, he's fine, easy mode, training wheels, you know? Same thing with Clockwork, you know? You're like, oh no, I'm in the middle of a fight. Oh wait, I've got cogs surrounding me, you know? It's so Play-Doh. Meanwhile, Marcy players are out here sculpting a beautiful Michelangelo out of clay in their bare hands.
You know, if this is a multi-support, one thing I would very much like to enjoy, whether it's off-lane or support, at some point you do get the Aghanim Scepter, and I doubted how good the Silence and the Pulses would be, but it turns out to be very, very good. There's still options for them to also go for some... Actually, with Invoker now, T, I want Shadow Feed. Give me the Bodyguard, give me the Alacrity, let me just right-click through everybody else.
That's exactly what I was going to be leaning towards, right? The fact that Philippines are amping up for a single core to do it all, right? Be it with damage, lifesteal, attack speed, it's going to be very scary. It's going to be very scary when Philippines take over like that, but you know, again, Greece, they've set down just, you know, a foundation with their draft. 2 support picks, they're not trying to flex anything, they're not trying to like hide their heroes, like, ooh, what lanes are going to go to. It's just 2 good laners. And Hoodwink, it brings life to, you know, Centaur, brings life to very, you know, different heroes that, you know, can sometimes struggle in lane at the moment in meta, but, you know, maybe we get a bit carried away there, because of course Snapfire got picked up as well.
Okay.
To some degree, also buffs up with the little shred of minus armor. You're buffing up your own core whilst also taking the armor away of your enemies. So there's a lot of aggressive tendency right now for Philippines. A big switch, at least from game 1.
Yeah, definitely. I like what they're moving to, and it's kind of what I said after the last game that we will see. Their playbook is very deep, so we'll still see them moving, and it does look like they're moving in a slightly more aggressive direction. Doesn't have to be. Their draft's still pretty open, especially with the flexibility of this Marcy. But yeah, we'll see what they end up doing here. Greece need to respond. The only issue I can see with Greece is that they have grabbed both of their support straight off the bat, so being able to answer anything coming out from Philippines in a non-core position. Hey, there we go. Look at that happy face.
Shout out production, giving us what we needed. And we get the puck, and we get the Centaur. T was just talking about how that hero could be enabled by this Hoodwink. Strong lane as well. Multiple sources of stun, which I like a lot for the side of Greece. They're never going to be in a position where they can't fight. There's always capability to do something in the map.
There's a dancing act with Greece's lineup where we want Philippines to change up their pace from game 1. They have, but now they're playing into a lineup that's very good at baiting you in and then getting punished, right? So you want to jump a hero, there's SD to disrupt to save that hero. There's a puck coil to, you know, contain that area. You're jumping in, now you're punished. You're here, we have to take the fight. You cannot run away. And then Centaur, you stampede, you disengage. So I feel like Greece, yes, they're playing a different style, but they're kind of playing into, you know what, let Philippines be aggressive. Because if we just play well and execute, our heroes are really good at dealing with that aggression. So then the Monkey King pick from Philippines, it is trying to break that defensive style. Monkey King is so good from mid laning phase, jumping into the game, you know, quite literally. You know, using the tree line, getting early like Mage Slayer, any cheap items to increase the momentum and the pace. Greece themselves, they want a slow game. They want to farm up, TP to defend each other, don't really want to go too crazy on the map, don't want to quick smoke. Everyone wants to hit creeps. So I think Monkey King is really good at, just again, like I said, punishing that a little bit, potentially.
I like what you said about it being a dancing game. I think that dance could potentially go wrong for them as well, though. That's kind of what this Monkey King is doubling down on.
Yeah.
You're looking at a Marcy, an Invoker, and a Snapfire. So these guys have stuns, but they're not the most reliable. Cold Snap is the only instant one, and it obviously requires follow-up. It's a very, very short stun, so you require a little bit more. And then the other two stuns, the Marcy jumping in and the Snapfire jumping in are obviously the easiest things in the world for the puck to dodge. However, they are fantastic follow-up stuns as well. So all you need is a little bit of extra. All of a sudden, this Hoodwink, this puck, they...
But are there enough stuns to actually contain the fight in a Wukongs? That's my fear. I like the idea of the early game Monkey King, but when we want to talk about Monkey King for like the late game, it's like, look at my Wukong, this is my fight. Just press Stampede. You might get like a cookie on you, like a cheap stun, but after that, there's not a really that big team fighting hero to combo with the Monkey King to ensure that the late game fights around objectives isn't just Greece just walking away.
And look at the Greek bans as well. They're making the same read. They're like, get that Mars, get that big AOE control ultimates, get them gone, and we should be fine. So
I was thinking Mars, guys, because Mars would have been amazing. I think that would have been like a game-breaking pick for them. So without the Mars, without the Magnus, what are the big AOE team fighting styles are left? They took the Centaur, right? Are we going to be picking Enigma for ourselves on the side of the Philippines to try and get that control?
Boss.
Is it banned already?
That was the first phase.
Very first one. Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay, we forgive you. But next time, you won't be forgiven.
Okay, last chance.
That's it.
We'll take that lovely jacket from you and
Over
wear
my
it.
cold dead hands.
Sand King could be an option. Death Prophet.
That I did not see coming.
We're talking about team fight initiation. Instead, they just want more tempo, more pace. But again, the bans reflect that the Alk and the Morphling, they outscale a DP. They can punish DP heavily. So they wanted this DP for quite some time, and the Death Prophet. So yeah, fair play. I'm not too keen for it.
Yeah, I hate that pick.
Talk to
Like,
us about it,
I
brother.
I'm not like, I don't need to kind of like mince my words here, but I really, really dislike this Death Prophet pick. And the Luna to follow up from Greece as well. Such a good tied up, stable carry. Nothing exciting coming out from them, but yeah.
So the thing with Death Prophet is it's really out of meta. It's locked into a high cooldown ultimate, and you need pacing. They do have pacing, so if there ever was a time Death Prophet could work, it is with an Invoker, a Monkey King, the Marcy, like a lot of go. You're laning as well with a Marcy, so Marcy Death Prophet, pretty decent lane, melee body for a ranged hero. Like, I don't have complaints with that. The issue is when you look towards the Greek lineup, right? Your Luna, she can buy Kanda, big burst damage to punish a DP who wants to play a fight over time. You can also, if you really want to go Skadi, you don't normally, but you technically can. Daedalus rips through a Death Prophet. Death Prophet has armor issues. Luna does plenty of physical damage. It's like, in regards to like just the general matchup, the Greek lineup looks really good. But there is a world, like we see a repeat, where if Philippines play super quick, Greece never comes online, it's like game one, right? Like we like Philippines lineup for the late game, but they need to get online. They never did. If Greece never gets online, sure. But the issue is Luna always gets online. You never shut her down. So I am favoring Greece. I think their lineup looks very strong. And a random Death Prophet. I haven't seen it for a long time. Will it work?
Let me play devil's advocate for this Death Prophet show, boys, right? So I'm looking at this draft. You have Monkey King, we have Death Prophet, we have Invoker, right? They might not have the most reliable disable, but what they do have is very good area control, right? We can't keep the enemies in the area, but what we can do is when we initiate, exactly, I pop Exorcism, and then we just stand there and say, we dare you to fight into us. So there is potential. There is hope that the Philippines can make this draft work. Their bag is deep, but is it deep enough to secure a victory here? We're going to be finding out as Game 2 of Philippines versus Greece takes place with our wonderful casters. It's Vlad and Black. Take it away, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, our lovely panel. Black, this is a very upside-down draft. That's the best way I would describe it. It feels like the roles of the teams have been completely reversed from game number 1. And some of the roles have actually been inversed because we see CML on the Death Prophet. And I gotta ask you, Black, when is the last time, if ever, when you've seen a safe lane Death Prophet?
It was very popular during a period many years ago.
2005 or?
No, like 2000, I don't know, like 19, 20,
So
2020 around there. But I mean, this is the reality that their team has or is facing, right? Like CML is by nature not a carry player.
Yeah. So it's very strange. I'm actually looking forward to see how they're gonna line this up on the server right now, because this time Greece, they went for the plain cookie cutter lineup. They've got the Shadow Demon Luna, one of the oldest combos in Dota 2. They got the Hoodwink, one of the more stable position for in the last couple of years. They got a Centaur. Okay, maybe you don't see Centaur that often, but all the other offlaners were out. And then a Puck, who's been seeing a huge resurgence in recent months, and they have easy lineups to execute, and that's what we wanted from them. Not a complicated draft like in Game 1, but something much simpler that they can win and maybe do it in 2.
Yeah, we've seen a level 1 Smokey by the Philippines, and this better work out because, as you said, like this draft of Greece is scary, really scary. What are they finding? It's very hard to initiate from here, of course. Oh, they have a water that already know everything.
Yeah, Shank's smoke will get dissipated,
Jigs
and
up.
it's gonna be revealed.
Well, okay, so here's the real problem. In Game 1, yes, Greece basically had the same sort of issue that the Philippines have now. However, I feel like they had better answers than Philippines now has in Game 2. So it's going to be incredibly hard, and to begin with, the answers they have aren't nearly as good. So you have to shut the Luna down, you have to make sure the Puck doesn't go crazy. At the same time, you also have to make sure the Centaur gets shut down too. Like, you can't shut everybody down, it never works. If you win every lane in Dota, game becomes easy. Almost never happens.
Yeah, there's a lot of ifs in what you just said there, Black, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm going full Greece here. I was hoping they would win this series 2-1, but looking at this start is gonna be a very challenging prospect, as we will also be looking at, by the way, an Invoker offlane.
Yeah. Huh.
CML safe lane, so they're not swapping roles. They only went for this draft, and it's very confusing for me because Tino historically is a very versatile Death Prophet player.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I really don't like. I mean, Invoker as a support, we've seen that work out a couple of times, but the reason why it's not being played in the offlane as much, like support can work, because it's a strong support trader.
Yes.
But as an offlaner, yeah, your lane isn't super okay.
Never mind.
Okay,
You know what?
never
Invoker
mind.
offlane. See it in your
Perfect.
pubs next day.
Perfect.
Ladies
What I was alluding to is you want levels on that hero. You know, even if you win lane, unless you really crush the lane, your mid game is going to be really delayed. Although the lane, obviously, you know, working out already. They want early aggression, and they got that within their first blood.
Okay, Shanks will
be careful though.
die.
Okay, goodbye.
Yeah. At least this is going to give Tino a bit of space by himself to maybe get a bit of the extra XP that you were mentioning. Spartan with the Shadow Demon. I myself love Shadow Demon, of course. You as a core maybe not so much, Black, but I think this is a hero that is actually going to force Spartan to play way differently to the way we used to. You cannot be doing the same Crystal Maiden plays and sacrificing yourself all the time, because you need to be the backline that protects his teammates.
I'd agree with that assessment, but you don't know Spartan very well.
That is true. Up top, he is the one to fall, like we just said. But the illusions turn around. Tornado coming in. Focus is actually feeling a bit scared there. The Invoker illusion right next to another job. Shanks is not going to get on top of Focus, but the Luna does not have a salve. Bottom, it's where the action takes place. And easy Bushwhack Acorn shot into extra damage from Skylark to take out Jotun on his Snapfire, and I really hope Jotun will have a better performance on the Snap than he did on Naga.
Luna cut out position focus.
What? He's gonna kill Tino here? No, he's not. The glaive doesn't bounce enough. And it's Tino with the second kill on the board. Spartan is here. He's gonna kill Tino. No, nope, he's not. He's just healing up with a full snap. He's coming back. Spartan, this is very dangerous. If he gets disposed, he's out and done. He's gonna get the kill, but Tino wanted to reset, and he still gets the gold.
However, the experience did all go to the Shadow Demon, so it's still a pretty big win for him. But yeah, you really want to make sure that this Invoker, the biggest weakness is, as I said, like he's weak without levels. The fact that they're actually winning on low levels is a little bit concerning, because you want to be able to crush that lane if you're Greece here. And of course, Luna, I mean, the panel already mentioned it, it's very hard to shut the hero down fully. Even if it loses lane, there's always recovery in the jungle to be found.
Desire versus Jotun. Hoodwink versus Snap, but one lane we haven't really looked at that much is the Monkey King Puck. Monkey, quote-unquote melee hero. Everybody knows he's not really a melee hero, and he's kind of bullying Puck out of the lane. 20 last hits to 7 denies, way ahead of Thug, and Lewis is definitely getting a bit of a, you know, vengeance from that game 1 when the Queen of Pain was all over the Invoker.
Yeah, Puck historically has been a really strong laner, but he got nerfed so much. Ooh, Desire
Is gonna most likely fall
Good
to
night.
the Siphon.
Yep.
Bushwhack was a nice attempt there, but very long range, and
DP is such a strong laner.
it's
so
not
it makes
CML that
perfect
got the
sense.
kill, by the way. It was Jotun that got the right click, so CML would have loved that extra bit of gold boost, right? As the last hits of the Death Prophet are not looking good at all.
When is the next Puck patch going to be where they increase his base damage again by like 5?
Oh, please don't. No, we
Because
don't want that.
It's really funny how the hero went from like terrible in lane to really OP in lane to now once again pretty terrible in lane. There's almost no hero that loses to Puck. His base damage is so low, his nuke damage is incredibly tiny, but of course his mid late game is incredibly strong.
See, Black, you know me, I love my best of 3s going all the way to the 3rd map, and I would like this to go that way, but I also don't want to see Death Prophet safe lane and Invoker off lane in my pubs tomorrow, and so maybe not.
Those are good heroes.
Yeah.
I don't know why people hate on them.
Definitely, yeah.
It's very fun to play. Death Prophet just said, oh, focus down again.
Another
Just as he
kill.
came out of the jungle. Now, I really have to say, I don't like what the Greece is doing up here. Focus going to the jungle that early means that they're basically giving Invoker free reign in the lane where he's at his weakest. Like, he's only going to get stronger from here with more levels.
Yeah, Tino
I'm not sure what the reasoning is.
Tino's having a blast up here on this Invoker.
Yep.
The supports trading tips. Nobody's in any danger here. And, you know, it's minute 5, almost 6. We see the Shadow Demon rotating to help the Puck secure the rune. Thug putting pressure on Lewis. Oh, will miss the first Shadow Poison stack and will force out the Marcy TP. 30 seconds until the Power Rune spawns. But it's action bottom. Desire cannot join the rest of his team. Blood Grenade. CML is very aggressive, trying to keep Skylark slightly further away from the creeps. But, you know, whenever we look at it here, it seems like CML has the upper hand, but I can just look in the right-click left corner, and it's not really the case.
Yeah, it's quite hard to lane against Centaur, it always is. His instant attack animation, and he just gets so much damage per level up. That's a great laner. Always has been. But yeah, CML is definitely making up with some of the lag in CS by killing... Oh, Cookie just barely off the mark. Could have been another kill otherwise.
He does not have Siphon for 3 seconds. He's actually getting turned
Oh, yeah,
on. He has
careful.
it right away. And he's going to have another Siphon in a second if he can find Desire. He's healing so much. And Skylar is trying to keep Desire alive, maybe with another hoof stomp, but no. Does not want to risk get caught by another nuke. And we have a pause with a tip right away. Misplay after misplay, says Shanks. Okay. I like this.
Lots of tips.
Yeah.
Mental warfare is on. I mean, this is unfortunately also what's expected. Like, Monkey King absolutely destroys Puck. As I said, like his nuke damage is ridiculously low. Can't really secure lasters with it too easily, and you can't outlast hit a Monkey King. It's not possible.
Yeah.
And you can't really harass him either because he has so much base armor. It's a pretty much impossible matchup for the Puck. He'll have to get level 6 as soon as possible, try to rotate. But they're kind of in a similar boat right now that the Philippines were in game 1. They just have a severe lack of damage. Shadow Demon doesn't deal any, Puck doesn't deal any. You need level 6 on Hoodwink to really start dealing damage, so it's gonna be tough. This early game will be all about surviving and outnumbering.
On the bright side, the Wisdom Runes will get traded, so Greece will not have to contend with that. They do use a scan to just double check if Jotun was invading, but no. Shanks and Desire, the ones to pick with those ones up. Up top, this Invoker. He's got 44 last hits and 14 denies. Yes, I wouldn't read too much into it in a laning aspect because, like you mentioned, Focus just left the lane about 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, he hasn't touched the lane in forever. It's very surprising that you give up an early game lane against an Invoker dual lane. Because yeah, historically he's just not that strong without levels.
Tornado will not connect to Spartan, but rebound, right clicks,
night.
and he will get caught. But you know, it's Spartan, it's not Shanks, sorry, it's not Focus to get caught by Shanks. So it's gonna be fine. The Luna at least will show her face to the lane for just a few last hits of the creep wave. I think the good aspect that maybe we failed to consider, Luna is a range hero that doesn't have the longest range, and Invoker is quite good at right-clicking and forcing her out and harassing her. Maybe that's why the change-up to abandoning the lane worked that way.
Yeah, potentially, but we'll have to see what Puck can really do, because where is the damage going to come from unless they have 3 or 4 heroes there? You know, now they're actually rotating top to find the Luna, but Jigs up, they've already been found. Now, you also have to remember, Luna's 45 CS are very deceiving.
Yes.
Like, they're all jungle creeps, and they give
Less gold.
much less gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Centaur's game is okay, Puck's game is okay, but they really got to start linking up together to be able to get someone back to the game properly. They do have Eclipse if they want to deploy that.
Early rotation, well, not early, minute 8 rotation from the Monkey King. I do believe it was spotted. The Puck is coming in as well, and he's also been spotted by an observer ward in the top side of the river.
Yeah, a nice coil plus Eclipse could possibly win you a team fight. So they have what it takes to fight, and they got damage to kill maybe 1 or 2 heroes, but they have to kind of draw out the fight.
Okay, Lewis gave up. He's going in. He uses the Boundless, forces out the Stampede. He wants to get on top of Spartan, but
Nice.
they will be safe with the usage of the Stampede. And that is one big question mark, because Centaur used to be a traditional counter to DP, right? DP uses Exorcism, you Stampede away, and then that's it. You completely disengage. You make her waste her big ultimate.
Okay, just trying to force some rotations in the mid lane. But yeah, as you said, traditionally it is
setting
a
up top.
strong answer. And they don't have any stuns, as the panel already said as well. Or they're going. Do they have damage to kill Tino?
Tino's not dying here, and I think it might be
Level
Focus
6
getting
Shanks?
Focus
Wow.
destroyed by the Unleashed Marcy. With the help of Tino, of course, double kill for the position 4, but Tino also dealt a lot of the right-click damage. And, you know, back-to-back Invoker games from Philippines, this time he actually looks like a hero.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, that is it's crazy how much work they're getting done in the top lane there. I didn't actually know that Shanks was level 6, just jumping in there with his ult. And we all know how strong Marcy is with an Unleash.
Yeah.
Completely destroyed Focus. And I mean, we did say that it's almost impossible to shut down Luna, but I dare say they kind of did in this game.
It's still early on, right? Luna has a lot of mechanisms to catch up in farm as she progresses. Death Prophet, level 7, almost 8. She's got 3 points in the Siphon, 3 in the nuke, and she's saving one of them potentially for maybe pressuring a tower or doing a team fight. Fortify, jumping in, Desire, nice bushwhack, but Shanks, amazing rebound on top of the Hoodwink, and it's gonna be a mega kill streak for this Marcy. And they're going for more because the Tornado comes from up north. There is no Illusionary Orb, and that was a nice rotation coming in from Tino all around. Tips for Thug, really
5 of
trying
them.
to take the mental advantage over the Greek opponent.
Yeah, this early game is looking brutal. Even worse than game 1 looked for the Philippines at this point. Like, they're really just shutting down everything. 2 tier 1 towers down. You can't really gank the DP too easily because of the level 4 Siphon.
Yeah.
Pretty much unkillable at this point. And they're just keeping up the tempo. Like, they know they don't want to fight right now on the Greece side.
They need level 6. They desperately need level 6 on the Shadow Demon and the Hoodwink. I think Shadow Demon, with his Demonic Purge, deals a lot with these issues, potentially. But if he's going to fall again, only level 4. Okay, Eclipse turn around, he's going for it. Even Shanks would be a massive kill. The coil comes there, connects onto both of them, and Shanks is the first to fall. Monkey King, Lewis has to get out, turns around with the Wukong, but the TP coming in from Skylark, enabling Focus to collect both of those kills. And, well, I wanted Shadow Demon to be 6. He had impact even getting killed at 4.
That's what they needed, though. Very nice rotation. Double kill for the Luna. And, yeah. Now she is back in the game. Skylark is also incredibly rich.
I mean, CML is free farming. He's most likely going to claim this tier 1 tower if he really wants to be persistent. He's got another quarter, and the Focus gets caught by
Oh, it's
a
Orchid already.
Ghostwalk Orchid Invoker.
At minute 12. This
Nice
pretty much
swap.
makes the game impossible for Puck. Like, he has no way to dispel that silence, and wherever Invoker is, he can pretty much solo kill the puck.
I guess Spartan can save him, right?
Yeah, but if you want to stick with the puck all the time, which historically is a hero that just wants to be by himself and push out side lanes, can't really do it now anymore. Until he gets the Blink Yules, might even forego the Blink and just go into Yule straight away.
He might need to, as they're gonna spot Desire bottom. Tino, Tornado, up in the air. EMP Spartan is nearby. He's gonna save the Hoodwink, enabling the puck to come in. There is no Orchid, so the puck has a very low TP by the time he comes. Position 4 is dead, and they have to get out of there. They tried something, but nothing really going in their favor as Spartan gets double killed by Jotun's Scatter Blast from the low ground.
Yeah, now it's really up to both teams to recognize the conditions they need to fight in, because Greece can only win if they massively outnumber the enemy. Like, you need to be +2 to really be able to deal any sort of damage. Just look at the HP numbers of all the heroes on the Radiant. They just don't have the damage right now to deal with them. And of course, Philippines also know that. They're just completely trying to deny them all sort of farm. Like, they're camping both ancient camps, so Luna can't farm that.
They need to contest this Wisdom rune in 18 seconds, Black. That's why they're smoked up. They desperately need the Wisdom rune, but I don't think Philippines is gonna actually let them go that easily. There's an TP here. Okay, no, fine.
It's very scary to go up the high ground.
The monkey is hopping around in the trees, but it's not the easiest thing to play Monkey King in the trees when there is a Shadow Demon that just plants poison.
Yeah, and Shanks is just taking some time to farm his BKB. He already has 2 components done, he's just missing the recipe. BKB Marcy this game will be absolutely insane. Like, he just jumps at anyone
And kills them.
and just pops them.
Maybe Skylark could survive, maybe.
I actually feel like Focus, as soon as she sees the Marcy, just has to get out of there immediately. Blade Mail Blink is done. But who's your partner? It has to be Desire, probably.
Yeah, most likely. He is level 7 on the Hoodwink. The problem is Greece have been the one getting initiated on. And other than that one turnaround by the tier 2 in the Mighty Mines, they haven't really managed to be the aggressors. Right now they're getting smoked up again. Jotun and Shanks together, heading for the Luna. They are pinging her. Tino is in the Ghost Walk, but he will reveal himself to the creeps. Puck is also not going for either the Blink or the Yules. He's committing to finishing the right-click build, which is Witchblade first. This is going to be very, very risky for Thug.
Yeah, mine's always Witchblade first, just because Puck has so many damage problems. And then it's usually between Blink and Yules, especially if you play against an Orchid. But yeah, he's just so underfarmed. Well, they already are. Can't believe how rich Tino is.
Invoker offlane, ladies and gentlemen. We keep on talking about how high of a win rate Luna has in every single tournament, even about 70%.
It's going to be dropping now.
Yeah, it doesn't look like this game is heading in their favor, but at least, I guess Philippines have been kind of stalling for the last 2-3 minutes. They couldn't get on top of anyone. They don't find other kills or objectives, and that's good. A late game Luna versus late game Dead Prophet and Invoker. I know which one I'm taking.
Losers are trying to set up for the bottom. They know he's there, they know he's there.
It's a bait. Spartan with a perfect bait. It's going to be a jumped in, turn around. Focus is there with the Eclipse. Lewis is very tanky, the Wukong's command, but the magic damage is more than sufficient. But a lot of spells were used there, and now Coil in the river, catching two. Would love to get the kill into the Snapfire. She wants to cookie up high ground, and the Bushwhack does not connect, but Thug follows through, and it's gonna be a nice jump forward. Now the Invoker comes around, they have a hoof stomp, but they don't have mana. He is silenced, he is hexed, he is getting killed. It was just a pig pole, but the Bushwhack, look at the Sunstrike coming in, Tino! Almost getting Skylark, he's gonna blink out north. Shanks still tries to pursue, but the Fog of War will enable the Centaur to survive.
Who would have thought? Usually not having any boots and Centaur being slower than usual. Everyone's like, oh, wow, it's such a big problem for him, but this time it actually saved him. If he was any faster, that Sunstar would have connected and he probably would have died.
He does have the double bracer and the horsepower facet, right?
But you did notice, like, Monkey King, they needed to spend 3 whole ultimates to even bring him down.
Yeah, and that's why they got turned around like that so easily afterwards. And I don't even think they killed the Snapfire afterwards. Did they?
I don't think so. Or maybe they did. No, they did. And then the Tornado turned it around on the other two.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, still exactly what Philippines want. Like, their cores are surviving for the most part. And Invoker, man. Like,
He's
this is like a real right-click Invoker now.
He's a
the
turret.
real carry.
He's got the specialist array as well. This is what we wanted to see from Lewis on the Invoker in game 1. Tino saying, no, it's fine, I'll show you how it's done. Wants to connect to
whiff.
Desire, but okay,
nope.
Shanks really going for his CML.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, they're not TPing for this. They're not using Stampede. They're just gonna easily kill him. I think it's because the Greek squad is clearing a big Ancient stack. They were 3 players there, so I assume that's what was happening.
Could also just be terrified. The problem right now is that Puck can't do Puck things, which is really just push out the side lanes all the time while staying safe. Now the good news is once he has Dual Scepter, or Dispel, whatever he chooses to go for, they do not have any means of actually killing him. They have no instant stuns. So he really should not die once he has a Dual Scepter. Unless, of course, you know, they spring like a massive trap.
This Death Prophet sidekick by Marcy? Did you see the damage, the right click?
Well, it's any hero. Marcy is a good hero.
Yeah, but like even the attack speed with the Mage Slayer as well. I mean, this is kind of interesting. I like the theory crafting. At least Focus is kind of catching up in farm. Yes, he looked at his second network, but when you're a Luna, you want to be first, right? The fact that he's still behind the Invoker and the rest of his team is also not really getting online with more farm is very concerning if you're supporting Greece here.
Yeah, but they are getting their key pieces in place slowly.
Well, let's see
So
if they can...
one team is all it takes, sometimes it's DOTA, and you're dead.
Stampede.
Or you're not dead.
He does not have a warp, but he does have a phase shift. He's going to try to get out there. Turn around. It's a coil, but they're in the Wukongs. They don't have the follow-up. They're just going to disengage. They've thrown everything in the kitchen sink at them. But both teams are unfazed. 10 players still alive. We do still have a Eclipse and an Exorcism, respectively.
Usually this kind of turnaround would end up in a complete team wipe or massive victory at least, but the damage of Greece right now without the Luna is pretty laughable. Makes you wonder, like, if she was right there, what would have happened? But I like the approach that Greece has taken. Play defensively, really just stay alive. Once you get into this mid-late game at a somewhat comfortable gold level, things should go your way.
Tier 1 tower will fall. That's the first that Greece manages to claim. Focus actually right now getting the last hit and the top network spot as we speak. Also, we haven't seen Monkey King in a while. He had a very early Maelstrom Orb of Corrosion. I'm wondering if he's going to go for a fast BKB second.
Yeah, BKB is always a very safe choice, especially nowadays.
Marcy has hers. Oh my god, Shanks!
He's huge.
He's 7-2 and 4.
Yep.
That's unbelievable.
His damage in teamfight is going to be ridiculous. Like, whoever he sticks on probably just has to run. Like, once the Basher comes online as well, you basically just take out a core by yourself.
He has a Windlace and Face Boots afterwards, so I think Shanks is telling us, you want Stampede away from me? Let me see if I can catch up to your levels. They're invading a triangle. They did not manage to steal the minute 14, but 21 might just be a steal. There's a sentry on the ground. Tino's actually going to be the one to show him face first, and now Stampede coming in. Shanks is on top of him, and a boundless strike is there. And they're not just getting the wisdom, they're going to get the Tormi as well. Shanks might even get it for himself. Use the 9-second BKB for a shard.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, the damage open was just ridiculous. Skylark, the tank is here on the die side. Melted in seconds.
3 players there got their job done very easily, and I'm wondering, Black, what is going to be first up next for Greece? Because this is not even a Roche-killing lineup that maybe they could go and sneak it for themselves.
Nope, it's just all about pushing out side lanes with the Puck, with the Luna, trying to minimize your losses throughout, and once that mid-game reaches, maybe if Philippines try to take an ill-advised Roshan, that's when you fight back, but Tino again on the hunt, easy kill on Desire once more. And I really like the way Philippines is approaching this. They're just trying to cut off the entire map for Greece. Control the Ancients, open up Roshan for yourself potentially. But the important heroes are not dying.
Oh, they're going to get a kill on Jotun, most likely here in the river. He tried to be sneaky and steal the power rune, but no, they don't want to follow up. They just take half of his HP, and they're afraid of a turnaround. And the Monkey King is there to turn it around.
Skylark again.
Tino at bottom.
Good night.
Going north, Skylark bring out
nice
and
reactions.
Jotun and Tino finding someone in the river. This Centaur will still get caught. There's nothing you can do. He tries to hide away, goes for the stomp, actually walks the right direction, but it's Thug getting caught by Tino and Jolton with a scatter blast. Unstoppable, and the goal lead is crazy. The kills are very much in the Philippines side, but Black, the XP, we haven't seen the XP graph, but I feel like that is the worst side of them all.
Yeah, there's going to be an even bigger lead than the gold lead, probably. Now Roshan's going to go down, courtesy to Exorcism. And if it wasn't go time already, now it is even more of a go time for them.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure what you do now as Greece, because, again, you can't really push side lanes until you have the Yule Scepter. Maybe you should have prioritized getting it a little bit sooner. Luna is also terrified of trying to push out the side lanes. But of course, they're on the prowl on the Philippine side all the time.
Nice.
BKB's done at least on Luna.
Almost
Maybe they can fight back with that.
Almost tanking gold lead. I wanted to just bring this up for a second. And Shanks is out farming. The Centaur is also not very far from the puck. That entire gold lead is the Marcy. If you just delete Marcy from the server right now, then we'd be looking at even net worth.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Focus. Going for the Kanda next, the classic, of course. All eyes on him, really. Like the entire team now, just a support cast. Puck to be able to really deal any sort of damage. Probably needs another good 15 minutes or so at this point. Aghanim Scepter also finished on Death Prophet. I really like that.
The Alacrity right-click Aghanim Scepter attack speed on the Death Prophet is something beautiful to see. Okay, never mind. Tino says, nah, I'll do it myself. But it looks very cool. CML was sending Ghost galore at the Tier 2 tower, and they don't want to claim all the outer towers. They have the Aegis for another 4 minutes, so they are heading for the high ground.
It would have to be 5-man defense. The game could potentially end right here, or...
Shanks is in front, BKB up, Eclipse comes out, but the Skylark Stampede comes a bit later. Finally, they manage to find the support. And look at Tino. Tino is the one dying. The puck coil comes in, but the DP is siphoning all the HP. The Gleipnir comes in. The puck's locked in. He has to use the Yule Scepter, but the damage is not there for either side until Lewis throws the Boundless Strike and takes him out. Skylark is back. He gets instant Orchid.
Nice
He cannot
Orchid.
stop, and the Wukong's commands on top of Skylark. It's dead. There's nothing that Luna can do by herself. Desire does not have a Maelstrom, and this is looking worse and worse. Lewis might be a bit aggressive, has to fall back as they are all eating a lot of damage from the glaives.
That was so close. Like the entire team of the Philippines could have died, but they all make it out with like 100 HP. That was a very clutch Orchid. If that Storm comes out, probably at least 2 more heroes will die. It was really, really close. Well done by the Philippines. It's quite risky to go high ground this early on in this current patch. Like usually you would focus on trying to get the outer tier 2 towers. And I think they're going to be a little bit more careful now after what just happened. Because this game could have literally just gone Greece's way with that fight.
If you give Luna a small chance, she can completely turn it all in her favor. Luckily for the Philippine squad, they still have the Aegis. So they might have another attempt at it in just a few moments, especially with this amplified damage who just got spawned. Desire, he needs to deny it, he needs to get it. Desire need to do something. Okay, fine. Perfect, 4-step up high ground. Even if he dies here, I think it's worth it to not give them the amplified damage rune.
Alright, now they are doing what we kind of alluded to do. Tier 2 towers are going to be falling momentarily. Invoker is huge as well. And you just see a lot of heroes nowadays, if you get ahead a little bit, like everyone's just so tanky. Look at him. 2.5k health on an Invoker with survivability tools. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. But we've seen he almost died instantly in that one fight.
Yeah.
So damage is now starting to rack up for the Greece side, but they still just need a little bit more. Skylark probably needs a BKB so he can actually play the fights.
There's one more.
And when is Thug gonna be able to do much of anything, really? Because like, so far, he hasn't really been able to show much at all.
Definitely not.
Oh, he went for the axe on Centaur. Workhorse time. It's gonna be fun to see.
It is a 4 protect one that we're witnessing right now. The Greek positions 2 to 5 are just there to enable focus, and that's why.
And there's a ping out.
Radiant's top tower is
That's a
under
good catch.
attack.
Focus. He's getting kissed. He's getting stroked.
BKB
As the
TP.
BKB,
Yeah.
he will go out. There's no burst, and they're gonna catch
Nice.
CML on the way back. That was a perfect bushwhack coming in from Desire.
What's the Aegis time at 20 seconds?
Excuse me? Why are we still here forcing out the Wukong's command? This might be a massive victory. Puck joins out, and that is a great escape. They're still trying to find him. We have the monkey in the tree lines. Really would like to get on top of Thug, but now Greece has the player advantage. They know the age is expiring. We have the Cardial, but they're jumping on focus and they're taking him out. What a last minute save. DeLuna is back. DeLuna is up. She has the Eclipse, but she will still fall. They're trying to get the supports in the backline. Desire very low in HP. Thug is getting focused by Lewis, and the Aegis was popped before it expired, and Tino turns around. He's now godlike. The action
beyond.
continues.
There we
He
go.
has a triple kill. He goes beyond the Gleipnir on top of Puck, and that save from the Centaur made us hope, but it seems to be heading towards a team wipe as Puck is nothing else to do. Will most likely get caught. Has the blink. Will go out. Boundless strike.
That's right.
Soon Sunstrike does not reach the Fairy Tail's wings, but still Philippines with an amazing 4 versus 5 turnaround lag.
Yeah, probably they should have just taken what they could have. Like, you kill CML, and you're probably... Yeah, you should just be happy with what you got. Chasing that a little bit longer, knowing that Luna doesn't have BKB. I love the decisiveness, the decisiveness of the Philippines to just take that fight. Because they know Luna has no BKB. We just jump him. Once Luna's dead, there's 0 damage coming out. Again, though, Greece, the way it all started, looked magnificent.
Yeah.
No, Luna baits, a lot of TPs, they cut off the DP. But yeah, just overstayed their welcome a little tiny bit, and it was again so close. Tino died with like 2 seconds left on his Aegis. Shanks had like 100 health, was leeching through all the damage. It could have gone either way again, and I feel a bit bad for Greece, honestly. I feel they're trying really, really hard, and things are just not going their way.
I think it's also been Lewis playing very, very well on this Monkey King. He finds the right target and, you know, pushes them in uncomfortable situations and forces them to be, you know, either away from the fight or just singles them out. So far, he's had a great game on this Monkey King.
Yeah, but really all of the Philippines have been having a great game.
Yeah.
And are they gonna wait for Roshan, or are they gonna try to be, you know, a little bit of a daredevil again and go for the high ground? It's risky.
I think they're going to wait.
The next fight.
They should
wait.
This is their elimination game potentially. If Greece turns it around somehow, and we know how strong Luna can get, it would be very risky for them. So you might need to just be patient and hope you get a good timing on the Aegis for the Roshan. And then you might even get, you know, a banner or something to help you a bit more. Or maybe not. Maybe they don't care about what we say, and they're just going to go and poke at the high ground again with the exorcism this time around.
Oh, wow, okay. Now, if they lose this fight, as you said, this might be Roshan and maybe one team for Greece.
But can they lose it? Look at Shanks. They're actually saving the Hoodwink. They have not used big spells just yet. The Eclipse is coming in with the BKB right now, but the BKB is not protecting his CML. He's trying to heal up, and he will not do so successfully as both of them fall, but Focus gets caught. And the Wukong's by Lewis and the Gleipnir. So it's a 2-for-1. Do they still want to stick around? Tino is right-clicking the melee racks, but I think you're a bit too optimistic here, and that's why they are fake retreating for now.
They still have BKB. Tino might be looking for some more here. Roshan, however, is respawning in 20 seconds, and they will not have Exorcism up. Oh, but there's also no Luna for 50, so okay, that was quite close.
That was very close. The Orchid would have been right there at the end of the Boundless Strike, and the puck would have been annihilated. And now, 40 seconds, no Luna. I think it will have to be Greece the ones to contest the Roshan, as Philippines will get there soon.
I don't know if they can contest Roshan, to be honest.
No Eclipse, no Coil.
They're gonna bring all 5 probably to try and stop it, and that is probably also where the last team fight is going to take place, but it should be quite simple for Execration to take this Roshan if there is no retaliation.
Yeah, they're not even waiting for the
Oh, that damage up was pretty crazy.
Yeah, they're doing it in 3. It's the sidekick with the Invoker Alacrity, and it's impressive to witness. Now they're all 5 here, and you're correct. The second Roshan will be heading again the Philippines side. We now have a gem of true sight available from Lewis. He's gonna be clearing any vision that might be placed by Greece. And I want to just point a little second at the map. Look at all the sentries that Philippines have invested, especially towards the dire triangle to clear up vision. Well, now with the gem, they don't need to do that.
Yeah, nice little L shape there.
Yeah.
The sentry wards. But now, again, we've been repeating this a couple of times. All Greece can do is push out the side lanes and hope they can get enough net worth amassed to be able to fight back at some point. And the biggest weakness now for the Philippines is there's no BKB on DP. He's very, very squishy.
That's why she has the Aegis this time around. They did not give it to Tino. They went with CML. And I think traditionally used to say that Prophet Aegis is not the best carrier because if the exorcism expires and then you're done for. But with the Aghanims and with all this right click, the Ghost will still be present if she can connect with the right clicks unless she gets chain stunned.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage regardless, and also the slow through the BKB. It's an interesting axe pickup.
I mean, it's been working
High
out.
ground time again.
Banner on the ground.
Are we popping it?
Yeah, they're going for it right away. They're trying to pull the creeps out of the banner range, but that's going to be the first half. Rax falling, it's the range one and jumping in. Stampede does not connect. And look at the burst. The Aegis will get exploded. And can the Centaur get out there with the Sunstrike on top of him? Nice force staff out. Stampede and he's out, but the Luna gets caught into the Wukong command. The BKB, she's not sustained. She's not being saved. She doesn't have the life steal. She doesn't have the buyback. 70 seconds, she's out.
Radiant structures are fortified.
It was unfortunate for him to get caught there because they already used all their saves on Skylark, on the Centaur, of course. Yeah, 1 minute without your only damage dealer, it's gonna be a tough hold. Maybe they can protect one side.
But Skylark had
they're looking to burst. They're looking to burst someone.
Tino's going in, has a glimmer. Spartan will get out. They're turning around. Tino, you do not have the Aegis. Shax is there, and look at the Ice Wall. Does not place perfectly, but the dispose puts him up in the position. Hello, Pop.
Oh,
hello.
stuck on Cookie.
Sunstrike is going to be pitch perfect. It's going to land. No. He still disjoints. Does he have a Blink Dagger to get out? He does not. He will get taken out, but there is a buyback available. Will get invested right away.
Oh, it looks like they will be holding onto that barracks as well. So they lost one side, cost a couple of buybacks, and...
No, they're faking. They're coming back.
Oh, coming back again. CML, I mean, he is very strong, and they still have that BKB on the Invoker as well. So they are ready to fight. 10 seconds for the Luna, though. You have to respect that respawn.
There's no Fortify here. They're gonna find the melee Rax.
Oh, it's still alive.
They're gonna get it no matter what, yeah.
Killed it.
They're jumping in a blacklight. They connect onto two. The perfect pushback to follow up. And the coil is there, but the BKBs from Tino is there. He turns around and he gets 2 kills right away. Godlike beyond. Focus is here, but he might just be here too late. The creeps are attacking the Eclipse. He has to get out of there safely somehow, but they're jumping on top of him. Shanks is relentless, and he's gonna find the Shadow Demon kill. Tornado on top of the Luna. Stampede comes in a bit in the right moment. Tino's quite low in HP, so is Jotun, but they cannot seem to be able to connect with the sufficient spells to kill these backliners.
Yeah, and probably now it's finally time for the Philippines to disengage. They really like to play on the edge here. It really looks like both teams, when they're forced to play aggressively, is when they really shine.
Yep.
You know, like this sort of draft, I think for Greece it's an amazing draft. However, it doesn't really force them to be as aggressive as they like to play, you know. So they actually in this game were like, yeah, we probably should take it a bit slower. We'll be the ones farming up a little bit more. And well, the Philippines are like, well, good luck with that. We ain't letting you.
I feel like so far this entire series has been the story of the position 4s. It was first Desire on the Tusk in game number 1, and in this game, this Marcy with Shanks was incredible. Even that kill on Luna that opened up the fight, it was the rebound disposed to pull her back into the Wukong's command. And yes, Tino has been incredible on the offlane Invoker, but for me, it's just, you know, this Marcy has done so much work that I'm wondering, are we going to even see a Marcy next game?
Well, it's all a consequence of that early game.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that they just completely gave up top lane, that's a big problem.
They're scanning to find CML, who is actually farming by himself in the Mighty Mines.
Yeah, it could have been potentially a pick-off opportunity. But yeah, I wonder if they had the chance to replay this game, how would they approach the top lane? Because that is literally the entire source of their problems. That early Orchid completely killed them.
Yeah.
You know, and we all know Invoker level 1, are you actually a hero? No. Not really. But yeah, well, we all would do things differently if we could turn back time, which we can't. Oh, do you see the Monkey King? Oh, he's not up there. All right.
CML has the BKB this time around. No Aegis, but you've been begging for him to get the BKB. They've been successful without it, and right now he might just be unstoppable, or at least unkillable.
Yeah, he also got the feather. If he ever goes low health, he'll be starting to fly. Free as a bird.
Lincoln Sphere on top of him. They're just looking at their tier 3 melting. I don't think there's anything for you to do. The puck is actually cutting the wave. He's maybe going to find a courier and the haste up top.
Radiant's courier has been
I mean, Exorcism, half duration gone already, at least. 4 poison stacks, a lot of damage coming through.
Look at the damage! They've got the damage that was unexpected, but look at Shanks coming in, and Thug was not even there for a second and a half. Shanks is 1v5ing with the BKB. Will finally fall, and look at the kisses coming in on top of Focus. They're actually getting out with the Stampede, but the Centaur will be the first to fall. Desire is there and connects with one Bushwhack, but it's still a Monkey King alive. He has the Boundless Strike, he's got the double kill, and now 2 versus 3, but 1 buyback available for the Hoodwink.
To get the nice disruption, perhaps. Oh, here's BKB, here's BKB.
He does have it, and Lewis comes in. Look at the tornado. Wukong's command, EMP, Ice Wall is perfect. They are all stuck. Focus gets taken out. Triple careful, Lewis. It's only the 2 supports of the Greek squad trying to stay alive, trying to cut the wave, trying to stop this relentless push from the Philippines.
Yeah, Tino wants to end the game right here, right now. Hitting the Rex with a lot of right-click damage. Of course, there's no Luna. No puck, all the damage is pretty much gone. If Desire dies, it's game over. Makes it out nice escape.
Tornado does not connect. Desire's buying time, but they do have another Fortify if they want to use it. 5 seconds until the puck is back. The EMP pulls Spartan back, has to glimmer out to safety, and they do connect.
Vacuum EMP. What a silly ability. They actually do manage to defend the Rex. They have to disengage because the puck coil would be devastating here. So they have another lifeline, their last lifeline. And call me crazy, but I don't think CML is going to get caught like that again.
Yeah, and Roshan could spawn in 30 seconds. I guess the bright side is Focus is about 400 gold away from his buyback, but that's the only buyback.
What, he's just going for it. All right, goodbye Rex.
Yeah, easy peasy. 4 spirits.
Well, that was their lifeline, and now that is gone, which means now you just sit back, you wait for Roshan to spawn, you kill Roshan, or you're the Philippines, you smoke up and go.
Yeah, which seems to be what they want to do. If they can catch one of the non... Well,
they want to burst, so they're throwing him in. Oh!
Sharks is in, connects to 2. Oh my goodness, they're all dead. 1 by 1, they're falling. The Stampede is out. The Luna just respawned, but what can you do? You're in your fountain, you're alone. The puck is by your side, but GG gets called as Thug does not believe they have what it takes to defend this one. Philippines take us to a deciding Game 3.
Well played by the Philippines. I mean, we know that the love aggression, the way they played was absolutely amazing. Although I do have to say, there was a lot of moments where they could have actually potentially lost this game. Yeah. Like the first high ground push and a couple of really deep team fights, you know. If there's just a little bit more luck or maybe 2 more seconds of time for the Greece side to set something up there, you know, suddenly the entire game turns on its head. And I feel like, yes, the Philippines play super well, but if they took like a little bit more precaution, this game would have been absolutely one-sided. But their over-aggression was, well, I guess a blessing and a curse in this game. Worked out for them, but it was a bit scary.
I'm really intrigued to see if Greece can actually bounce back from this. And, you know, the Philippines had yet to lose a game up until this first one, and they already did it. Greece has played 2 best-of-3s up until the 3rd map in this tournament already, so at least we know they have the mental tools to reset and bounce back. But I think I don't know actually what their draft approach is going to be, because they won what seemed to be an impossible game for them, and then they just got completely shut down, or surprised, would you rather say, because they were not like, you know, they had a better draft, but they still lost.
It was kind of like in game 1.
Yes.
Like, the draft was really good, but does it suit the team perfectly? That's the only question I have, because we all know they can play these heroes, they can play the draft, but does it really play to your strengths to be on, you know, the defense? Because I think both teams, obviously after game 1 and 2 now, they love to be aggressive.
Yes, absolutely.
The fact that they picked this draft and knew they have the mid-late game secured probably kind of lulled them to like a sense of security where, yeah, we just need to survive to the mid game, to the late game, you know, like I'm going to give this Invoker complete free farm top, I just need to make sure I get my own economy going. If they had a more aggressive approach to the game, they would never be like that, you know. No, I can't give up my top lane to an Invoker, there's no way. Like I need to pressure him out of lane. But yeah.
Well, that was an incredible game 2 from the Philippines to bounce back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are gonna be blessed with the third deciding matchup between Greece and Philippines, and we'll see you after just a short break.
Well, there's no problem. If you had a gun, shoot him in the head.
Welcome back, one and all, here to WEC 2024, where we are headed into our first Game 3 here of the playoffs. Philippines, they made a comeback in the second game. They were able to play this area of denial lineup and able to secure victory and drive us to the decider. I'm Snare, joined yet again on panel. I've got the Mad Titan Nomad, I've got the Wise Man T-Gov, and I've got, gentlemen, a 10.5-minute Orchid power trade on Invoker in the offlane. Insane performance.
Take it away. Do you want
Oh,
to hype it
yeah,
up?
no,
Please,
I
you
can
hype it
jump
up.
on.
Yeah,
I
please.
feel like, I mean, yeah, it was ridiculous. Like, getting first blood, obviously, very, very nice in order to set him up for that, and then just kind of being left to his own devices, honestly. Like, I mean, it's not what I expected, and it's not what I think should have happened, but then, well, what does should matter in a game of DOTA 2, am I right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If you believe in your strategy, it's going to work out. And, you know, coming into this, the Philippines, they had a clear idea, right? They wanted to have pretty cool lane setups to be able to then catapult themselves into the game, right? You got Marcy Invoker, you then had Snap Death Prophet, and a mid Monkey King. Monkey King's going to free from the mid lane. Then you bring both the ranged heroes in due to the Snap and Marcy being very formidable laners. Yeah, on screen we are actually looking at highlights from game 1, not game 2, but that's okay. But in this, in the second game, the Philippines were just able to just lean on each other a lot and make the moves. And I feel like that's kind of the theme of the entire series now, right? In game 1, it was the supports on Greece, making the moves, leaning on the cores to then break open the game, right? Game 2, Philippines are now doing the same thing. Like, whoever is more active is the team that seems to be winning, right? That meta doesn't really dictate to, outside of national play, it seems, but right now, if you can just control the first 15 minutes of the game, you're able to do so much more than your opponent.
Yeah. Another thing I think we noticed, we spoke a lot, Nomad, about the prowess of this Luna, how strong she could be throughout the game. But I think them swapping the lanes of the Death Prophet, instead putting the DP mid, putting the Invoker in the offlane, I do not think the Luna was prepared for how much pressure she was experiencing in those first 10 minutes.
Yeah, but she recovered really, really well. But I mean, yeah, no, I don't think you come into that game thinking that you're going to have a tough lane. So that was a bit of a surprise, and maybe starting from a slightly lower position than he was expecting on focus. But yeah, I mean, ultimately it's still Luna, right? Like, you get your levels, you hit to the jungle, you're going to be fine. There's recover, like, I don't think when it came to hitting your kind of timings on the Luna, there was any real issues there. I think the Luna was pretty well farmed and just couldn't really just make up for the rest of her team's weakness. And of course, with the Luna, you basically give her the entire jungle, right? So you got to go and try and find other stuff on the map. Meanwhile, Puck just was, I mean, I don't think Puck got a single kill this game. Like, he was just dead over and over again, unable to really kind of, that's where your issues are coming from. And obviously, just a bit of a mess from Greece, honestly, which I didn't expect to be saying from this point. But it can always happen, maybe overconfidence, maybe just being unable to recover from a really, really messy early game, which I think is the kind of headline here.
Yeah, I mean, we're not really giving out MVPs, but between Tino and Shanks, they would be vying for it, right? Like, because of the map play from Marcy and Invoker, you're looking at the scoreboard here, right? You got 13-6 from the Marcy support, 14-1 from the Invoker. Like, they just kept hunting around the map, they kept finding stuff, and you can argue, like, should they really have this much farm? But because of them playing the map after laning phase, they were getting so many kills that the farm was coming to them, right? Because they were seeking out the engagement, seeking out that next fight. And that was the reservation I had with the Greek lineup. I like the look of it once it gets online, but it needs to get online, right? It needs a little bit more time. It doesn't really play the map too quickly.
Yeah.
It reacts and it's slow. But when it's online, boom, it's one of the best ones in the world, right? That's where Philippines punished it.
Yeah, and we could have easily been talking about that the other way around, right? That's why we came into the draft saying, or came out of the draft, I should say, saying that this Philippines draft has its issues.
You're walking back
I'm
from your...
yes.
You're trying to be like...
Yes, 100%.
You said that you hated the Death Prophet.
Rewriting
you
the
were
history
very
books.
passionate with it, and now you're trying to rework it a little bit. I can feel it.
Yeah, no, I always said that I hate the Death Prophet unless it wins, in which case I love it.
Best hero in the game all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's always a caveat with any statement I make. But no, I mean, like, for the Death Prophet especially, like, it was mentioned that this draft defends areas very well. So if you're ahead, you can get to those areas. And then suddenly you can't approach with the Luna due to doing Eclipse and stuff. That's always going to be the case. I just think, but yeah, I mean, maybe I underestimated the Death Prophet a little bit, but I still think it was more enabled by the Invoker and by the supports that you mentioned as well. Yeah.
100%. And that's where coming to the third and final game of the series, Marcy ban could easily be a thing, right? I think just the way in which Marcy brought everything else to life, where it's like, I can see a world where, let's say Invoker gets banned, in the second phase, whatever, Marcy's still going to bring the same thing to a Visage, to any other hero that likes to go and, you know, poke his head into a jungle, like, whoa, who's here? Oh, you're dead now, you know? So I think Marcy is, to me, potentially the little gem from this game for me.
I mean, to double down on the fact that they're also
Be
playing this
careful now.
Marcy in
Don't
multiple
lose all your
roles.
MMR on the panel.
Not all, don't double down too much.
That
you know?
sounded actually really... You have more than like 80 MMR. I'm sorry. That's
Are you sure? You know, you haven't played with me yet, man. You know,
That's true.
games are tough.
Okay.
Whereas panel MMR different to real MMR?
I would like to think that real MMR carries over to panel MMR, but then panel MMR is divided by 2. Because the
I
lights
see.
really hurt your thinking.
Okay, all right.
It burns your brain.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is that they play this Marcy on multiple roles, right? We obviously just saw it now being played by Shanks amazingly. Tino has played it beforehand. We know that they can play it in a carry role. Unlikely, but it is possible from them. So definitely that has to come into the batting mix. And speaking of the performance of this Marcy, for me, the thing that really changed the game was when the Marcy picked up that BKB. Because before, yes, you are soaking in all this aggression. Yes, it's difficult. But you're hoping at some point we're going to hit our level 12s, our level 15s. We can kill her before she can enable the fight. But by the time she got BKB, this was before Luna had real physical damage at her. She didn't even have the crit stick to build into the counter. So it felt like Marcy was staying alive for much too long in the middle of these fights, soaking up too much attention. When you're focused on the Marcy, this Death Prophet gets to run around for free, you know? This Invoker gets to do whatever the hell he wants. And how many fights did we see Nomad? Monkey literally doing nothing, just standing in the corner, waiting for them to come into us. Because once they do, I drop Wukongs to lose the fight.
I mean, I saw several fights where he dropped Wukongs and he dropped like 2 boundless strikes. He never actually went and hit anybody, which, I mean, what a dream game to play for a Monkey King, where you're literally just sitting in a tree, just being like, boop, boop, you know, playing whack-a-mole. He's not playing Dota, he didn't need to. It's even doing it for him, and yeah, I mean, part of that's massively down to that Marcy being able to just get involved, get in there. So yeah, gearing up for game number 3, really looking for this to be happening again. You know, Shanks, I think he could pick 3 heroes. It's going to be the Marcy, it's going to be the Clockwork, it's going to be the Tusk. Anything else? And I think I might have some questions for Philippines and about whether they'll be able to take this 3rd game. That's how important I think getting Shanks in this initiating position 4 is going to be for them. And that kind of makes sense as well when you look at the team as well, because 4 of them from Execration, their 5 player is not. So it kind of makes sense how you're looking at this now and going like, okay, well, you know, maybe this is how the one player who's not going to be quite in sync with the rest, you know, the other support has to kind of make up for that in some ways. Like, I don't know how in sync they're feeling, but from the games, that's how it looks so far. We had the Nagasaran who was kind of in that high impact support role in the first game, and it just didn't really do the same thing.
So going to the 3rd game, what do you want to see the adjustment on the side of Greece here, T? We've spoken about the Marcy a little bit, but in terms of their own heroes, how should they be picking to maximize the strengths of this team?
I know Spartan can play Shadow Demon and has played it well before, but isolated to this tournament and today, I feel like he needs to be on a hero that maybe calls Desire to his lane and like is a little bit more aggressive. Like playing Shadow Demon is a bit more, you know, methodical, right? Like you secure your lane, you make stacks, you wait, you're patient. I look at Spartan, the way he plays, the way he, you know, carries himself, he's got a completely different mentality, especially today, and Shadow Demon doesn't really sync with that. So I want to see him on like, you're describing the heroes for Shanks, probably the same type of heroes, right? I want to see him on a Clockwork, even the Crystal Maiden from game 1, because like as soon as he sees like an opportunity, he's like, Desire, TP to my lane, we can get a kill. And you can feel that they're already making the motions to open up the early game. But on Shadow Demon, he's maybe a little bit quieter, and I think his voice is needed to bring life to this stack. And again, aggression is key. Both teams, when they've been aggressive, they have won their respective game. So the 3rd game, all I care about is who has the better lanes. Whoever has like the better lane setup, the ability to, you know, convert, get early kills, I'm probably going to believe in. Because it doesn't really matter about scaling. That doesn't really happen here. It's just mid-game.
We just fight.
Over. Yeah, we just fight,
It's, the games are decided pretty quickly for the most part. I mean, we've had a few attempts at comebacks, but not many which have actually come through yet. But to double down on that, I think it's the reason it looks like this
double downing as well?
Yes.
Everyone's
Now,
double downing.
okay, now all the MMR's gone.
I'm an all-in kind of guy.
Okay.
You know, I double down every
Alright.
chance I can
Well, good
get.
luck.
All my MMR on the line here.
I'm not going to double down on the
But this is a
sorry.
very safe point to make, though, because when you're drafting, I always feel like, especially if you're not playing as a really well-established 5-man team, just get an aggressive information getting, initiating position 4 or 5, you know, I don't really mind, whichever way around you want to play, and then 1 more defensive backline, possibly saving if you can, but, you know, there's not that many in the game that are viable, but either way, a backliner on a support as well, right? It's really hard to go wrong when you have the 2 of those. It simplifies your game so much. You're not going to have any problems with your support, Joe. I just think it's so difficult to, in Dota in its current state, to have all of your initiation coming from your cores. Because you're going to throw someone in and they're going to get killed. Like, people don't survive initiations much these days, right? So if you throw in a core all in on that initiation, then, you know, just like we've been all inning on the panel, it's not going to go well for you. So you need to make sure you can just do it so much easier on a position 4. You don't even want to throw everything on him. You know, if a Clockwork hook shots you, you're not going to like drop ultis on that guy. Like, that would be idiotic. But if a Centaur jumps in on you, yeah, like ulti away. You know, that's fine. A core kill, absolutely worthwhile. So it's a lot of information. It's a lot of, you know, soft committal which it gives you. And I think that's just going to simplify these guys' games so much. So yeah, if there's one thing I'd like to see with every team here doing, I think literally every team here should be working on this, in my opinion.
Okay, definitely makes sense. Right now, while y'all are not aware, we're watching, of course, the Philippines taking on the side of Greece. Other results have been coming in the meantime. Sweden pulling off the offset of the day. I did not see it coming. Literally nobody on this panel saw it coming. If they tell you they did, they're lying. But Kazakhstan did manage to get the W 2-0 over onto them. Myanmar currently tied 1-1 up against the side of Turkey. And of course, another surprise, the side of Belarus is gone. Mongolia have managed to eliminate them. For me, that one is a little bit surprising because, yes, Mongolia is a very good team, but it's not necessarily the same players as last year. However, it seems to be working out for them. The defending champions still in the tournament. T, any of those results, really reach out to you as a massive surprise?
I feel like Sweden, they have some names that the Western audience knows, but I feel like bringing them together quickly, expecting them to do well. I wasn't really expecting them to make top 4. I think like top 8 sounded pretty good for the team, but no, they're doing it. Again, Charlie had a really good liking game in the first game, and they've carried that energy over into the second one, so well deserved now in top 4. And I think the fact that Turkey actually, they're forcing it to a game 3. I think a lot of people looking at like Turkey being a national stat compared to Myanmar being an actual team outside of the national tournament. I think that disparity leaned more to Myanmar, but Turkey forcing a game 3 as well. So the bottom side of the bracket seems to be a little bit more upset heavy, and yeah, we got the closest one. I honestly feel that our series easily could have been the grand finals.
Yeah.
And then everything else, it feels like, you know, Mongolia, Myanmar, against Sweden, they just, to be fair, I think they just upset me in the first couple of days. And you know, and I saw and it's like I don't have, you know, I don't have any affiliation. I'm not Swedish, you know. You know, my country's not competing here, you know. But I just saw them play, and I was like, this just doesn't feel like the Sweden that I expect to see play. But now today, they've turned up, so fair play.
Fair play to Sweden, and now fair play to us because we get into our third and decisive draft of this series. The Philippines, for the third game in a row, will be playing in on the Radiant side, but this time, Nomad, the change is that they have second pick. Dyer with the first pick for the side of Greece here. You were already mentioning some heroes for Spartan, your tasks, your clockworks, especially the point that you were mentioning about gathering vision. That really seems to elevate clockwork for me, in my mind, as something to come out here. But if you're in the hands on the side of Greece, you know, we're giving T-Gov a retirement on his coaching. You're the coach now because he gave advice last game. They lost.
They ignored me.
What are you saying?
What are you saying?
I would say pick Warlock. No, don't pick Warlock. Stupid hero for bad players. For Greece, I'm looking at. I mean, I'm not really talking. I've already said my piece on. Hey, there you go, Clockwork coming out. No matter genius. I've already said my piece on what I think they should do in terms of mixed up with sports. However, I love their last draft. Like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I was looking at that last draft and going, oh, this might be tricky. I thought it was a really good draft last game. So don't change anything up on the draft thing. Just tighten up that early game. You know, definitely some. Yeah, just, you know, what do Greek people drink? Ouzo? Is that? I think that's their drink.
That's the point. We can learn about.
Yeah, we'll go on. We'll call one of them over and ask them at some point. But well, maybe not that because that's alcoholic. But you know, something back. No, not back with a. So give me a Greek food. Slovakia.
I don't know. It might surprise you to learn. I haven't had that much Greek food, so.
I'm going to learn a lot. Again, like, they're here. That's the point.
Yes,
you know, we can learn about their culture.
Well, either way, enjoy something the Greeks do together. Smash a plate. There we go. They can smash a plate. That's what they love doing over there. Every Greek restaurant, they do that. So smash a plate, get into game 3, get on the same page. And yeah, starting things off, they'll be the ones taking the Invoker for themselves. My goodness.
Yeah, baby. I can't believe I'm seeing a situation where an off-lane Invoker needs to be deny-picked. Where you're like, yeah, guys, you know, they already have Clockwork. We know how good this Invoker can be. We know how good it can be with Clockwork in tow. So yeah, let's not give them that. Obviously, they want to be able to play it themselves as well, and this is presumably going to lead into a buff-up lineup on their side, but the fact that it was in their minds at all is a good thing for the Philippines, makes their drafting a little bit easier.
Sure, and I think for Greece at least, they're going, do we really need to go crazy with our draft? Like Invoker, it plays out most games, right? Like it lanes really well against most matchups, it doesn't really have any bad matchups. It always activates a carry, like you mentioned, with Alacrity, it controls team fights. You could say there's some damage issues early on, but it scales into damaging with levels. So the hero, if you're in a game 3 decider, tournament lives on the line, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing your mid lane get an Invoker, right? It's not as volatile as picking an Ember Spirit, for example, where there's plenty of counters to the hero. Invoker, it's stable, nothing crazy, and yes, they are potentially scared of this flex that the Philippines have created.
The great thing about Invoker these days is he doesn't have to cast spells anymore. I mean, most people with a brain would argue that that's not a good thing about Invoker, but when you're drafting, that is a good thing about Invoker, because you don't need to worry about silences or lockdown or anything like that. Like, he clicks like the best of them, he can get solo kills,
Are they just stealing their draft?
he gives you a lot. And yeah, they really are just, just going back and rinse repeating.
I like your draft. It would be a pity if something happened to it.
Yeah, which is funny, because well, I definitely favored the Greek draft last game, and now they hated their draft so much they're trying to take the other part of the draft, so.
Alright, but if Greece copies the draft identical, everything pick for pick, and they pick Death Prophet, what's your reaction?
Guaranteed loss.
Okay, you're sticking true to your guns. That's what I want on the panel. No flip-flopping, no man, alright?
Absolutely not.
Thank you.
Right, so we do have the Snapfire. One thing they do have in spades right now, the Greek lineup, is certainly going to be magic damage throughout the course of this game. So for the Philippines, we need to be able to stop their team fight, and ideally a pipe buyer would be quite nice into the Invoker and the Snap.
But already Clock answers a little bit, right? Because both Invoker and Snapfire play behind objectives and throw spells from a distance. And now, Clockwork, you already mentioned the Vision, the Flare, you hookshot onto Snapfire. So defending objectives is pretty easy for Greece, but if they're not in the correct position, then Clockwork can dismantle that and enable the fight. So I think Greece need to add a couple more layers to how they want to defend their side of the map. As we do, I'm guessing that's. No, wait, Marcy's already
Marcy's banned this time.
Oh.
It's another mystery hero to be revealed later.
Oh, but it's with a Shadow Fiend.
Okay.
But Shadow Fiend's gonna lane with a Clockwork, so it could be a Rubik. Maybe.
Could be Lich.
This feels quite fun. This is like.
Yeah. Guess
Okay, let's
hero.
say guesses. I'm saying Lich. I think this is a Lich.
Based on the games we've seen so far, I lean Rubik.
All right, Nomad.
I would say. Could they Naga? Yeah, I'll go Naga Siren. Why not?
Okay.
We'll find out soon.
Naga, Rubik, and Lich. We're going to get this information in a little bit of time. Fortunately, the Greek team do not have to worry about this fog of war that we're dealing with. They know exactly what's up. What do we want to combo this with? We're probably going to be getting our lane.
This is what we need, actually.
Yeah.
Power-ups in the draft, you can use, this is a mystery pick, which will be revealed later on.
Okay.
It was revealed as
Muerta.
Muerta, yeah.
None of us would have guessed that one immediately. I mean, in this game, we already have a Clockwork, right? We've seen a lot of games. Clockwork jumps in, drop the cogs. The calling on top of that can be immense. Gives them some additional damage. Deadshot is one of the best spells in the game. And in the middle of team fights, being deadshotted while SF is near you, you die 100% of the time. There's no escape away from the triple raise combo.
Whew. The speed of play, like, how are they laning this? Greece have just picked. So we've seen so far we've seen offlane Invoker just now. We've seen Lesh mid, Lesh
Mid and
carry.
safe lane, yeah. Mostly safe
We've
lane
seen
over
Earth
here.
Spirit mid.
Yeah. And
but not support.
Not this tournament, but in previous tournaments just before this and in some of the qualifiers, some teams that aren't here did pick it 4, but they're not here, unfortunately.
Did they win?
Yeah, exactly. So right now, like, if we're going away from national meta, just purely on Dota meta, they've got 3 mid laners.
Yes.
That's hype.
And there isn't really flexibility on these heroes outside of maybe this tournament. Normally it's not. Yes, we sometimes see Earth Spirit support, but it's not really that good. We saw Earth Spirit off lane, played by OG recently, but that's a very specific reason. And I am very intrigued to know what they're going to do here. Like, maybe it could do like a Lesh +1 off lane. Like Earth Spirit, Lesh off lane, Desire plays the Earth Spirit, Lesh becomes the core, and then we get to see just like a double stun, like you roll in, you kick them back into like the Edict, just a lot of pressure.
But also, Tornado into Split Earth, easy setup, get the Edict going. I don't know, for some reason I really think this is a +4 Lesh rack.
It could be.
That's just what looks good to me in this, but then maybe with a Lycan coming out here,
That
it
is,
changes things.
if you lose a fight for Greece, your
Oh,
buildings,
your buildings are gone.
disappear,
Yeah.
right? So Shadow Fiend with level 15, the aura hits the towers. Lycan as well, just immense physical damage, chase down. Greece, there's not really a lot of protection towards each other, right? It's a lot of skirmish, a lot of fight, but when the big team fight happens and it's not just a pick-off play, they don't protect each other that well. And that's where like the last pick for Greece either needs to fix that or go even quicker, go even more early game. Because like, there's scaling required. Like Lycan needs farm, he needs team. Shadow Fiend needs farm, he needs team. Clock, Werther, they kind of set people up to do damage, but as supports they don't do all the damage themselves until much later on with some levels. Specifically Werther, she needs items. So I think like there is still a window where Greece just snowball through the entirety of Philippines, but again, these last picks are so crucial.
I have a big concern though. I'm looking at this Greece draft, Nomad, and this team on the retreat just dies, dude. They're so weak. Like if they initiate a fight and don't immediately wipe 2 or 3 heroes, right? They are gonna get demolished by what's coming out from the Philippines. And if they ever try to run away from these engagements, you lose a hero here or there. They have better ways of gaining vision on top of you with the clockwork. And now they've picked this Ember Spirit. T was making this point earlier, right, about the Snapfire. If you can find where the Snapfire is at, right, if you have positive vision of where she is, Ember just jumps in, kills that hero off, right? The lane against the Earth Spirit, or even in the Invoker, it's fine for this Ember Spirit, right? They just feel like they don't have as much initiative on the side of Greece that I would like them to have. And now with the Ench as well, you were calling for the Ench in the previous game. Do you actually like it? Does it make this draft all come together?
Well, it's gonna be Snapfire. And, Snapfire is. Does he give enough information? Is it initiating enough for me?
The teams
Teams
were
are
flipped the
swapped.
entire time.
Makes sense. Oh
Okay,
my goodness,
okay,
we've been
okay.
bamboozled.
I was like, there is no
thoroughly,
way.
absolutely ruined.
There's no way
My
Greece is
goodness.
picking like Invoker to flex it with a Lesh. Like this is so off script. I was like, okay,
They've
okay,
stolen nothing.
Okay.
They've stolen absolutely
Right.
nothing. All right.
Okay.
Quickly. All right. Quickly. Yeah, this is absolutely a Greece draft, isn't it? Skylark on the Lycan. Yeah. It's all making
There was
sense
something
now.
missing the entire time, and I couldn't put my finger on it. Like, what is annoying me here? There's no way
Yeah.
Greece in a game 3 are picking these heroes, and it isn't because they aren't.
I mean,
and yes,
to be fair, all of us had the intuition because you both did say, why are they stealing the draft? They weren't stealing
Yes.
the draft. It was the
It was-
correct team
yeah.
picking the same draft.
Exactly.
Okay.
Doing it again. So with this new information, which
Critical
changes just
information.
about everything, yes,
Yep.
I think they're both sticking to their guns. They're both doing very, very them-style draft, which is what you want to see in a Game 3. Not a ton of adjustment here. Overall, for me, I'm going to go for Greece because they've done more of the support thing I was talking about with the initial. You know, I think Snapfire Enchantress is a little bit weak, and I think they might struggle to enable. Wait, that's a core Enchantress.
Yes, I was about to ask you about this.
Yo, let's
T,
go. Never mind. Let's
earn
go
your paycheck,
Philippines.
brother. Earn
I
your
love
paycheck,
core
T.
Enchantress.
Talk to us about
I'm
Offlane
committed to them
Edge.
now.
there's not much to say. I feel like Philippines just getting creative. We can sit here and break it down, but they're picking some different heroes. They don't care about like the wider meta of the world, and they're just gonna have fun with it. You know, they believe in it. They're going for it. Honestly, there just isn't enough time for me to unpack it. Luckily, we have a cast. Hopefully, they can unpack it. But I think Greece, they have what they want. A lot of comfort, a lot of things that, like, we were liking the fact that if you lose a fight against a sign-up, they'll break your map, they'll break your base. So I still think that still holds true. It doesn't matter what team's playing the draft. If Philippines mis-execute, everything just disappears. Ember takes over the map, Lycan takes over the map, Clock will hunt you down. So I think there is a balance to it, and maybe that creativity will be the reason why Philippines get eliminated. But the confidence to have that creativity in a game 3 is very commendable. But I feel like it does put like a bit of pressure on them, and I am favoring the consistency and the kind of the scaling of the Radiant lineup. But again, I want to learn some stuff with this draft.
So cards on the table, you're going Greece?
Sure.
Philippines.
Philippines. Ench. Personally, I really hope the Philippines wins because they have a very intriguing draft here. And this Ench, well, it depends, right? The Ench lane goes decently well. He's able to get to a good timing, maybe on some pipes, some Guardian Greaves, have some defensive items. That could keep them in the game. But if not, we could be seeing Greece progress into the tournament. But let's find out how this will all break down. The result of Game 3 will be brought to you by our gentle giants, our Vlad and Dominic. Take it away, boys.
Thank you very much, Snare. And they mentioned unboxing, unpacking, and breaking down stuff. And I think those are all 3 great things that you are excellent at, Black. So please, tell me, what do you make of what we're witnessing? Is an Enchantress replacing DP with Alacrity gonna be enough?
I'm quite unsure, to be honest. I feel like CML might actually just be stepping into a support role this game. I cannot confidently say that I believe anyone's gonna run a carry Eng. Like, you know me, I like to do crazy stuff, like Bane mids and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I myself would never run a carry Enchantress. I just feel like it doesn't win you games. So, again, I do think he's gonna take a backseat and actually play a support, and then Shanks will be. No, never mind.
No, he's not. No.
Let's check everything. Okay. Apparently, we have a support Leshrac and a carry Eng.
So, now let's go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Enchantress, Invoker. We've seen this attempt last game.
Yep.
It was the Alacrity DP with the Ags. Enchantress does not need the Aghanim's.
Yep.
She will max out Impetus, I assume by level 7, and then she will become that turret that with the Alacrity attack speed hits, kills. Is it good?
Well, I'm gonna say right now, I don't think they're gonna leave Tino on the lane again by himself for like 10 minutes.
Well, I hope not.
Well, that ain't happening anymore. And Invoker, Leshrac is not the easiest lane either. Like, you have a Tornado to potentially set up a Split Earth, but the Tornado early levels is really low duration. So can you really hit a Split Earth of that? Probably not. It's gonna be a tough lane for them, especially into Clockwork. Like, playing Lesh into Clockwork it feels awful.
Yeah, Clockwork
really
is
bad.
also one of the best supports in this current meta.
Yeah.
I believe it was banned the first few games by Philippines themselves,
Yeah.
but this time around it was Greece that had to ban the Monkey King and of course the Marcy that they played last game. So that's why we don't see them now.
Well, what is the rationale behind playing a carry Eng? That's so weird. I mean, I understand what the Philippines is going for. Like,
Yes.
they want to put CML on the heroes he's really comfortable with because, as we already said, he's not really a carry player. But, yes, Eng is an incredibly strong laner. He's probably going to do really well. What happens when the Radiant says, well, I'm going to press BKB now? Your carry just doesn't exist anymore. You know, Invoker doesn't exist. In fact, no hero exists in this game when BKB is popped. So I'm quite worried for...
No hero on the dire side.
Yeah, I'm very worried for the Philippines. Because like, if one item counters your entire draft, that's a big problem.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of IESF and the World Esports Championship. Like, we often see very much stuff that's out there, and Philippines, or the Execration roster, we could even say, has brought the best of it to the table here in this elimination game of the playoffs. So let the people know around the world tuning in to see if an Enchantress carry is actually more meta than a DP carry, or if it can defeat this phenomenal combo classic in this patch of Shadowfiend plus Clockwork.
I would just like to note that, yes, we have a lot of crazy experiments, but more often than not, they actually don't work.
They
out.
fail.
Yes. So, I mean, I'm intrigued. I'm an Eng lover. I've been playing core Eng for a long, long time. Of course, there was with the old Aghanim still, which, in my opinion, is still quite a bit stronger. But yeah, please show me what you got with it. Because in theory, this looks like an incredibly tough uphill battle for them.
Yeah, and of course this time Tino is off lane on the dire side, which kind of changes a lot of what you can do, especially when Leshrac by your side. Spartan with the Clockwork could get punished by a 2-range hero lane, but you know, it's a big could. We'll see if that's the case. Meanwhile, in mid we have a classic brother versus brother matchup in the form of Earth and Ember Spirit.
Yeah, it's pretty much just a 5-5 farm trade lane. Neither should really be able to kill the other unless there's a massive misplay. And then, once level 6, as always, it's about the rotations. Maybe the supports will come in and try to help you out a little bit with the water runes at minute 4. We will have to wait and see. The laning phase, I'm really not expecting too much crazy action on any lane. Like, Lycan can't really kill. No, Clock SF is the one lane where there could be action.
Yes, and I do believe, I think Nomad covered this during the panel. The supports on the Philippine side do not achieve that much when it comes to rotations in the early game, whereas when you have a Clockwork, it can definitely enable the Air Spirit a lot more when he goes for the power runes in minutes 6 and 8.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like Clockwork, and there's a reason it's so popular, right? Super long range initiation, you can tank for your team, strong laning phase, like you name it, he got it. So yeah, it will be, as you already mentioned, quite a bit of an uphill battle.
So far, Tino is pretty even with the Shadow Fiend when it comes to right clicks, last hits. He's also doing quite well in the harass department. Shadow Fiend and Clockwork both below half HP, forced to play from behind. As the Slash Rock is not achieving that much, but throws a lightning strike every now and then to, you know, recharge the sticks of the Radiant safe lane heroes. And this game 3, of course, like we said, is an elimination for both teams. Whoever loses here will have to, you know, they'll have to be content with an 8th place to this year's championship, and that's why we're seeing a bit less action. Both games so far we had first bloods up until this point. Oh, okay. Hawks, EMP Tornado, and they're gonna have to fall back.
Goodbye, mana. I'm really curious to see what Shanks can do on his Leshrac. I know he's traditionally a more greedy +4 player, as we've seen in game 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I think you need a lot of money as a Leshrac as well. Like, running in as Leshrac against SF Aura means you can literally just die in a second. You have to be really careful. I also like the combo of the Radiant draft. Like, there's so much minus armor involved together with Sleight of Fist. It's going to be absolutely massive damage in team fights. You got the presence, of course, and then the Howl, which is also like -7, -14 armor total. Like, these supports, or any hero that wants to run in, is going to get shredded. And it's definitely something that you need to respect a lot. And of course, it also means Roshan early on is a possibility.
I would like to apologize to Tino. I was just checking his games in the last week, and he's not played many pubs, but the pubs he has played, he has run Death Prophet twice and Invoker once.
Yeah, I mean, definitely something to practice, otherwise it wouldn't be...
I mean, definitely something that he plays well, because, you know, that game 2 was definitely incredible. Now, it's a slight last hit lead, as we are seeing the first blood up top. It is Jotun getting chased down. Desire will get traded, but of course, first blood gold going in the favor of the Muerta. And I was saying there was a slight last hit lead for the Earth Spirit, but now he went to take the bounty rune from down bottom, and Ember caught up to him.
Yeah, it's going to get a nice little bottle refill as well. We'll see if Muerta does the same. No, she does not. But again, you're a Fire Spirit, Ember Spirit.
They're
Makes it
setting
very
up
simple
bottom,
to just
actually.
refill.
No, never mind. I'm not quite sure. The Muerta is actually trying to wrap around the Invoker, and I think they might get some action. The Spartan might trade his life there in the process, but Shanks will be the next to fall. Desire, you do not want to go for a back-to-back death. First raise connects. There's not enough mana for focus. A Blood Grenade coming in, and Tornado in time from Tino. One more right click is going to get him very low, but the Ghost Walk. And Tino's out to safety. Desire barely survives, but what are you going to do now? You've got no TP, you've got no HP.
Got nothing. And you have to remember, this was a 3 versus 2 fight, and they actually traded evenly.
Yeah, now Lewis is here, and he's gonna most likely kick this Muerta. No, there's an Observer on the high ground. Lewis, there's a salve. Desire does get tagged by...
What is killing him?
I mean, it's a kill, but you sacrifice your mid laner for a position 4?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, Lewis just walked in and kind of gave his life up.
And now CML and Jotun are finding a bit more. In this top lane, Jotun, I think, is considering to maybe go and sneak up the Wisdom Rune, but he will get spotted by the invisible Wolves.
The body blocks are going to come in.
Even a deny with the Wolves here would still be a victory for Philippines.
Yeah, it's impossible to do that once you're actually on top of the rune. Oh, this looks like a freebie. Nice.
Mid cookie takes the wisdom, gets lasted. It doesn't. It was a slight attempt at going for the deny, but during nighttime.
They got both wisdom runes actually. Clockwork took the bottom one. Now that's a good support.
That's a big victory. Yep. That is a big victory for them.
Especially on a hero like Clockwork. Like the sooner you get level 6 and get that hook shot online, the more plays your team can make, obviously. Yeah, Skylark did die, but he's a Lycan. Once he gets his helm online, he's going to feel very happy himself.
No, I think double Wisdom Rune at minute 7. Everybody talks about this in the Dota community. Both pros and casual players feels like the game is unplayable for the next 10. Or at least until minute 14, so maybe the next 7. You've got a Leshrac position 4. He needs XP to do anything, right? That's why you pick Leshrac, because you want to use his spells. He's not going to get any farm as a support. So if he's going to be shut down at level 4 or 5 for the next 3 to 5 minutes, it's going to be completely disastrous for Philippines to play 4v5.
And what they also need is a really strong game plan because, oh, Desire, yep, you're feared.
Should be a kill here. 2 seconds. There is a silence coming in, but never mind. Lewis is out to safety. The cogs
nice.
come in a bit too late.
Yep.
It's not a kill, but still forces Lewis to go back to base.
That's the power of Earthspear though. He's so
Radiant's bottom
tanky,
tower is under attack.
very difficult to bring down. But yeah, what I was gonna say is, even if you do well in the laning phase, like the Dire draft is not easy to play. You do need some sort of transitional plan outside of the laning phase.
Set up bottom, instant TP from the Ember Spirit. Tino does have the Ghost Walk, and he will get out. I cannot say the same thing about Shanks, as that was a 5-player rotation bottom. No, 4 players. Skylark is still up top.
Yep. Skylark is trying to happily farm away.
Yo, perfect. Micro from here, pulling him back with a Hurricane, and
Is under attack.
Ow.
that was very dangerous. And CML is taking over this top lane. He has level 7 to the 5 of Skylark, and the Skylark is, well, by far the least farmed core on the map.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Radiant's
Lycan's
top tower
strength
under
is,
attack.
you know, you get the Dominator and then you start pushing towers. So he's pretty close to that. And I'm not too worried about Skylark's game, to be honest. He's also going to be giving me a howl. Oh,
CML.
nice. Oh, that's trouble.
There is a level 6 on this Muerta. If Desire could connect with the dead shot, yes, he will, and this is going to be it. I don't think CML has any chance. Even Skylark is here. Who's going to get the last hit? Well, nobody yet, because they do have the untouchable. So Desire says, you know what, I'm done. Pierce of the Veil, Pierce of the Edge. I will stop this chase, I guess.
It's very funny because Lycan tried to hit him like 5 times.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
The
attack.
wind up is like,
Now at least Tino and Shanks are trying to take this tier 1 bottom. It's going to be traded up top. Does Shanks even scale
Dire structures are fortified.
anything else other than Earth Splitter and... Well, yes, he does,
Radiant's
okay. He
bottom
just didn't
tower
use
has
it.
fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Interesting. Well, the tower's a tower no matter what. Minute 10 right now. We're still looking at level 6 for both Jotun and the Leshrac. Moving on. What? Well, I mean, it's a Shadow Fiend. Everybody plays Shadow Fiend Dispatch. What is the first item you would like to see him get?
well, most of them get Mask of Madness just to farm faster, and then usually into the Hurricane Pike, BKB. It's a very standard build-up nowadays. And as we already said, like once you have BKB, this game actually, like you cannot die. Like, what is gonna hurt you? You know, like you're literally immune to Enchantress. All the magic damage doesn't really do much to you. So yeah, like they have the only winning condition for the Philippines is if they can't completely snowball the game from beginning to finish. They have to bait out the BKBs and then disengage, which is going to be very difficult against the Shackles, against Muerta, Clockwork. Oh, team fight time top. This is going to be a very defining fight.
As TP is here, CML is kind of baiting. He is very hard to kill. They're going for Skylark. Lewis has an Arcaner, so that's going to be
Oh.
easy to use. Shapeshift, and he's out. Earth Splitter does not connect, and meanwhile, it's Desire killing Tino alongside the Clockwork and the Shadow Fiend. So, 4 players top. Well, don't find anything, and 3 bottom do.
Yep, another nice victory. Skylark just putting on the pressure top.
Is under attack.
You know, baiting a lot of heroes there, making it on the skin of his teeth, very nice. But another smoke rotation coming straight away.
The Arcane is still
Radiant's top
available.
tower is under
But they're looking
attack.
for Thug, but Thug is also such an incredibly hard kill. Yeah, you can silence, or you don't even have silence. Like one roll will never let you land another stun.
Well, they're trying. The cogs are there from his own teammate, and I
And
think
it's like
Emma's
impossible.
out.
It's impossible.
They try to
Oh.
layer the Earth Splitter, not quite the case. The kisses are not connecting. The Scatterblast isn't Spartan. This is a hero, he can do what he loves most. It's a Clockwork, going deep, almost at the tier 2 of the Dire side. He uses Battery of Souls. He's gonna have the cogs in a second, but will get connected with by the Rolling Boulder. But this time around, just like in game 1, you're Clockwork. You did everything. You saved your Ember, you're out, you just die, it's fine.
Yeah, you got one kill,
Oh.
but it's really not worth it for the Philippines. Like the goal advantage is slowly starting to go to Greece's way. And we see a Witchblade first. Basically identical to what we saw in game 1. Let's see if he can have a bigger impact or not.
Yeah. Of course, game 1, it was Lewis playing the Invoker.
Yep.
But it's the same hero no matter what. And the Orchid is actually something that you highlighted, Black, about how impactful that item was in game 1. Versus Ember Spirit, I think it would make sense to go for an Orchid.
Yeah, could have potentially done it if you wanted to. We see a 3-man smoke here. We got no shapeshift yet, but it should be coming off cooler momentarily. And we do have a
hook shot, yeah.
what creep is that? Oh, a
Radiant's
pine
top tower
cone,
is under
not
attack.
tree.
They spot Shanks. They're actually not even going for him. The neutrals will get the job done. All on dead shot to pull him back in, and Shanks. Okay, Tino comes in with the save. Hook shot from Spartan out to safety, but he will die. Long impetus shot, and Lewis is chasing him down. And this time the Clockwork is dying first. Can they stop Desire? The answer is very clearly not, as all of the stuns have been cancelled or used already.
Yeah, very nice TP out, good situational awareness.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And again, to highlight that, that's the big problem of Skylark. Oh, no shapeshift.
This could be a very big
He
kill.
has no boots either. There's no way he's getting out of here.
Yeah, there's no TPs, no nothing, and nobody that can save him. And
Radiant's
yes, we do
middle
say
tower
that
is
the
under
Philippines
attack.
need to do something, and they're starting to find stuff, whereas Greece at the same time, they're free farming. But you can't just keep losing players.
Dire's middle tower
I have to
is
admit,
under
I'm a little
attack.
bit worried about Skylark playing
Radiant's
Lycan.
middle
Like, he's
tower is
historically
under
a
attack.
very selfless player, but Lycan is a very selfish hero.
Yeah,
and this
exactly.
patch in particular. And we can see that he is not prioritizing his own net worth very much. That could become an issue come mid-game.
Yeah, and I think the mid-game is the big point of contention, because I don't think there's anybody doubting that if you do manage to go past that into ultra late game, you have Shadow Fiend, Ember Spirit, they will be able to outscale an Enchantress.
Yeah, but right now Enchantress is incredibly strong, sitting at like 400 HP, 1400 HP. And Shanks, how is his Leshrac looking? Okay, not terribly underfarmed, but again, Leshrac into this lineup is very, very scary.
Another pick-off.
Another pick-off,
This
easy
time it's
one.
Desire.
Yeah. SF still farming away though. He's getting very rich. His BKB timing will be quite strong, or his Hurricane Pike timing, depending on what he goes for
Dire's
first.
middle tower is under attack.
Spartan could get on top of Jotun here. Might even actually go for CML. No, they're gonna go for the
Look at
Snapfire.
that damage.
Easy kill.
Because, yeah.
Pure right clicks coming in. Spartan is very slow, but it's fine. It was both enchanted and slowed from the Boulder Smash. Okay, finally, that's what we wanted. Greece to find a kill. Mage Slayer fully done for Thug. He started working towards his Black Empire as well. And that's, again, what you said is a big turnaround point for Greece, because there's nothing the Philippines can do when the big enemies are online. Lewis gets caught between a rock and a hard place. But Focus dies to the impetus shots, and he's out and done.
Barely makes it out alive, but yeah. As SF, Blade Mail is like your biggest enemy. The fact that Earth Spirit has it just makes him pretty much unkillable against the SF until he has his own BKB. I like that bait, it was very, very well done. And you can just see the power spike of Enchantress in this early game. Yeah. So strong. Impetus deals an insane amount of damage.
Middle tower has
I
fallen.
believe she also went for the enchant facet, which allows you to have extra attack speed on every single target that is enchanted. So yeah, Ench is turning into an absolute machine gun so far, as she's got the Falcon Blade. She's gonna go for full Pike afterwards. She just has the Blitz of Knuckles, because of course she wanted to get the Witchblade first, and now they're going up top again.
I'm a little bit surprised that they're not trying to kill his Enchantress more. There's no Hurricane Pike or anything for herself to save.
Oh, Lewis.
Spartan by himself.
Who caught who? And I think the answer is me. We caught you, as the clock is, well, destroyed. But it was a Lash and an Earth Spirit with an amplified damage. Look at Skylark. He's getting baited at the Twin Gate. He actually used Shapeshift there.
Wow. That's a big cooldown to use.
Absolutely. And now CML is aware, most likely, of the positioning of someone. Gonna spot Skylark. There is no tier 1 tower left, but there are 3 Filipino players in the vicinity of Skylark whose Shapeshift will run out. That means he should also be falling back, right?
Yeah, that now means he's on the sidelines for 80 seconds, still working on his Helm of the Overlord, which is of course one of the most expensive items in
Radiant's
this
bottom
entire
tower
patch.
is under attack.
Once you get it though, you're really, really strong. But again, his farm is not the best right now.
Focus still topping the network chart. That is one of the strengths of the Shadow Fiend. Easy farming with the raise, high DPS dealer with the right clicks, and the BKB will be here after just one more light click. He's gonna have it flying his way. Oh, they caught the Ember Spirit, the one player that has not been changed on up until now. And Thug, he's managed to getting out for now. There is a reset. Now the kisses are coming in, but Thug is sidestepping them very nicely, and Joltun now is being the one caught by Spartan. I don't know what Spartan's doing, but he's really trying to enable his team to turn around, but he was by himself. Maybe a bit of a miscommunication, and Desire pierces the veil. There is a drum popped. He's trying to deal some damage to Lewis, and the supports of the Greece squad are just falling one by one.
Yeah, both Desire and Spartan are having pretty rough games, as you can see. It's very well reflected in the net worth. And basically, most of the advantage right now is just the difference in support net worth.
Yeah.
And as we already said as well, Skylark's game is not the best. Once he gets the helm of the Dominator, of course, or Overlord,
yeah.
you can just control one of the big dragons, easily push out all the side waves, and then get money back that way. But yeah, when is the lineup of the Radiant going to come together? Because so far, they're always kind of trickling in one by one. They haven't really taken a fight together yet.
Well, not at this rate, not anytime soon, as Skylark still needs about 1,300 gold from his Helm of the Overlord. It's a very, very costly start of the game for this Lycan, who's been an utter non-factor so far, and he might be getting caught up top if this Invoker can sneak up on him again. I am trying to keep up, to keep an eye on the map as we see Thug farming here, and they did catch him again. He's getting completely shut down, which is going to enable the Torment or Steal. That's massive for the Philippines. Getting the opponent's Tormentor at minute 20, easy 1,400 net worth increase.
Freebie. And of course we do with all 5, we take minimal to no damage.
That was a nice dead shot attempt, but sadly not much more. Oh, the battery assault was not available.
So we're going to hook shock. If you go in, you... Ooh, that's risky.
Follow up, guys? 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 No, okay, never mind. He just gets caught, and now Desire is in between 4 other opponents. Focus is finally here. Gotta go for the Requiem of Soul. That is a perfect Searing Chains, and that will be the first kill onto Lewis, who was on a wicked kill streak, but does get taken out, and that's a huge gold influx for the
Look at the damage!
Focus is coming in, and CML's actually destroying each other. The two cores are so strong. CML versus Focus, Enchantress versus Shadowfiend, but it's also Thug in the front line fighting Tino, getting him down, but CML is relentless. How are we gonna kill this guy? Okay, Searing Chains.
He's gonna die. There's lots of minus armor.
Raises.
Yep.
He turns around.
Good
okay,
night.
miss up high ground. Desire almost died, and
This is the scary part of this game for the Philippines. I think they were actually not allowed to make this mistake.
Yep.
Now Overload is up. Second BKB will be up soon. And you have basically zero fightability anymore in these team fights.
yeah, we'd love a fight recap right about now to see what the damage was like between the Enchantress and the Shadow Fiend, but we can pretty much assume that both of them dealt a lot of it. And that was a fight that they started after Spartan was killed very early on.
Yeah. How do you deal with the Ember Spirit from this point onwards? He has BKB, which practically makes him unkillable if he just pushes out side lanes by himself. And the panel also already mentioned the scalability of the Radiant is just insanely much better than the one of the Dire. Like,
Yes.
support Leshrac is going to start melting at some point. Enchantress is Enchantress. She's going to start melting once we get like Silver Edge or similar items. It's going to be a tough game. Very, very tough game from here on out. You need a bigger advantage if you're Dire. If you lose one more fight, things are going to start looking very hairy for you.
Well, also at minute 22, teams should start considering potential going for the Roshan. The first Aegis might dictate a lot of the mid-game pace. There's a smoke up. Hookshot does miss as Shanks was directly and even blinks out.
Wow.
He is very farmed, 6.4k net.
He's farmed, but Blink Dagger first means you're very squish. Still.
Well, I think the point is if you do get caught, you die no matter what, right? But the Blink Dagger enable him to just not get caught and reposition whenever he wants in a team fight.
Yeah, but
so
you do have to remember it's a very selfish item too, right? If it was a force step and stuff, it could actually help teammates too.
I mean, this is a Leshrac support we're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. No hook shot.
Okay, now they're heading up towards Roshan Pit. They're wrapping up around. Spartan would love to get in the proximity of someone to just get them inside that expanded armature cogs.
All right, this is going to be a team fight. This is going to probably be the game-deciding team fight even. If Greece wins this and gets a Roshan on the back of it, they won this game.
It could be a disaster.
If Philippines win, I don't think actually they won the game. Oh my god, Roshan is going to fall pretty fast. Sunstrike is in. Do they know how close they are though? Are they respecting it?
Yeah, they are respecting it. They're getting out of the pit. They have the Ember Spirit to break the smoke on the high ground. The Searing Chains will not connect onto the Earth Spirit because he has a BKB.
Look at Mel!
They're going in. The Earth Spirit is getting destroyed, but the Clockwork falls in the front line as Enchantress has a lot of damage. Instant buyback from the Snapfire. They're chasing Tino down. He is dusted. He is busted. And he's done as he has no chance to survive. This is punishment from what you did to us in Game 2. As now they're speedrunning this Roshan, running to the pit, and Philippines decide to not contest again.
Yeah, you just saw it, like under the Howl and SF Aura, which obviously gets even stronger the more heroes die around him. I'm pretty sure he just got 2-tapped on the Invoker. Like there was like one crit of the Lycan and lost like half health. And there's no amount of bonus armor you can build at this point in game where you can survive that. Shanks, you're living a dangerous life, my friend. Oh, Desire.
He doesn't just have the blink, he bought the Kaya as well.
Yeah, he's going full core.
I mean, they might need to at this point. Maybe not at this point, but in another 5 minutes or so, having 4 cores versus what is this oppressive Shadow Fiend might be the only attempt at solving the issue. Tornado will miss. Spartan does fall to Lewis, I believe, all the way in mid, and that's gonna slow down the push. The tier 2 will not fall. There was still a 45 available. It's also Shanks cutting down the creeps, so that's very good for him.
But he's dead.
But see, this is the bright side. He might be greedy, but if he does these type of plays, he buys time, and if he dies, he's a support, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, it does matter. All the supports out there, I'm a support myself. Supports life do matter.
You also have to remember, though, every time he dies like that, because he is very rich, it's a lot of gold going the other way.
That is true.
And Silver Edge is almost done on the SF. Well, I guess he still needs like 2k gold.
He's got a Shadow Blade only.
once you have that, it's gonna be lights out for the Edge.
Yeah, CML will really be finding himself into trouble, as she's also actually stopped accelerating in farm. When you go for this Enchantress core, she's not a flash farmer. She's not a Luna, she's not a Shadow Fiend, she's not a Medusa. She needs to find kills, and because she hasn't, she's right now 15 net worth. And
Tino, goodbye.
Yeah, there's no way in hell he gets out of here. Defending Blast Blast time wants to get Spartan, but does not have sufficient right-click damage. And Mamma mia, focus.
3 hits, my friend, and you're dead. Remember, they do have the presence effects.
They're gonna go for tier 3s. They're going for tier 3s. They have the Granite Golem from the Helm of the Overlord.
Look at the damage. SF is always such a... It's kind of mean to say joke, maybe.
They're going for it. Dust. No, Jotun does not have the dust. I think a couple of more impetus shots would have scared Focus away. Right now, he's just going to head bottom and try to secure the outer tier 2.
Yep, and they can also take the enemy's Tormentor and be like,
payback time.
You steal ours, we steal yours.
But then it's not a steal, right? It's a trade. You're like, we give you some, you give us something back, right?
Well, if you steal mine and I steal yours, we're still stealing from each other.
I guess that is true. Yeah, Tormentor will get claimed. Also, the Granite Golem Ancient is very good with the aura. It was a nice attempt to...
3,100 health on the SF. What is that? What is actually that? It's 26 minutes.
He's a level 19 Shadow Fiend.
Yeah. And I guess also the fact that every SF skill stats now.
Yep. Single point in your third ability.
He didn't even have one.
Oh, didn't he? No. Okay.
Wow. Full stats.
That's funny.
Well, now, this is the point in the game where if I'm the Philippines, I'm not sure what to do. Like, what do you actually do? Like, I'm trying really hard to figure out what I can do in order to get back into this game. But again, I have no answer to BKB. I have no bashers. I can't really split push because there's a Clockwork on the map and an Ember Spirit. They just have answers for everything on the Radiant.
They put themselves in this situation.
They did, but they still got to play with it, right?
Yeah, of course.
And even if we, as observers, have a hard time figuring out what they can do, imagine how they're feeling in the middle of a game where it's like super stressful. This is elimination.
Well, the story of game one was a kick. That was a walrus kick. Maybe in this one, the answer might be an Earth Spirit Aghanim Scepter.
Maybe, but then the BKB is still gonna...
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be tough either way. If they win, it's really gonna be a huge comeback.
Well, it's a huge if, as the Aegis still has 45 seconds and they are just outside of your tier 3 tower bottom. They are wandering around. The Earth Spirit needs to come back. Look at the damage. CML tries to use a bit of the impetus shots to upset this focus Shadow Fiend, but he is, again,
he's not very upset.
Yeah, he's definitely not. Tornado might come in and chip him at the very end. Yes, perfect. Now
20
Beast is
seconds
coming in with
Aegis.
the MP. They will pop the Aegis. He does have a BKB available. Can the chain stun him up? I don't think that's the case, but at least you didn't waste another 20 seconds for the Aegis to expire. And you wasted your kisses? No?
Yeah. Well, objective completed. Now it's time. The thing is, Greece doesn't actually need to do anything. They can just go back and farm, wait for the next Roshan if they really want to, set up a couple of pickups in there. SF even has potential for solo kills with this build as well. So there's just a lot of overall threat around the map that the Philippines don't really have the greatest answer to.
Other than the Earth Spirit, there's nobody on the Filipino side that will survive if they show up to lane and next to Focus. Focus will just obliterate them.
Shapeshift, what are they looking for?
They are trying to find someone, and it's going to be Shanks with his Blink Kaya build on the support Leshrac, so he is quite elusive. The Wolves are also trying to identify his positioning, but he will be fine. Safe, at least, we could say, as Skylark will not have Shapeshift for about a minute now.
Yep. Cooldown is pretty low, especially on higher levels.
Yeah.
So the game plan seems to be... Oh, Hookshot also missed. I mean, they're doing a good job in the Philippines to just avoid dying, for sure, and making sure the net worth stays relatively competitive. Or the Nemesis curse.
Leshrac top. You are very confident, Shanks, here. He does blink out, but he's going to
he
take time.
is dead.
He is not doing that.
Boom.
The Kaya is...
Look at the tower fall now with this SF aura. It's ridiculous. In case people don't know, SF aura literally halves the armor of a tower. It's ridiculously strong.
Yeah. Well, TPs get spotted by the Rocket Flare. Silver Edge used by Focus. I still think Greece should be waiting for the next Aegis, but they are feeling in control of this game so much that maybe you don't want to give the Philippines the time for the next Aegis, but I don't think that's the problem, because, again, you got an Ench as a position 1.
Yeah, you're not fearing anything.
Yeah.
I think you just wait for that next Roshan while still trying to keep them in the base. Of course, you shouldn't just let them do what they want on the Philippines side, but I'm sure Greece right now knows what sort of good position they're in right now. Next Roshan, then it's time to crack the high ground. Question is, what can you do about it as the Philippines? Are they going to try to contest Roshan? It's going to be a pretty tough fight. Do they think they can even beat an Aegis? So maybe they have to fight no matter what? It's a tough call to make from their position out now.
They'd like a pick-off and they're trying to get now, but it's a BKB Ember Spirit, and your kisses are not going to even tickle this man. The Earth Spirit will get back, but I think that might have been the 8 or 7 second BKB, so at least you got that lower. Not going to have it for a minute and a half.
Yeah, if it's a really fast Roshan spawn, maybe it could come into play. But yeah, I don't think the Philippines are going to try to look into any sort of Roshan engagement anytime soon.
What's the Enchantress's items like? She's only level 16. She's actually very
He has an axe queued up, which, in case you don't remember, is the little friends thing.
Yes, yes.
Which is kind of weird. I mean, it's okay against the Overlord, I guess.
Definitely, yeah. That's the only thing here.
But the thing is, if he's aware of it, because he's a Lycan under Shapeshift, he's permanently hasted and beyond. He could literally just take another creep, and then the creep hitting you is dead. And the whole Aghanim is wasted. So I'm not the biggest fan of the Ench axe. In fact, I've never bought it myself. I think it's a huge waste of gold.
They're smoking up. They're trying to go bottom. They might catch the Shadow Fiend. Roshan will respawn in about 20
if they can kill SF,
2 minutes, sorry.
that would be massive. But again, we know BKB is immunity.
Shadowblade does. Instant TPs coming in from the rest of the team. They would love to force the BKB and then disengage. The Invoker is here. Spartan goes in, hooks onto the high ground, onto 2. He's now to the low ground, gets obliterated by CML, who keeps on trying to hit them, and they are on top of the
getting killed.
Focus is turning around, gonna get a kill, but he pays with his life for it, and the action continues as Tino is on top of the slash rack. And look at CML doing so much damage. That's a silenced Ember Spirit with the BKB. The damage is not coming through just yet. The Muerta is piercing the veil, so she is locking down CML to not chase the others. But Skylark, she's a bit close to CML, trying to run out. And it's gonna be another kill for the Filipino squad. And that's gonna most likely not guarantee any objectives because the Roshan is not up yet.
It's a very lucky long spawn for Greece here. It basically is the maximum possible timer. Like, this is what you can't allow yourself to do. Being caught out one by one and then TPing to the outpost, which of course is the longest TP time in the entire game. Trickling and TPs like that is what costs your team fights really easily. Yeah, and losing 2 cores, including the Shadow Fiend, I mean, you wanted to protect him, but maybe sometimes it's just better to cut your losses, right? Yeah, but to begin with, like, at this point, they should really feel the need to stick rather than farm around the map individually. Yeah. And I actually think this fight was very, very good for Greece. Of course, they lost heroes and whatnot, but their mindset now and the attitude towards sticking together is going to be much better. 100%. It was also a very good area for CML to find in from the high ground of the Twin Gate to the little spoink she did over that little pit area. Allowing yourself to reposition and still have vision on the opponents is great for Enchantress, because if she is uncontested or she's easily repositioned, then she can do well, what we saw just then. Just look at this. This is like the worst case outcome for the Dire. Roshan is going to go to the area that Greece is now contesting. So basically, in theory, there should be a free Roche for Greece. Skylark's TPing top already. Yeah, this is brutal. Well, okay, they're all up there already. Never mind. Skylark, gotta be careful. He has an AC now, so it's even more minus armor. Are they just giving up Roshan? The Shadow Fiend is very far away. He's finally making his way up top. I guess they can't believe their eyes that Roshan actually is so slow to spawn. Yeah, Roche is bottom, and it's going to take about another 7-8 seconds before he makes it to the Dire top hit, and it's a wraparound smoke up, and the buybacks are not really there. This could very well be the last hurrah. Greece fully invested in this one. Yeah, it's going to be a very important fight. Tournament life on the line. Instant cogs. Pushing back, Spartan has broken his smoke, and so has the Ember Spirit. The Desire gets spotted, they're jumping. What is going in? Shadow Fiend turns around, and the snap is gone. Jotun buybacks right away. They're trying to find more. We have the How and the Shapeshift. They're hooking CML, but CML just Hurricane Pikes and kills the clock as it's another loss casualty for the Dire side. They have to disengage as this is a big chase from the Lycan.
Radiant's bottom tower.
They still got their BKBs on the Radiant as well, so they didn't use too much, but without Spartan, they don't have a great initiation. It's all on Thug, basically, to keep them into place. They have no shapeshift either. CML gets caught by the Atos, and no one got the break right away. She got destroyed. Thug's on top of her. Focus with the second. The BKB Shadow Fiend is chasing them down. We can hear the Greek squad shouting. It's gonna be Dino, destroyed by Desire. It is a 1 versus 4. If you want to fight for the Roshan, the answer is no. That is absolutely, look at that physical damage. That's exactly what we were talking about. Minus, I don't even know how much armor at this point, 20 something. Ench got effectively one-tapped. Yeah, it was the break from the Silver Age and then the Ember Spirit on top of her secured a kill. And now he spots the Earth Spirit. He has to get out of there. Also, the Earth Spirit has purchased Midas Shivas in the last, well, 26 minutes or so since we last checked his inventory. But there's nothing you can do. The buybacks aren't there, Black. Minus 17 armor now from the presence. Wow. That is ridiculous. Look at the buildings. What is a building, by the way? Well, there is going to be the first fortify. They still have BKBs. I think Radiant can actually just stand their ground here and fight. Oh my gosh, these buildings. They use the banner. That's going to be the second... never mind, it's just all gone. It looks ridiculous. 15 seconds is going to be more than enough for them to secure the second as well, but they will have to force out the final fortify as the Philippines back towards the wall could very well be eliminated from this tournament by this massive Shadow Fiend. Yeah. SF is here to slap, and slapping he is. Goddess Satanic now finished up. Okay, prioritizing survivability over the Daedalus.
I think Satanic is key. The one time he did die in previous Roshan fight, or Twin Gate fight, if he had Satanic, he would have stayed alive. So I respect that.
Yeah, I like it too. Always, unless needed, you should always itemize for survivability. Like, you only itemize for pure damage if you really absolutely necessarily need it. Survivability is always the key to win. Because obviously last fight showed everybody we don't need more damage. Like, if you can one-tap there +1, you're probably okay.
Probably.
Probably, yeah. I mean, you didn't quite one-tap him, so, you know, some people would call you weak, but...
There's no smoke.
The scary thing is also, of course, Muerta +4 can always transition into a very heavy-hitting hero as well. Now, what are the avenues where they can come back here? Are there any? Tough to see at this point.
I mean, there's 4.2k gold on the Earth Spirit. I did say the Aghanim Scepter might be one way of dealing with it. Let's see if it's
Kicking SF into the fountain, maybe, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. Kick the SF, and then, you know, while you kick, you also cast your Hurricane Pike of the Enchantress on him, maybe. And that way is like impetus flying. And I don't even know at this point. It's gonna be the toughest mountain to climb in the history of this tournament, as right now the second range axe falls, and look at the damage break right away. CMEL gets Glimmer Caped and back to safety. Look at the damage flying onto focus. He does have the Aegis for another 2 minutes. Kisses get wasted, 75 seconds in cooldown.
4.1k health on the SF. Of course, the Titanic is still available as well. Maybe just leech up on the, on the Ancients. No problem. Back to full health and rinse and repeat. And you have to remember, anytime there's a Daedalus now as well. Now it could be a real one-tap.
This could be the one-tap of the century, better than football players. Let's see. There is another Rax bottom, so you maybe should give this one up. They're getting Searing chained. He's not hitting them just yet. The snap gets out. Shanks going in aggressive, and there is an Earth Spirit on top of focus. That is the Aegis target, and look at the damage. They're just kiting them completely. Lewis does roll the rolling boulder into the hookshot from the Clockwork. You need to help your Earth Spirit. He's just falling. He does have a buyback. It's Sunstrike coming in, and it's gonna be Desire getting claimed back, and that is a small victory and the gem on the deck.
Okay, small win. Do they want to continue fighting here? Of course, Earth Spirit didn't buy back yet. It would be a 4v5 fight, and Grease is taking the safe way out, which means Aegis won't be utilized to actually get another barracks. Nice defense by the Philippines. Well done.
They could go for a play here, but it's
they're actually smoking up.
I thought the Philippines might be going for a play, not Greece. They are the ones trying to find something. Tormentor will be heading in the hands of them. Oh my god, almost dying to the Tormentor. That is a history of IESF with losing players for this. And it's going to be Lewis getting the teammate Geomagnetic Grip.
Well, they might just focus on the Rex right now, while all the heroes are healing in the fountain. They have nothing to fight right now.
Yeah, they're going to take it easily. Tino is there. Tornado is not even going to connect.
That's a huge blunder.
Yeah, massive heal. Hookshot connecting and double cogs onto players, but he's an Earth Splitter on top of them, and the Ember Spirit's gone. He did not have the Aegis. You have it on focus, and look at the Ice Wall Sparta, and he's completely locked down and killed by CML with the rainbow shots coming in. Focus has to turn around 18 seconds with the Aegis, and he finally does fall. There's a 4 versus 2 right now. Earthsplitter comes in pitch perfect with the cookie into the buyback.
Nice buyback with
He connects onto both of them, and they are dying one by one, but they do still have buybacks. This is not just over yet. Very well could still come back into this one. They're respawning, they're buying back. There is a buyback. BKB, I mean, for focus. And look at Skylark, he's just running towards their fountain so that he enables the teammate to get out.
He's also out soon, though.
It's fine. He'll die. But
and they got the Rex in the meantime.
Mega creeps, minute 42.
All right, I love the play they just made there. Like, Thug all along probably told his teammate, okay, just take the fight, you know, I'll buy back, no worries. That was really well done.
Yeah.
Completely caught Philippines by surprise. Like, you could tell as soon as Thug bought back, everyone was like, ugh.
Yeah.
We're dead.
Panic button.
Yeah. Game
Philippines
was good.
Versus Mega Creeps, minute 42. They have won every single game they've won. They won pre-minute 30 this tournament, and this time they have been taken to the very deep waters of this best-of-3 quarterfinal.
All right, Thug, 25 as well. So he got his level 25 talent online, same as the SF. Looking for Invoker. He doesn't have a lot of armor to work with.
If Evoker dies here, this could be the end. He does not have a buyback for 7 minutes, and it's gonna be the Earth Spirit actually showing his face first.
He's very tanky though. He's very tanky. Oh, Jotun maybe.
They're not jumping in yet. Rolling out to safety.
It is scary for Greece too, because of course they used some buybacks and they're still 4v5 at this point. Skylark is not there just yet, so they don't want to risk anything having to fight 4v5. I respect it a lot.
Nasty P's at the tier 2 bottom from the Radiant squad. I think they might have a gist of Tino's positioning. If Tino gets caught here, it could be an absolute disaster. They caught the glimpse of the Four Spirits. Deadshot does not connect, but he does get caught with a second Deadshot. PKP has to go out. Tornado TP.
Nice TP.
The damage isn't gonna be there. No, no, it's not. And they used Pierce of the Veil and Hook Shot. It's not a victory, but a small one for Philippines.
How's Roshan looking? 1 minute for potential respawn. Now it's really a question, does Greece want to play it super safe, or are they going to go and try to finish the game just now?
I think you got to give your Ember the Aegis. I think so. I think you can't choke now.
Realistically, they should not be able to lose a team fight at this point, but there's always a risk in Dota.
Of course.
You want to take that risk.
Never say never. Spartan under the smoke. He does have a ninja gear. Of course, minute 44, all the tier 4 neutral items have been claimed already. And my god, his clockwork's so poor. He's got his solar crest and his shard at 44 minutes.
As I told you before, it can always be worse, you know?
Yeah.
At least he got something.
I mean, they're winning.
Yeah, I mean, this is how Spartan always plays. He's always in the enemy's face. Clockwork is basically made for him.
I believe you're right. I think if they do win, or when they will win this one, I don't think we'll see any team allow him to play Clockwork for the remainder of the tournament. And we now have the Aegis respawn timer. It's going to be 2 minutes. Smoke up. Everybody's under smoke. They're not patient anymore. They want to go, and I think they might just pick someone up. They know Shanks is not there because he cleared the wave up top. Spartan going towards where the Tormentor is.
Shapeshift is popped, which means go time.
They're on the high ground. Lewis is under the Glimmer Cape. He's going to break the smoke. Has the Shiva's Guard. He's a tough catch.
Off the mark. Everybody saw that.
And they're out.
Well, honestly, it might be, you know, a blessing in disguise. Oh, we missed. Let's go for Roche. Oh no, let's wait for Roche. You know, tragedy struck us.
They're keeping top. They want to get Shanks. Focus is right behind him. Does he have detection? He's a Shadow Fiend with 6 items. Probably not. Very slow, very tense moments as the Greek boys can smell, can taste the semi-final. Jotun with the old chat Roshan respawn timer. A bit of nerves there.
Is it, makes you wonder, was it intentional, you know?
Well,
creep into the mind a little bit, you know? And now they tipped him. Now the motivation for the Philippines is rose to the next level. They need everything they can right now.
Well, we've got the luxury of actually knowing when the Roshan will spawn, and that's going to be about 17 seconds from now, as there is no way the Philippines can contest this. They are struggling to defend their high ground versus Mega Creeps. They don't have the lineup for this. Maybe other than the Leshrac, everybody else is very, very weak with clearing AoE neutrals. Neutrals? Creeps.
Roshan is just about to spawn. I think there's a wolf in the pit, so we should be seeing some...
There isn't.
There is not. He just respawned them.
He just sent a wolf now. It's going to take some time for them to check again. They do have the BKBs once again. Are they going to try before the Roche this time around? Okay, Rocket Flare's going there. Yeah, they're going to go Roche, most likely. There's an amplified damage rune onto Thug. Maybe that's why they wanted to go early. There's a full Daedalus on Desire as well.
Yeah, well, we spoke about Muerta, you know, being able to transition into becoming a core and popping people. Well, now the problem is...
Who takes the Aegis?
We'll give it to Thug, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at Bybit's status, he still does not have his for another 2.5 minutes, so it makes sense.
So give it to Thug, and then now the problem is they have Ghost Scepters on a lot of the heroes, but Muerta deals increased damage to Ghost Scepter heroes.
Yeah,
so
she's a ghost.
Exactly. So are you going to Ghost Scepter and die, or are you not going to Ghost Scepter and die? Pick your poison, you're dead either way.
Aghanim's already consumed by the Lycan as well. He's gonna, if he bites Focus,
got the Aegis, okay.
If Skylark bites Focus,
yeah,
we might see the highest crit damage in 2024.
No.
There's a chance.
No, we had Sven's and stuff. Nah, no way. Sven is a beast.
There's a chance. I believe. I hope. Well, let's see.
The fastest attack speed, maybe, because he has Feast of Souls.
If he does, if the Ember Spirit does get caught, though, he does not have a buyback to rejoin the squad, and the Aegis was given to the Shadow Fiend. They've wrapped up all the way from top back to the Dire Triangle. The only question we have is, what are we waiting for now?
We are waiting for Shanks to potentially get picked off. Oh my god.
Forces out the shapeshift. Skylark.
There was a very early pop. Like, Skylark is very trigger happy with that. He'd actually just pop it. But yeah, I'm not completely on board with the decision of giving it to the SF. Because to begin with, he has the Satanic to stand his ground and fight.
Yeah.
Whereas Thug is a little bit more vulnerable. Like, once he doesn't have BKB, he's actually in big trouble.
Do you think this is the plan? They're gonna wait out with the Aegis another minute of it until the Ember Spirit gets his buyback? Because that's what the game plan. Like, the Ember is farming the Radiant jungle, and the others are just trying to not allow the Philippines to evade from their fountain, from their base, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, of course, buyback on Ember Spirit would be the perfect case scenario, and he's very close to it, just 800 gold away. Probably just going to farm that up. 2 minutes left on the Aegis at that point. Plenty of time to finish the game.
Bloodstone on Shanks, I don't think it's helping him at all. As before he gets to deal.
Look at his armor, minus 10 just from a howl. And then there's SF, and then there's AC.
Yeah.
And then there's Death.
Buyback timer, all the Ember Spirit will expire in 10 seconds.
Oh, SF is bitten.
Doesn't have money, and he is going for it. We got the focus, Shadow Fiend.
Shadow Wolf.
He's shouting, he's going for Lewis. 1, 2, 3, below half HP, and Lewis does disappear for a split second. Tornado's out, Lewis is still stuck in the cogs, and the impetuses from CML are taking out the Clockwork. The action continues, but the creeps are invading the base. It's a 1-for-1, no buyback for the clock. Impetus coming in. Sunstrike does not connect to Focus, and Focus would really like to get on top of the Enchantress, but he does get stunned as Snapfire just melts at the feet of the Radiant heroes. Instant buyback from both heroes. CML is silent, and Desire is pushing him back, but the Aegis has been lost by Focus. You need to get out. Oh my god, the Ember Spirit playing with fire. He does get caught. Look at Shanks chasing down the Ember Spirit, but he's very speedy.
Run.
The damage isn't going to be enough. Manages to connect with the Searing Chains, and the Sunstrike will be very far off mark. He's going for more, and now Shanks, you need some teammates, you need some help, but the only thing you'll get is destroyed by Focus's right click.
It's another stack for the SF Aura.
They're going for
Sitting at
Desire.
2. Yeah, but he's pretty
Silenced? No, he's dead.
He's pretty dead.
Yeah, nothing the Muerta can do, sticking true to the name, and the Shadow Fiend also quite slowed in the back line. No more Aegis. That was a fight where Greece had a lot of tools in their favor, and they're buying back. They don't want to wait for more. They want to go now. They want to force out the buyback.
Very risky though. They're only 4 years alive. Like, Spartan has no buyback. He's not there. They're going to be fighting this 4v5. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like he kind of griefed the SF, right? After he was bitten, he's melee. And that's not what SF wants to be.
Okay, they're going for CML, the BKB.
Yeah.
This time it's
nice.
the Emperor Spirit being beaten, but Focus is going for the tier 4s, and look at the damage. Tino has the BKB, has to go back. CML goes to the Fountain, and that is a dieback right away from Jotun. This Enchantress is not doing anything. This Earth Spirit has to turn himself to stone, goes back to Fountain. They're focusing the Ancient. The buyback, the Fortify gets used. Ice Wall, there is no damage, there is nothing. They're chaining it down. There's the stun. Lotus, Force Staff, he's going out. He's gonna do it, and the Ancient has fallen. Greece make it to the semi-finals.
Getting the job done. Early game looked a bit tough, but as we said, the draft, you know, they were allowed some misplays here, but Philippines, they had to play absolutely perfectly from beginning to finish, and that never happens in Dota.
Yeah.
Like, literally, perfection does not exist in Dota. I admire the bravery to go for a draft like this. Very unconventional. But as we said, as so often in life, experiments are there to be punished.
And our favorites, Black, way before this whole tournament started, we both predicted Greece to go all the way after what was a monstrous battle. They are still in contention right now, made it to the top 4, and look at them. They are so happy, but they don't want to get too overzealous because there is still one more best of 3 they will have to play later today.
Yeah, at least they got 2 lives, quote-unquote, secured now. Like, even if they lose now, they still have a 3rd, 4th place match.